blue button, like a big red button. It's slightly less cool.
And we are not live.
Happy birthday, Hayden!
Happy
It's
birthday, Hayden!
It's not.
Happy
It's
birthday!
not. It's not my. God damn it!
Are we actually live?
We should
Oh,
be. Yeah.
happy birthday,
We're
Hayden!
live. Fantastic.
Happy birthday!
Welcome.
Did you get any cool presents?
I hate you so fucking much. Like an unfathomable amount of hate. Anyway, welcome to the stream,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone.
It
Okay,
is-
so we're gonna watch some Hane videos.
I'm going to
today, and,
murder you. You're going to die.
Sorry,
sick,
hijacking
body stream,
streams
hell
is my
yeah.
favorite pastime.
Okay. It is not my birthday, everybody, but it is a special anniversary, kind of special anniversary. Actually, if we had done this on the 1st, it would have been the true anniversary, but it's the same month.
But you
And
lied?
I didn't lie. I said a couple days ago
God.
that I was telling you.
You pulled us in here under false pretenses, and you expect me to still give you cake?
I'm never gonna get. I don't like.
I thought you were
cake.
gonna say kisses.
I
You
don't
don't like
want
cake?
cake. No, that's why in
the
the
fuck?
thumbnail my Sona is fucking like sticking his tongue out at it.
Oh, it's
what is
tongue.
your tongue has? Your tongue has like bones. What is up with that?
They're not.
No, it's not bones. It's like a reptile tongue.
Yeah,
Does
I
a
thought
reptile
like
tongue have
those-
like
you know.
segments?
It's like
they don't
Zim.
have segments
it's
like that.
It's like Zim's tongue.
Yeah, it's
Mark.
like Zim's tongue, but not, like real reptiles would have. Hold on, I need to Google something. Hold on a second.
God damn it!
Wait a minute.
Anyway, it's not my anniversary. It's not my birthday, and it's not the channel
doesn't look
anniversary. Shut up! Shut up! I swear to God! I'm trying to explain the premise of the stream.
All right, go ahead, birthday boy.
So, what is happening is well, it is not the anniversary of my channel, which is in February, and actually it turns my channel turns 10 next year, but it's not even the anniversary of technically my first video on the channel, because that would at this point be the comic dub for Gone with the Blastwave, but it is the anniversary of my first big opinion piece on the channel, which is the TAC video, which you should all fucking watch, by the way. Oh wait, you're going to anyway!
The tag video is really good.
For this,
Oh,
for the occasion, and after the Eco video finally got released after several months of development, I decided it might be a fun idea to do a sort of director's commentary for all of the major videos I've done up to this point. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Wappy brings up. Everybody switch to live chat, so you're more up to date.
What does that mean?
At the
You go to
top of
YouTube.
YouTube chat, it says top chat or like you can. There's a drop down menu.
Oh,
Um,
what the fuck? I had no idea this
Yeah.
was a thing.
If you don't click that, it's gonna filter out random comments. It's very
Oh
annoying.
wow.
But
Okay.
I'll be answering questions from co-hosts and chat members alike, and I'll be pausing periodically to talk about certain elements. Yeah, I know that's not traditional for director's commentary. They usually just talk as it goes on, but I like talking and not being
Hell
interrupted
yeah.
by some dumbass in the past.
You invited 3 people.
Pausing.
I
Pausing
invited you
is
guys
also
because I
good
thought you
because-
could bring some good insight as like less biased than me influences, you know.
I'm
Yo,
flattered.
pausing is good because most like official developers commentaries they skip a lot of stuff. Like if they're like talking about one scene for like over 6 different
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
You know, so pausing is good.
It's not my birthday, Lance. I swear to God.
Happy birthday, Hayden! Oh my god!
Holy shit! Yeah, that gets one. Let's get one.
Anyway,
I want to clap something in Morse code, so it's like a slur or something,
why a
Oh my
slur?
God.
What the fuck?
What?
to get
What's
your
the
channel
first thing
taken
you go
down.
to? What's it the first thing you go
Without
Wait,
further
who's clapping?
ado, let's start the TAC video.
Feet game!
TAC and the Power of Juju, a series of 3D platformers. Please, anybody, let me know if the volume is too loud or too high. I haven't seen many people talk
Yes.
about. So let's change that, eh? Before we get into this whole thing, I want to make it clear that I'm only talking about the original 3 games in this video. I'm not going to talk about the show or the games post the original trilogy, because to keep it real...
Pussy original trilogy.
Yeah.
I still hope you'll
let's
talk about
some
the
video
show someday.
games, dudes. I thought I actually. Oh, I still love this intro, by the way. This is a lot of fun. And this song.
How do you?
I used
How do you
this.
even edit that shit?
How do you edit that shit? Annoyingly, you have to.
Sony Vegas.
So in GIMP, I made the borders that you can see, like, and then I like cropped and moved the video footage to fit properly.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you like use a mask or something?
No, I didn't use masks because I kind of don't know how they work and I'm stupid.
Fair enough.
But that this does remind
Excuse me.
that the logo here that I made and like animated for the opening, which I'm still really happy with. I still think the opening to this video looks really good.
Yeah.
I still think this is honestly one of, if not my best video on the channel. And I know plenty of people would probably disagree with me on that, but still. I'm getting the chat up on my phone, by the way, which is why I'm taking a second to say what I wanted to say, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can actually still see chat. I wanted to bring up, and I'm going to go back a couple of frames for this, but I have to go back quite a few frames for this. The fucking logo here was a pain to animate properly because I do this thing where to make sure things pop correctly, I use a sort of glow effect.
Yeah.
Which I then make pure black so that it looks more like a shadow than a glow. But as you can see, because of how this is animated, it means the text goes over the other text and it can look kind of... It looked kind of weird before I fixed it. And I have to, like... I had to do, like, weird cropping shit to get this to look right. But it ended up looking nice. I think it ended up looking nice. So you know what?
You did it, Hagen.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
I like it.
We're proud of you.
Continuing on.
But what's the music though?
The music is Wild Child. It was used to promote the game back in the day, which is why I used it.
It wasn't made specifically for the game, right?
I think it was, or at least there was a music video that used like tack footage for it. So
Oh, that's fun. I always like when things do that. Like they did a lot with Bionicle.
I wouldn't even be surprised if some people nowadays are just
Fun
too young to
fact
even remember
about this
the video
manual
game
section.
manuals.
I'm not gonna pause for
And,
this.
that's kind of a shame.
Are those your
I'm really kind of
hands?
They are my
impressed at this point
hands,
and
and
even
also
back
the
then,
lighting
just
here is
showed
really
the
bad.
information
But
in the
also,
game, but
more
at the same
importantly,
time, really
I bring
loved
up later in the
manuals because I
video,
always saw them as cool side
and
content made
that I
very
was
well.
going to do the toys the
Whoever
same
wrote
way,
these things
but
would sometimes include a lot
there's a
of
little
fun
problem with
details,
that
like
that I
extra
am
lore
going to
bits and
explain now
character
because it'll be more
information
visual
and so
during
on.
that,
There's
more
also
visible
just a
during
charm to
this.
having a physical
If you
object
guys
in my
look in
hands over
the
reading
like
game
upper
text
right
like
or
a
upper
loading
left
screen or
corners, you may
something.
notice
It
that
honestly kind of
there's
reminds
this
me
like
of how
weird
watching
fuzziness
streaming is
going
generally
on
more viable than
that
going
like
to a
is
store or
following
renting a
my
physical
hands,
movie. That still
and that's
doesn't mean
not
I
super
don't
noticeable
like
with
places
the
like
manuals
Blockbuster because of how
because
much more charming they
they're
are on them.
taking up most of the
Seriously,
space on
there is
screen.
infinitely more
With the
pleasure
toys
to
though,
walk
it's
into a nice little
extremely
store filled with
noticeable
movies
and
that
looked
you just
really
enjoy
fucking
for the
bad.
weekend, then minus
Which is
the
the
stores
which are
that
the
you extra
technical
20 minutes,
difficulties
it's
I
probably
was
just putting some
mentioning in the
random bullshit
video.
on because you've been doing this
So
for
what
too
causes
long and
that?
you just don't
I
care
don't
anymore.
know. I was
That's
using
just
an
there.
Android phone camera, so that probably isn't that is probably part of the
And what a
problem.
manual this is,
Sick.
by the way. It's
Yeah,
definitely
I also
one of the
just use my
best
phone
I've
to
ever
film like
seen.
some
The
like
graphic
the
design is
small
clean,
live action
readable,
bits that I did in
appealing,
my
and
Rayman
fits the
3
game's
video.
tone really well.
It works.
The majority of it is written from the
You probably have a better
perspective of
phone
one of
than
the
I do.
characters, which is incredibly endearing.
Possibly.
Best of all, it has an
For-
accurate
for-
game on the back
for
that
other
I'm
parts.
definitely going to talk about in the future someday.
Hey, I did talk about that game in the future someday.
Why are those stretched
I
like
don't
that?
know why the boss's hit points are
What the
stretched
fuck?
like this in this image. I don't know why it looks like that.
Why do you have
That's
like
so
a pickle in front of his
interesting,
face?
though.
Interesting. It was a little surprising to find out the story for the first one was pretty.
Oh yeah, I just realized I'm
basic,
surrounded by
all things
three
considered.
people who think this
That's
game
not a
doesn't
bad
look that
thing, of
good.
course. I think what they try to do
Yeah,
is
well-
Technically it looks good. I just don't. I'm not a fan of the character design.
That's fair.
I like the feet.
I like the
God
environments,
damn it.
just the
Of course
characters
you
are
do.
god ugly.
I love the character designs because they're kind of ugly.
I see the
Hold on, we're going back to that Dan Schneider joke because I still think it's funny.
Uh-oh.
That there's this evil guy named Tlaylock, and he's jealous of Jabulba's Dan Schneider attracting feet. And
Dan
he's jealous of Jabulba's being the village shaman. Because of this,
Oh,
he turns
God.
everyone in the village
I don't
besides
usually make
Jabulba
jokes in
attack
my
and
videos
sheep.
because I
Thus, Tak has to do some shenanigans to save his
You don't
party,
funny.
like assaulting animals.
Yeah, sure. I
I
prefer to just try and entertain with what I'm talking about rather than just try and make you laugh. Like if I make you laugh, it's sometimes
You know,
cool.
standard platformer stuff. You know,
But I'm not-
actually,
I'm not, like,
worded like that, it
trying
sounds
to
a
make
lot
you
less
laugh out
basic,
loud,
but
you know?
Trust me, as strange as the
When was
details
Tak
are,
made?
actual
The original
Floppy
Tak
disk.
was made
is a
in
fairly straightforward and pretty simple take on the hero's journey
early
trope.
2000. I want to say
Again,
2001 to
that's not a bad
2003.
thing.
I don't
think
remember
tropes are
fully.
fine as long as they're
Was this
executed
before or
well
after
enough,
Rayman
at
3?
least. Not that any of this really
they might
matters
have been around the
because
same
the actual
time.
plot of this game and
I'm gonna
the
find
other
out.
games isn't all that important
It's
to me.
something
I
about the
much more
Tak series
enjoy the
always
characters
gave me
and the
kind
dynamics,
of
the
Rayman
atmosphere, the
vibes, like
music,
taking
and
the
the voice
similar
acting
kind of
especially
art
is a
approach, but in a
standout.
very different kind of
Most of the
direction.
voice actors
Yeah.
aren't
The
super
watercolor
common here in
backgrounds,
the
like all the
industry, besides
hand painted
Rob
stuff and the
Paulson and
swirly
maybe
bits and
Jennifer
kind of like
Hale, and I really
twistedness, but
appreciate
also
Okay,
nature
Rayman
elements.
3 came out in 2003
Kenny
and
returned
Tak
for
came out in
4,000th
2008.
time.
Oh,
Jason
wow.
Marsden
Whoa,
and Jeff
what?
Bennett
2008?
No, that's
Wait, hang
hold
on.
on.
Did I Google the right game?
You might not
What's
have
the
Googled
first game
that.
called?
Tak and the Power of Juju. You might have gotten the show though, because they share a title.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
about right.
Did a
Max,
show?
funny Max Goof, everybody.
Okay, the game is 2004, so
Okay,
year
that
after
makes
Rayman
more
3.
sense.
Yeah. Hey, can you like show images on stream?
I can. It'll be a pain in the
Can I-
ass to do, but I can.
Can you like show show the cover art for this game? I
Can you
just think
send-
it's
send me
magnificent.
the image.
Yes.
The cover art for Tak, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Hell
This
yeah.
one.
I think I showed the cover at the beginning of the video. anyway.
Probably, but just put it there again.
Why?
Let me save it. I gotta save it to show it on OBS. Unless, well, there might be a better way, but I don't know, and I don't care. Oh, hold on. I gotta show the previous image I already had saved on stream, which was Bup. Anyway,
The what?
Bup. You get a Bup jump scare real quick, everybody.
Did you just call me Blob?
So,
Bot jump scare.
oh god, oh, I gotta shrink this down. Why is this so big? What the fuck? The image size isn't actually that big, so why is this huge? I also gotta make sure to lock this window capture so that I don't accidentally move it. I'm sorry, this is taking forever, everybody. It's so fucking...
How?
This image is
Just
so
drag
big.
and drop the image. Just drag and drop the
It's
image.
so
to
worth
OBS.
it though.
I can't drag and drop it. I don't know how to do that in
Oh, okay. You just grab the image from your desktop and drop it into the scene.
Yeah.
center to screen. There we go. Here you go, everybody. Here's the box art for Tak and the Power of Juju for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and I think original Xbox. I actually don't remember.
The most badass
Bro, just put
thug
it in.
gangster
Put it
pose
there.
ever.
It's not showing. Oh wait,
Only on stream.
I'm
only on
dumbass.
stream,
I'm watching
right?
the
Dumbass.
Discord feed.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
god, brilliant, fucking brilliant. Anyway, back to back to the videos, everybody. Oh wait, let me check if there's any questions in chat or anything. Let's see.
Just a lot of birthday wishes.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy
Ian.
birthday, Han.
Yeah, happy birthday. You got games on your phone.
Well, there's so much. There's so much stuff in chat right now. Holy crap! Thank you all for
It's
coming.
your
I'm sorry that I can't read
birthday
all of this stuff.
Today.
Coming.
I'm very distracted by everything going on right now. But thank you all for coming and joining and chatting.
Thank you all for coming.
Someone says they like the box cover. It's a pretty cool render, I'll say. It's like the background. I'll say the backgrounds are always really good in the Tak series. I like those a lot.
The best, I think the best, I think the best cover art in the series is probably Tak 3, the Great Juju Challenge. It just has it's got a good like flow going on, which is funny because I think it has the worst manual out of the original trilogy. Anyway, let's continue on. I was talking about Jason Marsden.
This is really fitting. I especially love how in the second and third games he made Tak sound a bit older because Tak 2 and 3 are set like a year or two after the first game, and that's just a nice touch.
My name is Tak.
Something funny. Actually, I'll save it for that part.
Okay. Now, what about some help getting
But
down
I've got
the
something
river?
funny to
With
say
it
for when
on,
we get to
I
the
can glide
toy
on
segment.
currents of air and drop
Someone,
exploding
is
eggs
it actually
from
Hane's birthday this time, or
Jeff
is
plays a
this
couple
just
of
another
rotational
bit?
It's not my
Juju's in all three
birthday. I'm
games,
doing
as
an
well as both
anniversary
Cage
stream
and
for when I
Jules,
started
and he's
making
got
big
great
videos
range
like
to
this,
do.
which is
My
why we're
favorite
just
doing
doesn't-
attack role he does is the cage.
He just
Juju.
doesn't want to
the
draw
cats?
attention to it.
Bloodthirsty
He doesn't like
beast that
feeling old.
talks with a pompous accent.
I should have given some examples of like some of these voice actors' work. Like Jeff Bennett is probably pretty well known for playing Johnny Bravo and a bunch of other characters.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
And Jason Marsden is known for playing Max
Oh,
Goof.
also Patrick Warburton is here, and he plays my favorite character in the entire
They have a range.
series. The one,
actor.
the only.
Oh yes,
the
and of
Giga
course
Chad
Patrick
Locke.
Warburton.
I love
as
this
Locke.
fucking-
Whoa.
Oh
yeah.
Locke
Oh,
is.
later.
He is the one.
Such a-
Let's see what we're
true-
working with
Actually,
here.
he's just
I love Locke.
kind of a
Whoa.
leading guy.
That's
Oh, yeah,
enough.
there's
Oh, that
also
brings
a
up. I'll
prophecy
bring that up when we
going
get
on
to it too.
in the
But
background of the
Mark,
story, and they
cameos
try
in
to
this
act like
video.
Locke is the hero of that
Because
prophecy,
I
but
needed
it's
some.
really
I
obvious
needed
from
somebody
the
to do
get-go that
a
Tack is the actual
a funny
hero.
Locke
I
impression.
mean, for God's sake, the game is called
No, I'm pretty sure your
Tack.
toy just came to life, like a Skyliner.
Juju.
I
To be fair, I'm pretty sure they
I
did
kind of
that
love
right.
doing bits like this where I talk about shit that I know nobody will care about,
Oh,
and then
Jacoby's
cutting
voiced by
myself
fucking
off.
Trip Keeper.
Who is
I never
the
yeah.
woman in the
put that,
lore
but I wanted
even?
to make sure that you were
The
aware of
lore?
that
Oh,
fact.
that's the Moon Juju. I bring her up later in the video because
Oh, yeah.
while she's a fun character, I think I say even
Also,
that
the
she's not
music is
really that
very good,
important.
and I'm just going to talk about all three games.
Yeah.
Here,
Where she
because
doesn't
there's
do
really
that
no
much.
point to stretch this particular topic through 3 separate sections throughout the video.
Oh god, yeah, the
is
music in these
very
games
memorable,
is so
very
good.
fitting, and works really well.
quite
towards
nice. Oh, hell
this
yeah.
game's atmosphere.
I'm gonna play this game for
Just
two
give
reasons,
some
and
of
two
these a
reasons
listen.
only: the music and the crew
feet.
character. No, not
I
the
thought
feet.
you were gonna
the-
say Toes. I really thought you were gonna say Toes.
No, the crew character. What was he called again?
Locke.
Lock.
Locke. There we go.
Hey, Peter.
That is nice.
Cry.
Hey, Peter.
I love how purposefully ugly character designs are in this. Yes, same.
Good shit, right?
it's a really
One last
fun,
thing,
like,
and my favorite
decision to
thing
make
for this part, I
pretty,
adore
like,
how these games look. Whether it's the
unattractive
character
to
design
most
or the
people
background
character
art, There
designs.
isn't anything in these games that I don't find drop dead
No.
gorgeous. Shit, graphically, they haven't kept to today's standard, but stylistically,
no.
it's absolutely
Good
guy.
response.
Seriously, I would
Loud,
love to see
incorrect
Psychonauts
buzzer.
2 treatment, because I feel like
I-
Double
dude.
Fine took the first Psychonauts
Psychonauts!
style and really
I
amplified it
have
with
something
a lot
else
of
to add to
graphical-
this, although it's not relevant to the video at hand. But this reminded me, if we ever get a Psychonauts movie, it has to be done by Laika. Like, could you guys imagine a
Oh,
stop motion
yes.
Psychonauts movie done by Laika? That would be top fucking tier.
Hell yeah.
But also related is I still think this is I believe this even more now. I would love to see like the TAC games get this treatment today because I think they could take at least the visual style of the environments and make them just drop dead fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I think also one of the problems I have with the tech art style and the characters is the lighting. Like it's just so like it's a classic GameCube era lighting where the promo
Actually, on the
renders just have like
GameCube,
this
the game
black
was brighter.
shading. Oh wow,
I
it's just something about it.
I don't know.
Something
I
about it that
love
looks a little
lighting.
gross.
I think it helps make the world feel kind of grimier. I like that aspect.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I would prefer something like the really cool like colored lighting of something like Psychonauts 2, for example. I feel like that really helped to push that art style, and that's also one of the reasons why I like the art style of Psychonauts
See,
2
this
more
is
than
the
the first
thing.
one.
This is where we're gonna disagree because I prefer how the original Psychonauts lighting looks over over Psychonauts 2. I still think Psychonauts 2 looks amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer the lighting of the original because I felt like it fit the tone better.
Well, I think no, I'm not gonna yell at you on your birthday. Sorry.
It's
I'll
not.
just-
I fucking. I'm unpausing the video. I'm unpausing the fucking
Go.
video.
Go.
capabilities in 2, and I'd love to see the same
I never
thing
played
happen
the
with the TAC
Psychonauts.
series. Anyway, for the most part, I think
I
that's
think
all I
you'd
got
like
for
them.
this section, which
Oh,
means
yeah,
it's
it's
time
good.
for the meat of this video game.
I'm playing
You know,
it.
the video game part.
I just haven't got time yet.
This is a dumb running gag throughout
I'm
this
gonna be
video
real
where
with you, out of all
goes
of
from
these
the video
games, my
game
least
part
favorite
to the video
complaint is
game
this
part
one. I
2
don't think the
and then
gameplay is
3.
bad, but
That's
well,
one
let's
of
just
those
get into it.
fucking
Dragon Power
oddball
of
jokes
Juju
that I
is a
just like
collectathon
threw
3D
in on a
platformer
whim
on
because I was like,
Mario 64,
this isn't
Banjo
really gonna
Kazooie,
make
and a
anyone
million
laugh, but
other
I think
types
it's
of
kind of funny.
games that you've probably
That's a
already
good
heard of
reason.
before. And that's where the problems begin for me.
Oh
There's
yeah, I
nothing
was
wrong with
surprised that
style
nobody
3D
like made
platformers. Some
mention
the
of this
best
next
and my
point.
favorite 3D
was
platformers
that,
are
like,
collectathons.
I
And while I don't think
prefer
Pac-Man executes the collectathon
linear
style poorly, there's
like
something about it that just
platformers
doesn't
and like
fit
I
the
even bring up
environment.
earlier or
Like,
later
the
in the
level
video that I
design
prefer
sound,
fucking
it's a bit basic, they
3D
lay things
world
out
over
well with
Mario
collectibles, they lead you to
64.
places they want you
Like
to
I'm
go,
genuinely
Because you're-
surprised
stuff
nobody
and
got
all that
upset about
jazz,
that.
but I guess part of
Because
why it
you're
doesn't work
based.
for me is
Binary
because
No, I
That's
think I think that people just
too.
assumed like,
For
oh, this man has
instance, in
brain
Mario
damage, and we're going to
64,
argue with
there's
him.
Holy
That's sad.
shit!
usually more to do than just platforming to get collectibles. Maybe you'll have
That-
to race
that's
the character
why-
to get a star or figure out what order you need to open a chest.
10 out of 10
Oh,
Rhino
that's
animation.
cool.
Yes,
Whereas
the
in
animations
Tac 1, all
in
you're
TAC
doing
1
most
for the
of
animals are
is
so
collectibles
fucking
and
funny.
just going somewhere and
They are
platforming
very
and
funny. I
maybe
remember like
very
seeing the
early
rhino
levels
like
of
running
stuff
around with his
about
feet
it.
like
And
flopping.
platforming is
Very
fun.
good.
I
They
guess it
they
just
do
shows
make
a
it
bit
more
more to do.
cleaned up in the
Collectible
later
placement
TAC
can also
games,
feel
but
a
it
bit
is
aimless at times
very
too,
funny
just
in
to
TAC
throw it in
1.
there. There is
Yeah.
one aspect of
I
the
was,
gameplay
ah man, I was so
really
sad when
love,
we played a
though.
little bit of
Throughout
Tech
the game,
3,
you often
and
run
the
into
Rhino
animal
just has like a
puzzles.
regular
Some are
run
simple,
cycle.
you just need to
You
lead
did
an
sure
animal
you
away,
sure
time
did
it
love
towards something,
fucking
but some
running
are a
into
bit
me
more
with the
interesting
Rhino
than that.
though.
Some will require
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
utilize
that was
multiple
the point of the
animals
game,
for
right?
abilities
Oh,
they have.
fun
And
fact.
getting around and getting
Mark
them
helped
going
Hang on,
Mark helped
sorry.
with this video
It's
more
not the
than once
deepest
because he
concept,
also
and it's no
helped
better in
me
future
capture
entries, but
footage
the way it's executed in
for
first
the
person
Oh,
is still
yeah.
Tech 3
really
segment.
good. I'll tell you what isn't really good though.
he was my
this
co-op
tutorial
partner.
sucks ass.
Yep,
This
that
is
was.
the
Oh,
first
I
time this
still
feature
wish
ever
you did like a
released.
highlight video of some of the
I even
bits from
interrupted
that
the
because that
video
was
because
so
I don't think
good.
Flora's all that
I
interesting
I
as a
don't I
character.
don't
God.
know.
Like,
For
she's
people,
nice, I
I
guess,
guess I'll
and
pause
she
to
hangs
bring
around
that
Tag
up.
for most.
For people who might be interested in that video, it's linked in the description of the TAC video. Like it's
Oh, sick.
unlisted and linked in the description of this video. So if you just want to hear Mark and me like talk like normal people and not yell at each other for once, like on a stream, because we're not, we're not playing it up for the No, we didn't actually get that upset at each other in that video.
We remember that a little bit differently, I think.
I think you remember it a little bit differently. I'm gaslighting
Do you
now.
do you remember the mini game where you have to press like specific icons that happen on screen, and then I
do.
started
That
to stand
did make
in
me want to kill you.
I
but
s-
you
that
were
I stepped-
purposefully upsetting me that time.
I stood in front of the camera so
was
that
funny,
you
though.
couldn't
It was
see
pretty
the
funny.
icons.
But for the most part,
That was good.
it's a fairly chill video, I think, where me and Mark are just
Yeah.
talking about random shit. That's not because we didn't have to like put on a show for anybody, you know.
Yeah.
I
That
like
was
what
fun.
Whoopi said in chat that I would prefer when the colors in the game are so diverse you can't make out what's going on anymore.
Cruelty Squad. I think you would like Cruelty Squad.
She's better in the second game.
Wow.
Not that any of that matters because the first
Oh, yeah,
time you
this
meet her, you're
tutorial
forced
is
into one of the
garbage.
most uninteresting hand-holding
I-
tutorials
Garbo.
I've
I can't
ever
explain to you
played.
how bad
And
this
look, I'm
tutorial
not
is
against
without any of
tutorials,
you
but I am
having
against them
played
when
it.
they constantly make it so that you can't turn the camera to teach me how to turn the camera.
All three TAC games do
Thankfully,
the
once you
fucking
beat
thing in the
tutorial
tutorial
and
where they
sort of the
teach you
first
how to
level,
turn
you
the
basically get
camera
free
after
reign
you've
to do
already
whatever you
started
want,
controlling
whenever
the
you want.
character.
That first level gives you
Man, the
something
flipping
really
new
neat,
Ratchet and
actually,
Clank
yeah.
games
You
even
can
do
finish
that.
the
It's
first
like,
section where you get a
why?
stack
Why?
of
Do
Like
we
Rift
need
Apart
this?
you
even?
jump higher and further.
I
What
think
I
so,
think
yeah.
What?
that you can still
Pretty
switch
sure
back
It's
to
like,
the
the
The movie game definitely does this, and like I understand, but at the same time, like
Okay,
you figured this out.
most
as you
kids
go.
know how to play video games now, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you start the game, you walk like few tiles and there's a fucking message sign telling you to press the jump key to jump.
Special, which is
Ugh,
especially
yeah.
felt since you have to fight the same one like 9 times. Thank God those fights are short.
Oh god,
The
yeah.
final boss isn't really all
The
that
plan
special
side
either,
does.
honestly.
Dude.
I remember
You
that.
get turned into a chicken, which is kind of
Oh
funny, I
god,
guess.
fuck.
That's
Oh my
not
god,
the
fuck.
real
I'm so
highlight.
excited for
Oh
every
god, that just reminded me of
this
okay, so
this
early in the
fucking
game, you get
chicken
this
suit.
that you can glide with, and it's bad. It's just
Yo.
bad. Unlike the rest
What's
of
with the
game,
monkey
it doesn't
dog?
control very well,
I
and
feel-
gliding
Like,
is
it was
so
never
insanely
explained.
Oh yeah, I
slow
put
that
that in the
have
video
to
because it's
assume
one of
it was
those
a
weird
mistake.
mysteries in this game that nobody. I am not shitting any of you. This footage is not edited at all. This is genuinely how slow it goes. This is how slow the gliding is in this
Okay, I
game.
have to end this section off with something
They-
really positive. Oh, there's
I remember
something
this.
this game
Christ.
series really does that I
They
think
fix
is
it.
pretty cool
They
and well
fix it in the
executed.
third
Certain
in the third
things
game when they
are
bring the
so
chicken
level,
suit
you
back.
notice things that you can't
But I
get to
can't
or can't
believe
interact with
that
when you find
that
them,
was
and it's usually because you
nobody
haven't progressed
like
far
did
enough
a
in the rest of
second
the game.
glance at that.
And look, I get that this is a thing that
That's
especially a lot of other
amazing.
platformers do, but I still think it's worth praise whenever it shows up, and definitely when it's executed as well as it is here. Oh, also there's a magic system, I guess. It's not really worth discussing, honest.
It really
Anyway,
wasn't, like, for real.
capitalism.
It's that fucking transition.
Okay, so being 100% honest, this is probably my favorite thing to come out of this franchise, and that's entirely.
I hate
because
that
of
I
how
hate
fast
that
it
I
is.
have to qualify.
Like, the
I
top
hate that I
game
have to
never
qualify.
or at least not
I
all
don't
of
know
Oh
the
my
context, but I'll
God.
believe
but
you.
I guess the first
Bro,
So, okay.
imagine me in school, like uni, and I didn't know this was like a racist icon. And, you know, the people in my class were like posting the moon guy everywhere, and I was just like, hey, who is this moon guy? Then I googled it, and
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh,
unfortunately, 4chan does what 4chan does, and they take a character and then they make him racist, and change his name and call him Moon Man, and now if you use it, you risk looking like a racist. Cool.
wow.
Which is why I put this
Sheesh.
qualifier on, but also because I just thought it was funny. I genuinely just like Mac Knight as a character. Also, he's played by the Shape of Water guy, like for real. He's played by the fucking fish guy in Shape of Water.
what's that?
The Shape of Water, it's a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Uh,
Oh, also, one comment you might want to see is from Goomba Ball Dasher. This is a little.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
can read it.
This is a little off topic, but your eco video was really nice and somewhat soothing
Yo,
to
we're
watch.
not there
Good
yet.
job.
We're not. Sorry.
It's okay.
What?
It's okay. Yeah, we'll get to the ego video at the end.
What happened?
But thank you for the compliment. The ego video was the closest video it was similar to, I think, was the Fatum Batula video, which we'll get to in this as well, where I was being more. I actually don't think I swear. I don't think I say fuck once in the script, but I do during that one segment where I screw up a line. Go. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Wow, ego.
But yes, thank you for the kind words on the eco video. I am really happy with how that came out. I do wish it was a bit longer, but I don't know what else I could have said to make it longer. So anyway, back.
Second game sold well enough for them to do a McDonald's tie-in.
I did research on this, and I'm actually still not certain if these toys are based off of the second game or not.
These toys are
I'm
kind of
pretty sure they are.
Make sense, or
I-
at least kind
from
of
what I
neat, but
could gather
for some,
online-
I just don't understand what they were thinking when
The thing
designing
is
them.
about
I
McDonald's
think the
toys
best
is that
way to
people don't
explain what I
exactly
mean is
like
just by talking about
keep
all of them
historical
one at a time.
records
I
of
spent
them.
real actual money on these.
I can imagine.
Also, as a quick aside, I was
God,
gonna
they
use my
look
own
so
footage for
crusty.
this, but there was
I
a
They're really
love the
funny.
McDonald's
that I don't
toys.
care
I love
enough
them.
to
I
share.
own them all. They're on
I'm
my
just gonna use
shelf.
the footage I found on
I've shown
YouTube.
pictures of
Thanks
them to
Juanito
friends
Camargo,
sometimes.
I guess. I hope I
Yo,
pronounced your name
Thanks
right.
to this guy, by the way, because he's the only person on the internet who's ever uploaded footage of these
already
toys.
we're off to an interesting start. The feature for this one, I guess,
Imagine
makes
uploading
sense,
footage
but
of
the way they
McDonald's
implemented it
toys.
is baffling.
Well,
So you bend
preservation,
his
What's
legs,
wrong
sit
with
down,
that?
and he jumps.
What's wrong
No,
with
I
that,
was just
Ryan?
joking.
So
I was
why the
joking.
fuck-
Yeah, you better have
Yeah,
been,
sure,
fucker.
sure. Wow.
Oh wait, hold on. I gotta.
Rye hates history.
I gotta go back a second because there's a funny bit here. I play a sound effect of him like breaking his leg and then a scream. I specifically went out. I remembered a specific scream from an extremely goofy movie that I knew I had to use for this joke, which is like near the beginning. No, it's not a goofy scream. It's from Max because Max is also played by Jason Marsden. So that's why I wanted to use it. But I remembered
That's
from like
great.
the beginning of the movie that Goofy like steps into the into the same what do you call the room where you're getting taught in a university?
Classroom?
Is it a classroom? I've never
Hmm?
whatever. It's that. Like Goofy walks in and Max sees him and he does this amazing expression while yelling. It's like super loud.
We're off to an interesting
But it's
start. The
I
feature for
want
this one,
I knew
guess
I had to
makes
use that
sense,
scream,
but
so
the way
let's
they
be quiet for
implemented
just
it
a
is
sec.
Baffling. So you bend his leg, set him down, and he jumps. Right, so why the fuck do I need to break this child's leg to get him to jump? This isn't even the toy design with
I
that
love
feature,
the
and
leg
it's better
bending
implemented in the other
function.
toy, which
So
we'll
weird.
get to because that one makes
I used
no
to own a
fucking
bunch of
sense.
McDonald's toys,
Other
even
than
the old
that, though,
Sonic
this one
GBC
is
ripoff ones.
Understandable
Oh
enough,
my
I
god, the
guess. It's
fucking
based off the main
LCD
character of a platformer. He jumps in
Sonic
the game, sure,
McDonald's
fuck it works.
toys. I
They
remember
probably could've
those.
done something
I
more
had one. I had the
interesting,
Knuckles
but I'm
one where
not
he
gonna-
I
plays
have a
football.
bucket
They're
of them.
god
still.
awful.
Video essay, so
Wow.
I'm already a hack.
I liked
Also, I
it.
don't know
It
why
was-
hack is the
well,
full
I
I
stop.
would
It was
play them
something.
He never
religiously
uses
and
the
go to
whole thing
McDonald's
the
to get
entire
new
game,
ones.
Only the dream half.
People did like digital
go to the next
recreations of
toy.
those.
Yeah, it's really cool. My favorite was the Spiral
Hey,
Dungeon
This one is my
Crawler.
second
Yeah,
favorite
it's
of
luck,
these weird
baby!
things. The feature
Here's
is
Yeah,
super
Mark's
that's what we're working
debut.
with here.
Here's Mark's debut on my
So
channel
what you
is
do is
Funny Lock.
You squeeze the arms
Hooray.
and his chest.
That's a nice
flexes,
cock.
This toy
which
is funny, though.
brilliant. Whoever designed this one deserves a raise.
I don't know if I sold this effect well enough, but I tried to fuck
It's
with
like
Mark's
crusty.
audio. Yeah, I tried to fuck with Mark's audio enough to make it sound like it's coming from like a McDonald's toy speaker. Because if any of you have had like a McDonald's toy with a speaker in it, the audio quality is awful. It's like atrociously awful.
Man, I also recorded like 3 minutes of just a random rambling in
Much
Locke's
much
voice.
more than I needed. Much more than I needed.
Yes.
I
Great.
kept the Captain Toad.
What?
Although now I want a noir Mario game where Toad is the antagonist or protagonist because I think that'd be funny.
Oh, yeah.
But I kept the bit where you talk about Captain Toad and then I cut you off like right as you're talking about DeBlob.
Fuck.
DeBlob is boring, by the way, everybody.
You just call me Blob.
Hey, yo.
Yes.
Why is it talking? This toy isn't supposed to talk. There isn't even a place for batteries. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Does it ever stop? Shut up.
I'm still really happy
Shut
with
the
this
fuck
bit.
I love Mark voice.
Remember
about
that
the
other Jumbo toy I
blob?
talked about a
Blob
minute
bad
ago? Yeah,
I
bet you
don't
didn't guess
know
me
why
for
they did this.
fucking
I don't know why they did
Genuinely,
this.
I'd love
this
to
one
meet
is
the
so
designer of
weird.
this specific toy and pick their brain because I really, really want to know what made them think it was at all fitting to give
Why
a
does he,
not
like,
at all
jump like
agile
that?
old man character the ability to do this. What the fuck? This would almost make sense if it was based off of
I have to
Jiboba's tick
I have to
transformation
correct
from the
myself.
second
I
game.
keep calling Jiboba a tick in this, and I completely forgot that he's actually just a flea. And this is one of those things that nobody would give a shit about except for me. But I'm going to make the record known that like I'm almost immediately after I put the video out, I was like, "Fuck, he's a flea, not a tick."
Wait, but he's a human.
He
No,
turns
d-
into a flea in Tak 2 as like
Oh,
a
okay.
puzzle tool. He's magic. He can do that.
Yeah.
Game, which we'll get to, hold your horses, but this is a normal, regular, non-platforming old man, and yet they still decided to give him this feature of all
Non-platforming
things.
old
I have
man
to assume
is-
that they did this because
I'm proud of that line.
This feature, that's so fucking
About the
good.
characters besides what they were told.
Fun
Two,
fact, these
probably
gifs
didn't
lag
care,
the
and
fuck
three,
out of my
were paid
Sony
not to
Vegas
care.
for some
But I
reason.
care, goddammit.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking
Sony Vegas is a
100
terrible
by
program.
100 SpongeBob dancing gif.
Yeah, I don't
This one's not
know.
all that interesting, so we're gonna move past it pretty quick. But for the sake of completion, I still want to talk about
This
it.
is one that I
Obviously,
wish I could have
the
gotten better
play lock
footage for, 'cause
arms
it does
up and
really
the red
look
light
pretty
turns on
neat in
his
the dark.
chest. Like I said, not
What
very
are those
interesting,
e-
but
oh,
it
wait,
just
it's the
looks
bad
cool in
guy.
dark.
Yeah.
So why are all their
This isn't
feet
one of
out?
my favorites, but I also still
Huh?
kind of love it. What this one does is really
Why are
simple,
all
but
their
it is
feet
super
out?
fitting for the character and is also just really
fucking-
funny.
no,
so there's a button on
no.
King's
You don't-
back, you press
you
it
don't
and
wanna
his
know.
arms do this.
You're not going to
And every
entertain
time I
me?
see it, I can't help but think of
Hey,
some dumb
forget
shit
about it! I fucking love pins.
It just
It's a fucking
it just brings a
cameraman!
smile to my face,
I mean the
you know?
cat head man!
Yeah. I wanted to use like I hope that
This is
came
another
across
one
right that I was
really
talking
don't
about like New
understand.
Yorker, like
just
stereotypical
look
New
at
York
this and
Italians.
You tell me what's wrong with this
Yeah.
picture.
This is baffling to me. I don't understand
haven't
who
guessed
thought
yet.
this was a good
Beatles
idea.
never does this
doing
in
the
any of
Rayman
games
fist
ever,
charge.
The
as far
scrapped
as I'm
hoodlum
aware.
enemy.
This one is definitely the most baffling.
does kinda
of
look like
all to me,
Hoodlum.
because even as like
Yeah,
a
these
toy
designs are pretty
action
cool, I gotta
feature,
say. Like, what's,
Yeah,
what
the
a toy
Jujus.
about it.
I think the
that does
Jujus are like the
this.
best looking designs in the.
Just-
The more I
games.
see about
Just
Tack, the more I
baffling.
crave. I want to play the game.
Like
wrong with you?
Playlock, there's not really a whole lot to say here.
I'm being
although I do like
conditioned
this one a bit more
by
than
Tiki
Playlock's
Tack.
toy. All you can do with this one is twist
You
around
know what
various
these
appendages,
designs
but
remind me
every
of?
time you do it,
Fucking
it makes, like,
Voodoo
these little
Vince.
clicking
Yes,
sounds.
especially
Yeah.
this guy right here.
What's that again? I forgot what I was.
Uh,
It's like
it's-
this
to
weird
represent these
Xbox
bones shattered
platformer.
into
It looked
tiny
bad, but
pieces.
Yeah,
Some
it's
people-
okay.
I remember that.
It's okay.
some
It's
people
fine.
really
Honestly,
enjoyed
this
it for
one
some
because
reason.
Dead
It
Juju is
doesn't
just-
look very fun.
He's a treat.
okay.
And we'll talk about him a bit more.
It's not
when
like
we
the
get to
best thing
Tattoo.
ever, but it's not terrible. And I like Vince as a
I
character.
don't know-
He's a lot of fun.
I
and
don't
his
know why,
design's
but
great.
for
Final
sorry.
toy. This one is
Talking
my
over you,
favorite.
sorry.
It's okay.
Hands
Oh!
down.
Oh, this
Picture
fucking
for
guy.
this
I
one.
love
I
him.
don't know why.
Another one of these toys
I
is
don't know
100%
why, but the-
coin eaters.
accurate
The dead
to how this
dead
character
Juju.
is
For some
in
reason,
Tattoo.
I get squeamish when I look at his
Yep, that's all
like
he does.
you know the shirt, and
it's
you can see like the rib
10
gauge
out of
from the
10.
shirt hole.
Really?
Ask for more.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
Looking at it
being
makes me
said,
like.
I really love this one the
But
most
this
of all
belly
time,
guy
and
is
I
all-
for real
okay, you
actually
know.
think
I
this is
love-
squeeze from
I
this
love-
guy.
hilarious.
It's
Just
perfect.
Look at this
His-
thing.
Hey, can you put your finger in that? Like if it opens like
Anyway,
that?
that's it
I
for
guess
toys.
you
Let's
could
get back
if
to
you
fucking
wanted
video
to.
games, baby.
I need to do
I'll
some
be
research
specific.
because
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
can you put your
Starting with the manual again, and honestly, while I still like this
Yes.
one, I don't think it's as
Right.
good as the first game's manual. I don't think it's as striking or memorable as
Right.
the graphic
Must be
design of
money.
Tac
Hey, I like
manual,
Tac
but I do
Tool.
gotta say the color choices are still pretty goddamn fantastic.
Cool.
That shade of
Thanks,
green against
Ryan.
the cyan background
Are
makes
are you
everything
looking
pop
on
really well, and while
eBay
I
frantically
still
searching for that
predecessor,
McDonald's
it's still
toy right
pretty
now?
fun. That said,
well,
not
I
much
looked
else to
for-
say about this one.
I looked
Besides
for
graphic
Tac
design,
Speed,
I think
but
it does everything
that's
else
beside
better
the
than
point.
original game's manual.
Okay, okay.
The not video
Like
game
the first
part
game, we're gonna
two.
get right into the story, which this time I think is actually a lot more interesting. It doesn't fall back
does
on
he
the
look
hero's
so
journey
crusty
trope
in
that
this?
much this time around. I mean,
They
by
always
the end
look
of the first
crusty.
game, Tak's already the hero. He doesn't really have to prove himself again.
Who-
I think
what
that
was
really
this
let
guy's
them have
name
some more
again?
freedom,
Loki?
but I'm getting
Locke.
ahead of myself.
Loki.
Lock, there we
Give
go.
her a three-letter name.
I can't. I keep thinking it has an R in it, like crunk.
Hey, Raymond. My name's Locke. You
wanna
see my
Cusco.
feet today?
Let's see what we're working with here.
Save a princess locked away.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
Tak
on.
doesn't buy this shit for
I
a second and
love
only obliges because he's told him he
how
never wake up again
much
if he doesn't,
Tak
which
doesn't
is
give a fuck
fucking
about this
hilarious.
game.
After a short and much better than
Like,
the first
he's-
game's tutorial,
The
Tak is back
comedy
the
in these
waking world and
games,
finds
I
himself
know,
surrounded by
at
Jabolba
least Mark can
and Locke.
attest to this,
After
that in the
telling
third
both of them
game,
what
the
happened in his
fucking
dream,
jokes
Jabolba
are
sets out to
so
help Tak
fun.
get more in tune with the mental
They
world.
actually are. Like the
And so they
interactions
must
between the two
quest to find
characters
Jabolba's
is
brother,
very
who has a lot
enjoyable.
of know-how on
Are
this
they,
weird
though?
dream shit.
The writing is
Yeah,
pretty
worse
good in
not
these
before he
games,
sends Locke
like
away on
at
the
least for
farm to
comedy.
Get rid of him because he's a fucking
Take your
simp.
word for it.
And then the fourth game happened, and the show happened, and it got really
After
bad.
a whole bunch of video game, Tak and Jabolba finally
don't
make
talk
it to
about that,
Jabolba's
though.
brother, who is named
Yeah.
JB, which is short for Jabolba's
I'm
brother.
surprised I didn't bring this
I
up,
swear
but
to
yeah,
God that wrote
as
this,
some of
it's
you might have
so
noticed in
funny.
cutscenes, sometimes characters like hair.
I was just
and-
about to mention that.
Yeah, like hair and
They, like,
cloth
fly.
will like
Oh,
flutter
the
around.
physics.
And that's
like
the reason that's happening is because when the cutscenes shift, they're moving the they're moving the characters around, like when the camera shifts. So it causes the physics to freak out a little bit.
that's such a classic mistake. I love it.
Yeah, you don't see that kind of thing happen that much anymore, but it was a big trend around like the late PS2
Yeah.
and PS3 era.
Why don't you just move the camera?
Because sometimes it doesn't get you the shot you want.
Sonic
what do you
Boom
mean, just
did this a
move the
lot,
camera?
actually.
Sonic Boom did do that a
Just-
lot.
Just to move the camera.
It doesn't
Yeah,
work
you
like
can
that,
mo-
right? When you're shooting in in CG, you have to like keep in mind a lot of things, you know. I could have
yeah,
explained
missed
that better.
the CG part. I was just thinking about the programming, like moving a camera in like Unity.
Yeah, I'm sure programming moving the camera was fairly simple for them. It's not about that though. They want to make the shot look good. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That was what
They
the
could
money
just
spent.
move the
Fucking
camera.
right.
Okay, let's.
Oh, also,
yeah.
while
Shut up,
Tak's thing is
Rye.
happening, Locke manages to catch up a few times. and
Oh,
even
by the
befriends
way,
Jack.
I didn't bring this up in the video, but for some reason, this is the only cutscene in the game where the fucking the black bars, the aspect ratio is different for some reason.
What?
What?
Huh?
It's thick. It's like it's a
Thick.
it's a thinner aspect ratio than the rest of the game. I can even show it with the previous cutscene. Like, let me go back a sec. So, like, you guys see how
Oh,
thick
yeah.
the black bars are here, right? Okay, let me go back into another cutscene, and it's much thinner. I don't know why this happens. I don't know
Could
why
it
this
be like
happened.
Could it
Cinematic
be like an
effect.
earlier render or some shit?
I don't know, but this is the only cutscene in the game that looks like
So
this.
fucking right. Oh, also, while Tak's thing is happening, Locke manages to catch up a few times and even befriends a Juju along the way that just
There's
decides
a
to
like
tag along
one
because, hey, why
frame
not,
gag
right?
coming
And
up
that
soon
Juju
that I'm gonna
is dead
is gonna be
Juju.
kind of difficult
And I
for me to
love that
catch.
Juju.
I'm gonna
This
try
is
and
on-
okay, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I already missed
There
it.
it is.
But I'll give you guys the scoop since yeah, there it is.
One frame, Joe.
God, just his expression.
That's
He looks
amazing.
so scared.
Somebody brought this up to me after the video was over, and in hindsight, I should have done it. But he's like the only character that I talk about and don't bring up a line from in the entire video, which is a shame. Because Rob Paulson does a
Wonder-
fantastic job as this character.
Ah.
I love his voice for Dead Juju. I love him as Dead Juju. It's so
This
fun.
is honest to
They
God
changed him to
one of
Party
my
Juju in the
favorite
show, by the way,
performances
because I guess they were
from
afraid to
Rob
call him
Paulson.
Dead
He plays this
Juju.
undead
They're
Party
cowards.
character so well, and it's
Wait,
so
he's called
ungodly
Party
charming to just watch
Juju?
this dumb skeleton wearing a
He's
Hawaiian
called
shirt
Party
fumble
Juju
around
in
and
the
be a
show
goofy
and the
doofus
fourth
that you
game.
just
Party.
can't help but fall in love
Well,
with.
he
Like
might not have been in the
disco,
fourth game.
like
Back to Tak's whole
Party.
thing, after
Why
saving
party?
JB
What
from
does
some of
that-
the worst
'Cause he's a
video
party
games
dude.
I've
What?
had the displeasure of playing,
That's
he
his
hooks
personality.
Tak up
He's
with
like a
Dream
party
Machine
dude.
Oh,
and
okay,
finally
okay,
saves the
okay.
princess
I see.
and
Even though he's
the
a
Dream Guardian.
skeleton.
So yeah,
Yeah.
he does that, and it turns out the Dream Guardian was
This
not
boss
the bad
attacks
guy,
you
and
with
in
his
fact was
feet,
pretty
though.
important to
I
keeping
wonder
the
if
balance
anybody
of
noticed
Dream's
I do this
nightmares.
one,
Two,
two
the princess
thing
wasn't actually a princess,
multiple
but instead was
times.
pins and needles in disguise. And
Like, nobody
three,
brought it up,
the
but I
Dream
do
Juju
this
was
1,
actually
2,
just
3
Playlock, who
thing
was tricking
earlier
Tak
in the
into
video
getting the Sapphire
too,
Dreams
but
in
nobody
vocal
said
credits.
anything.
But seriously, this
It's
thing
good
is
for,
pretty
like,
important, like reality bending important.
the word?
And while Playlock doesn't
Summary?
manage to get away with
Structuring the
whole
video.
staff,
Yeah.
he still has half of one of the most powerful magic items in this universe. Like, the half Playlock gets lets him and his minions open portals to pretty much anywhere, and also breaking it in half causes the dream world and the waking world to start to
JB,
merge.
Bulba's brother.
And
Fucking
hey,
such a
nice stuff with the
stupid
half
joke.
you got, I guess. After a whole bunch more video game, Tak obviously defeats Playlock, saves his friends in the world, gives the Staff of Dreams back to the Guardian, and wakes up. Yep, that's right, the whole game didn't happen. Maybe. I don't know, dude. This ending kind of sucks. And
It
therefore
was
pretend
all
it's
a
not
dream.
canon And didn't happen.
Super Mario too.
I mean, it kind of gets
Never-
retconned in 3 a little bit anyway, but, you know. Real quick, before we move on to the next section, I want to bring up the aesthetic of the dream world. I adore this
I
art
still
direction.
think this
I
is one of
this
the coolest
personally
takes
is the
on
most
like a
interesting and original
dreamscape
take on
I've
a
seen in a video
dreamscape I've
game, or
ever
just
seen
in
pretty
most
much
media.
any
Like
media
it's so
ever. The use of those
distinct
specific
from anything
shades of
else I've ever
greens and
seen.
blues for the land
Is it
masses
like
in this place,
a good
combined with those
abstract
ethereal
take on a
skyboxes that
specific
both
dream?
eventually
Probably
turn
not.
darker and sharper
But
and
just as a
scarier the closer you
visual
get to the
thing,
Dream
I think it
Guardian.
looks
All
really
adds up to
cool.
this just gorgeous
This is
take
what
on
I'm like without a
location
script,
based on
folks.
dreams. Alright, I'm done gushing. On to the video game part again. Tak 2 is a stark improvement in the gameplay department. Everything from the first game that just made it feel kind of bloated.
Oh,
is
these
gone.
like
Tak now has
barrel
a meter
riding
for magic
sections
that
are
as
so
the game
fun.
goes on lets you
Shame it
amp up
happens
I like
your
that
stats
bear.
and do more damage, and also gives Tak the ability to sprint.
Yo, this is like
Fun
genuinely
additional
gorgeous.
platforming.
Like
Yes!
when you look at
Yes!
the
Yes!
Chorus plays.
Mark thought the exact same thing when he streamed Tak 2.
Like, that was like Rayman 2 on steroids.
Right? What I'm saying.
I
Now
swear
I
to
gotta
God,
play
this
it.
game would look so good with like Psychonauts 2 treatment on visual.
Yeah.
Is also here still too. Something new this time around is Jabulba, actually. So remember how I brought up earlier that Jabulba becomes a
Flick! A fleet!
That's actually a game
He becomes a fleet, that's what I
He's
said.
used to
I didn't
playing
fuck
the
up.
animal puzzles, which
I didn't
is
fuck
kind of
up.
a major upgrade.
Uh-huh.
None of the puzzles
Yes,
are
Rewriting
Psychonauts
history.
music.
any of the games,
I thought
but they're
the
definitely better
the
executed
camp
here
music
than
was
the
really
first game
fitting
and a
for
lot
how
more fun, too. Oh, you know,
how much
talking about that, near the
greenery
end of the game,
was
you can actually
in,
turn into
this
some animals
section.
and use those for some pretty cool puzzles
The
too.
fucking
There's
bear
even a
sliding
secret
on his
point right
ass,
before the
just like
penultimate boss where
it
you
doesn't even have
chase
an
those needles while
animation for
constantly
steering.
thinking of
It's
some
It's
really
just
funny.
the model sliding around on a Z-axis.
animal puzzles in this one is so fun.
Nobody's brought it up,
Another
which means
major
I
change is
assume
the
I
level
did this
design.
right,
For the most
in
part,
that,
the game is
the
as
music-
linear as it gets.
Nobody brings up the
Instead of
music
big
in these
open areas
videos,
to
which means
explore and find
I'm
trinkets to
assuming I
collect
did
and
it
stuff,
right
it's a
and that
straight
it's
line from
there
start to
and
finish.
does
There is
its
still a lot of
job, but
collecting to
doesn't
do,
like
but most of it's
distract.
optional this time, and I gotta
Yeah.
be real,
And,
I
that
prefer
makes me
this style of
happy.
3D platformer over the standard
Yeah,
collector
man.
fun. That's probably blasphemy to some people, but you know, preferences and all that.
I try to mostly use music from like things I've seen
to get on
or
my
played.
level. But yeah, for the most part, I think the
But
level
sometimes I
design
will
of Tak 2
fudge
is
that when I
so
need
many steps above the
a fitting
original
song.
game
Like
with
there are a
one
couple tracks.
exception. And man, this exception makes
in
me so
every
sad
video.
because visually it is
Well, not
easily
every
my
video,
favorite level.
'cause,
But it's a
I think the
fucking
Kirby
shitty
video
turret
and
level
the
with
Phantom
barely any
Matula video
platforming.
all use
Yeah,
music
this
from
is that
games I've played.
aforementioned the worst video game design I've had the displeasure of playing part I was
But we'll
talking
get to
about a
this
little
when
bit
we get to
ago,
this.
which to be honest was hyperbole for the sake of the joke. It's not the worst thing ever, but it is the worst part of
God,
this game.
it's
and
such
that
a
genuinely
pretty
does make
looking
me a
level.
little sad.
Why did they
But
make
yeah,
it a
honestly, besides
turret
that, I've got no real
section?
other complaints. Oh, one more thing I really
like
like about
space.
specifically the last
It's
few
a-
levels
it's
in the game.
gorgeous.
You go
The
back to
level is
collect the
gorgeous,
style
but they
platformer for them,
they
and
fucking
pull
make
off
you
a
play
really
around
well,
on a
and it's
stupid
just a
turret
little
for like
love
the
letter to
entire
first game
level.
style design that I just find really endearing. Oh, also, there's another kind of just okay final boss here. It's better than the first games, but there's still not much to say on it, so Tak 3, I guess.
Get it?
Alright,
Because
I'm
his
not gonna
name would
drag
be
this out.
Manuel.
This is the weakest of all three
Manuel.
manuals.
I'm
It's not
funny.
awful, but it's
Fuck,
rather
this is a
bland.
dumb
It's
joke.
Please
not
explain-
fun.
please
It's
explain the
kinda
joke.
basic
Please
looking,
explain in
which is
excruciating
fine. It
detail.
gets the point across,
More
but I
Peter
just can't
McConnell
help but
music,
feel a
by the
little
way, right after the,
disappointed still. The other two manuals, especially the first one, look so fantastic.
Oh my God, we were
while
just
this one
talking about
looks
Psychonauts music. Jesus
competent.
Christ.
We'll say competent, yeah. I should
My
say,
brain
though,
is
I still
bad
think all
today
three
for some
manuals look
reason.
really good,
I kind
especially
of
in
want to do
comparison
a
lot
like a
of other
video
manuals
about
at the
different
time.
manuals of
I
all
just
games
wish
that I
this
have.
final one hit
That
the
would be
mark, you
awesome.
know?
I have some good ones.
The fact that you used Frontiers music in the latest
Tak 3
Eco
is
video made
easily
me
my
happy.
favorite of the trilogy.
You can
Not
thank
much
Mark
to
for
add
that.
to I just
He's the one who
wanted to get that
suggested
out of way.
the first movement
Also,
for
not a whole lot of plot to talk
Chronos.
about this time. It's
Yeah,
Yeah, but
like-
when will he use
Tak
Balan
Lot
music?
Never.
When?
Never!
It's good music. You're missing out.
It is, but I hate using it because it reminds me of Balan Wonderworld.
And how you still need to beat it, yeah.
I don't have much to say about her, even if she is still enjoyable.
Balan
as a character.
Wonderful.
Also, inevitably they win.
Oh,
but
yeah,
not
this
before
little
almost being
gremlin
cheated out of
man.
Winning by this dude, Dark Juju, who's super horny and wants to fuck the Moon Juju.
He's such a
yeah, that's
weirdo.
about it for the plot, which is fine by me because a lot of emphasis was put on the character.
Why are
moments
there
between
suddenly,
Tak
like,
and
weird
Lot, both in
Jujus?
cutscenes and in
There's
gameplay.
And by
always
that
been
I
weird
mean like
I love what these dudes have going on.
Oh,
in this
wait,
game.
maybe-
It's
okay,
this
yeah,
perfectly
maybe I'm
The first game
executed
has
brother,
fucking
little brother
Dinky, who's this
dynamic that
tiny
leads
little
to one of
guy
some of the
that's
best
like
comedy in
a
the
super
series.
destructive
I haven't really brought
force.
this up, so I might as well bring it up now before the
I love
video ends,
Dinky.
but these games are really funny.
Did you talk about
Like,
Dinky in the
really
video?
fucking
I did not.
funny.
I showed him at
And
like
Tak 3 is
one
easily
part in
the
the
funniest
Tak
of them
1
all,
footage.
at least to me. And almost
I'll
all of it
Google
is thanks to
Dinky
that
for you,
previously
right?
mentioned dynamic
Oh yeah,
between
I
Tak
bring
and
this up
Lot.
later
I've
in
enjoyed
this
the
video, but
competition
holy
together,
shit,
they
the
both,
animation in
have
this
to
one
work
is such a
together, and
step
because
up
they're
from the
both kind
first
of
two
idiots, They
games.
butt heads with each other often, but
It's
in that
genuinely just
sibling
really
loving way.
solid.
You know, that endearing
Still
way that you
not.
only really
It's
know
still
of
a
if you
little
grew up
stiff
with
in
an older or
places,
younger
but for the most
sibling.
part, it's.
Why do
And
the
these are just great
textures
moments
look
like
worse
this.
though?
The lock called it
Do they?
first. The lock gets it.
Do you
The
know
fucking
what that is,
voice.
Actually, the
Yes.
textures on most of the character models are
It's
better
for
because they
underwater
everyone besides
exploration.
Tak used to have like kind of fucked up eye textures.
And it's all
I
yours.
love the voice unlock.
Too bad I'm not
Fucking, it's the
Yeah.
guy from Scooby Doo.
Sure glad
What?
you are. Thanks.
Scooby, what?
Huh?
Scooby Doo?
The
Oh,
sheriff.
from Mystery Incorporated. You're talking about the
Yeah.
sheriff.
Because I've been watching it a lot
Oh.
recently. It's so funny.
Mystery Inc. is so good. Let's not
get
too into that, though.
Make a video about it.
I might make a video about Scooby-Doo someday. Maybe the original
Oh,
like
yeah.
90s
Actually,
movies.
that reminds me. There's another part
Velma.
where in between challenges.
No.
Cinema.
This part right here makes me wish these games had went on longer because I love the little like lore tidbits of like Tlaylock and Jabolba used to be like comrades and like teammates. Like they used to work together in the challenges.
Oh
And
my
I would
god,
have loved
and
to
they
see
were roommates.
And I would have loved to see gay old man Yowie. I would have loved to see more of like that kind of lore, but unfortunately Nickelodeon had to fuck everything up.
The animation in this one is really good for the era.
Yeah, it's always so baffling to me to think that this is like a Nickelodeon franchise.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that it started as a video game because they wanted to branch out into video games. And then they fucked it all up anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, total coincidence that I was showing footage of women when I said let's see how this bitch plays already. That was not intentional.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
It wasn't, I promise.
Yeah,
Hates
yeah.
women.
We know, we know.
Video lagged. Let me rewind a bit.
Rewind time.
What if you find out it's just a video rendering
that's
error?
hot.
I would have noticed that a lot earlier than this.
No.
Every once in a while. No, Locke is playable from jump alongside Tak because this game is a co-op multiplayer 3D platformer. Which, if
The
you're
evil
anything
Juju
like
team were the
me,
main
is
reason I couldn't
coolest
beat the last
sentence
derby section of the
anyone
game,
could
and they kept
say
winning no
about
matter
any
what.
video game ever.
Have I got
And this
news
is
for
the
you?
co-op in the
You're
era
gonna like
where
the
you
last
play
segment of this
the game
video.
play the games alone and nothing really changes.
You gotta be more
This game is
specific
co-op
because
down
there's
to
so
its
much
core.
Scooby-Doo
Everyone who's designed
content.
with Tak and
We were
Locke
talking
using
about
the abilities
specific
they have
Scooby-Doo
together to
content,
get
though.
through
I was talking about the original
And
90s
I love
movies,
that.
and
I love
Rye
that
was
Tak
talking about
has
Mr.
abilities
Ink.
that Locke doesn't have, and vice versa.
And then somebody brought
It
up
forces
Velma. I think
people
it was
to use both of them
I think it
in
was
some
also
simple
Rye,
but
which
really
makes me want to.
No, it was Nebula. It was Nebula. We have different
No, it
voices.
was
I swear we have
Rye. It was
different.
Rye.
We're
It was
different
Rye.
persons. I swear we're different persons. We're different.
Yeah, the blame is on Rye now.
Yeah.
It's
Gaslighting.
always happened
It's
when
crazy.
Nebula's around.
It's crazy.
always
It's crazy to me that even though you play as two characters in this game, it's still so fast-paced, like switching between both of them. It's
The way the
I-
levels and just
I
the
love this
game is
game, and I wish it
designed
didn't
is where
end on the
going
note
as
it
fast as
does
you
because I
can
think
while
it would
working
genuinely
together
be the
with your
best game in
partner.
the series
Since the whole game
gameplay-wise
is
if
based
it
around
wasn't
this
for
big
that.
competition, you're not just
The
playing normally,
ending
you're
is
under a
just,
time limit this time. And
It's
I
not even
know
the
this
ending,
sounds
it's
great to some
the
people, but for me, it leads
gameplay.
to what is
It's the
easily
gameplay in the final
fastest-paced
part.
gameplay of the entire series.
The ending is
That's
kind of
true.
a fun little shitpost that I wish was better, but as it is, it's fine.
That sense of dread from not making time really pushes you into upping the pace. There's also very few moments that drag the game down, definitely nothing on the level of that turret part from the second game. There are these weird demolition derby sections that you have to do, one of which being the final thing you do in the game that are fine, I
fucking
guess. I don't love them, but they're
Demolition
inoffensive
Derby
at
shit,
worst.
man.
The final one kinda sucks though, not gonna lie. Man, all three of these games had pretty weak endings, honestly. At least in terms of gameplay. Oh well, it's all about the journey, not the destination, and blah blah blah. Okay, so I wrote a lot of that last part before recording footage for this, and I forgot just how awful the final part of Tak 3 is.
I could have done this pause effect better, but it's okay, I think.
It does the job.
Yeah. But I think if I was to do it again in the future, I'd try to go even harder on like the VHS static and stuff.
Press the button inside your pillow to end demolition!
They weren't fun, but they were forgivable.
What?
There was plenty of leeway. As long as you weren't in last place, you'd be good.
There's context
in the
in
final
chat.
one, though, it's just your team versus another
Oh,
team,
I
and
see.
the other team cheats. That wouldn't even be such a problem if these shitty cars didn't suck major ass to control. It genuinely feels like
Major
you're playing
ass.
the game just to turn the way you need to go, and no.
I was
way
genuinely a
to
little
stop.
mad
It doesn't
while
help that you have to go
both
through
writing
rounds
and
of
reading
shit
this
and
part
wait
of the
each
script.
time. And of course, it's too fucking long too, like nearly 10 minutes too fucking
Equal
long.
sections.
And again,
Welcome
if you
to the
mess up
stream,
once,
May.
you're going back to the first round. Which, if that
Hello.
happens
Hi,
at
May.
the end of the final round and you nearly win twice,
Welcome.
yeah, safe to say I really don't like this part. And I tried everything, man. I tried so many strategies in every single car multiple times over. At some point,
Yeah, it doesn't
I
look bad.
just won. I couldn't even tell you how. The whole thing just felt like pure luck. And it's such a shame because
pure
almost
luck.
everything before this horrible
I
final
love this.
section, I legitimately
Funny
think is some of the
lobster
most fun
suit.
I've ever had with a 3D
The
platform.
lobster
I
suit.
still love this game even after all of that.
It's
too.
Haynes'
There's too
birthday.
much good
That's
going
not-
on.
It's
It's not
Haynes'
my
birthday, by the way.
goddamn birthday, I
context.
swear to God.
Please.
It's the
Rock.
anniversary of my
Happy,
first
happy.
major video on this channel.
Listen to me lying.
That's all she
So,
wrote.
Tech
All right,
Challenge
we're
is
almost
something
on
that
to
I come
the
to
next
adore
video, which I
most,
believe
warts and
is
all, and I
the.
just love so many things about all three of them.
It's the
Their
BFPB
aesthetics
video.
and music
Yeah.
is unlike almost anything I've seen or heard from video games.
When's
and
the
gameplay, while
Simpson
nothing
video?
moves tightly and
The Simpsons
comically
video is second to
made,
last.
these
It'll
games
be a
are
while.
unbelievably
Ah, okay,
polished for
yeah.
the era. The writing is surprisingly good for this type of game, especially from
Because
the early
that one blew up.
2000s. And I gotta say,
Wait,
I
was
love
it the
how
Simpson
so little
video?
conversation surrounding these games.
Yeah, the Simpsons video
They're
was the one that
straight up
blew up.
diamonds in the
That
rough.
Yeah.
video has
Seriously,
the
I've
most
played a
views
lot
out of anything on
platformers
my
from
channel
this
by
era
a
that I don't
very
think are
wide
nearly as
margin.
good as these ones.
Yeah,
that
what's
somehow
it at
get
right
way
now,
more
like
discussed
20,000
in
24K?
circles. I just
Hot
don't get it.
dog.
What?
Hey, here's hoping these games come
Insane.
back in some way.
But I'm glad for
somehow.
you. Get
THQ
that
Nordic
YouTube
does own the
money.
license
I don't
again,
care.
so
I don't get any
anything's
money from
possible.
it.
Yeah.
Juxtaposed, by the way, to the Eco video, which has been
Yay.
doing fairly poorly, which I also don't give a fuck about because I don't make my
Seriously,
videos
the
for
remastered
anybody but
released a
me.
third game with online
Watch the
It's
video
very
though.
nice.
If you're watching this
I am
stream, check
begging
out the
for
new
this
Eco
game
video
now,
from
thank
Hayne.
you.
It's cool.
I would appreciate it though. All right, next up, Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Best of all,
It's
it
I
is
didn't
remake
even
and
realize
it's
the
sort of
Tech video
sequel.
has.
definitely gonna talk about
Sorry.
in the future
I didn't
someday.
even realize even the Tech Hero video has like 2,000 views. That's really nice. And after you made the video, like every other YouTuber made Tech videos
Yeah, that was
all of a sudden.
okay. Let's pause to talk about that for a sec because that was the year of tac. It was the year of tac videos for some reason. Like I had been working on my
This
tac
guy.
video for months, and then it comes out. It's finally out. People liked it. It got a nice more views than I was expecting it to get. And then like a day or two later, somebody else has this huge tac video come out where they talk about every game in the series, like every game, and it's like an hour long, and clearly they were working on it like around the same time as me. They had to have been. And then the fucking later on, like a Let's Player I watch, called Mike Burnfire, fucking releases a Let's Play series of Attack and the Power of Juju, and he's doing Tattoo now. And then, like after that, the fucking Golden Bolt releases this big ass video about every tac game, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but like a select few people this year got brainworms and made tac videos.
Hayne did it before it was cool. Remember this?
True.
Fun fact, I'm not gonna name any names, and I hope this doesn't come off as too rude, but I actually made the tac video for, well, one, because I wanted to make it, but two, because there were other tac videos already existing that I didn't like very much. Like, I thought that they could have been done in a more not coherent, but a more streamlined way, I suppose, which I tried to do with my tac video.
Yeah, and you succeeded.
Well, I appreciate that, thank you. Anyway, Spunk Bob.
Spunk time.
I'm
spunking!
It has an ad for a game on the back that I am definitely going to talk about in the future someday.
The future is now, old man.
The year of Tech's feet.
This clip is so funny, by the way, from Malcolm in the Middle, because the original context is that they fucking punched their dad in the dick.
Okay.
I love Malcolm in the
So
Middle.
this video was
Sounds like a good show.
right after the
It
Tag
is.
video, but you know that one was originally planned to come out in April, and
Whoops.
I don't know what
and
that
with the
is.
likely release of the Cosmic Shape
People are
game
saying
soon,
that we
I
should
don't
show
really
more
get to
tac
post from
feet
this
in the
video if I
video.
want it to come
Yeah,
out before that
I understand.
happens.
Yeah, I think
Also,
that's
this
the
is
only,
gonna be a
like,
two-parter, because if there's anything I learned from making that
pitfall
tac
in your
talking
video
about
didn't
three
show enough
games
tac
in one
feet.
vid can take
Everybody
a
makes the joke
while.
about me, like, having a foot fetish because I like tac a lot, but I'm the
No,
only...
you're not the
No,
one who has
no,
a
no,
foot fetish.
I'm-
I'm the one.
What?
I'm not the one...
Confession
I've never
live on
claimed
stream.
Kane has a foot fetish.
Somebody clip that, please.
Somebody please clip that and take it out of context immediately.
Oh,
please,
let's fucking
please.
go.
Post it everywhere.
Expose.
What I was trying to point out was that
Exposed,
everybody
not even
brings
on
up...
my own stream.
Everybody
Wait,
brings
before you
up-
can expose me, I'll start my next stream by fucking telling everyone I have a
You'll
tac fetish.
bring out a ukulele and apologize for doing... But what I was trying to say is that everybody else besides me brings up feet with tac like 1,000 times more than I do. Like I
It's
tried
the feet
to.
game.
That's what I mean. I don't bring it up, but these guys do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, Robbie is right.
So for this part, it's just going to be BFBB and its remake, which should both be significantly easier to talk about since they're basically the same.
there are
game
plenty of
with
things I could have
some
talked about in this
differences.
video,
I've also
but
played both
as I
so
said at
many
the
times that
original,
talking
at the
about it is
beginning
just
of this
a video
video,
on autopilot.
I was
After
going
this
into
video,
writing
though,
this
the movie
expecting
game,
you
which
to
I'm
know
honestly more
something
excited to
about
talk
it.
about
Hey, that
than
was the
the
Dutch
predecessor
cover for
because
that,
God
by the way.
knows
That was
everyone
funny.
and their grandmother has already talked about BFBB before.
I was
Anyway,
expecting people
are
who
you ready, kids?
who were watching this video to have already known something about BFBB because of how many videos are already on it and also how many people have played it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say if you're
Yeah, I
watching
say
this
it right
video,
here.
you're probably already
What a
aware
fucking
of the
idiot.
game in
Yeah,
some
yeah, I
capacity.
just said that,
Because of
asshole.
it
Come
means I
on.
have an excuse
Get with
to
the fucking
say
program.
something, otherwise I would find very
Fucking
boring to
dumbass.
talk about. You know, stuff like how Mr. Krabs is clearly not voiced by Clancy Brown.
Fun little
Treasure chest
tidbit
is
here.
looking a bit
I don't know
light
if I
for
showed
you.
it, but I was...
Do you think I've got
You're supposed to
bilge water
switch-
on the brain?
Oh no, you know what? Never mind. Whatever.
Fuck are you?
I've
That
never seen that
fucking
movie. I
ball
just thought
puzzle
that clip
I
was
actually
funny
kinda
for
like,
that
honestly.
context.
You know, stuff like that you've likely heard of already if you
I hope
even
you'll
slightly
find
know the
a
game.
place in
Although
a
actually
future
bringing
video
that
to
up,
put
I
in
do
that
wanna
one
talk
clip
about that one
from
GameSpot review for the remake real
God,
quick,
what's his
because that
name?
video is so
Fuck, I forgot the
embarrassing, and
name.
just find it very funny.
Funny
I've
man
never
from
seen
Spider-Man,
someone use
the
jobs to
boy,
review
the
video
gamer.
games.
Oh,
the
Tobey
man
Maguire?
with
So hard at
No, the other
review
one.
babies.
J.K. Simmons?
Rami Saimi?
All you need to do is
No,
stand on
no,
a button,
not Rami
and that button
Saimi.
It's
will
Ram-
be
it's
able
Sam
to pull a
Raimi.
bubble into,
Oh,
so you can progress.
yeah, that one.
Newspaper dude.
J. Jonah Jameson, so J.K.
J.
Simmons.
Jonah Jameson from the other movie, from Whiplash, where he does like the I'm going to flip and obliterate you or something. I hope you get to use that one in a future video.
I want to rewind here because I want to talk about this GameSpot review a little bit
Fair
more.
enough.
'Cause
Yeah,
took me
go
like-
on.
Took me a full minute to remember
Yeah.
a name.
This GameSpot review is genuinely... It's
Heard
actually
already?
impressive
Slightly know the
because
game. Although
somehow...
actually bring
It's weird. The GameSpot review for this game is terrible, but the GameSpot review for the Cosmic Shake is actually very nice. Like you can tell the guy genuinely likes the show and liked BFBB and was like a fan of the game while still being critical of it. It was very. I can't believe I'm saying this, but GameSpot put an actually genuinely really good review out on the Cosmic Shake, which is
Probably
funny
a different guy.
because it was a different guy, but still, it was just funny. Because usually, I don't usually expect these, even when they do like do positive reviews, I still don't expect them to be that good at what they do, personally. But I wanted to bring up also that the IGN review for the Cosmic Shake, according to Mark, I don't think I've seen it. I think I stayed away from it because I didn't care. But according to Mark, it's fucking awful. Like it's god awful.
yeah.
Is it
I
the
remember
one where
that.
He, like, is it the one where he can't operate the ball machine?
No,
or
that's
whatever?
this is the video
Okay,
that I
okay,
show
okay.
in my video. By
Yeah.
the way, GameSpot logo in the bottom right, that's actually not from their original video. I put that there to show the difference between my footage and their footage.
That's
safe.
clever.
Bring that up,
Good
I
one.
do want to talk
That's
about
also
that one
for the
GameSpot
GameSpot. They
review
also
for
did a
the remake
review
real
of
quick,
Donkey
because
Kong
that
Country
video is
Tropical
so
Freeze when it
embarrassing,
came
I
out.
just find
Oh,
it
They
boy.
gave it like a
very
6 out of
funny.
10
I've
or
never seen someone
something.
whose job
They
is
said
to
like
review
dull
video
derivative
games.
level
They
design
go
and
so hard
cheap
on
and
reviews.
harsh
In one
checkpoints.
section
Like
of the puzzle, all you need
just
to do
awful, just awful.
I know
Okay,
I know
I want to talk about.
What do you want
I
to
want to talk about the video, but I'll say like this one last thing about the fucking game review thing. Like, why are people who don't even play games reviewing games?
True!
Yeah.
True!
I think I know. I think I actually know why. Because usually
Yeah,
it's these
Ian.
big media outlets that just get journalists to write reviews and articles, and not people who have any experience with games. Just people who are
Oh.
just regular journalists, and they're probably asked to, hey, can you review this game? Like, sure, whatever. I'll play a video game
That
and write
makes
about
sense.
it. I mean, that's what I assume, and that's what a
Yeah.
lot of like, especially like old timers, I guess, people who have been working in the field for a long time. They're just not people who grew up with games or have interest in them. They're just
Yeah.
journalists.
I know I already brought this up in the video. Like I bring it up in a second, but I can't get over how embarrassing this is.
It is. It really is.
It's I can't fathom how you wouldn't even think to just like either back up or on the plate or just don't hold the button down that long. Like it's such a simple thing to do.
is stand on a button,
I-
and that button opens a gate for you to bowl a bubble into.
Oh
so
my
you can
god, my heart
progress.
fucking
The only
exploded for a
problem is
moment.
that
I was
during
like, why did
SpongeBob's
Hank's
wind-up
voice
animation
change?
for the
Did I realize what's going on?
That means you fall off of the button.
Apparently,
which
me
closes the
saying I
gate
figured this shit
and
out when I was
prevents you
7
from
years old
bowling
got a
the
reaction
bubble
out of some
where you
people, like
intended
that I had shown
when
in the
you
video
intended.
too. They were like,
Dude,
"God
just
damn,
sit
that's
back like a
that's
foot and
brutal."
hold the button for the
I didn't
button
think it
ball.
was that brutal when I wrote it.
So easy. I figured this shit out when I was.
This is
7.
true.
Best part about that
I-
review,
I
I gave
guess.
it a 2 out of 10. I don't
2
know
out
about
of
people,
10,
but
that's
the game is
Absolutely
insane.
ridiculous.
low.
Like
My
even
first
if you don't
That
like the
is
game, even if you don't like
ridiculous.
the game, that's still an insanely low score to me. Like, I say it in the video,
Isn't
so I'll
the
just
game
let it
has some
play.
Issues? No, it's that the game is fucking unplayable. Based on the reaction to the review I saw around the time it was published, I am not the only person who thought that. Thankfully, most of those same people were also able to see through how shallow this critique was. That ball puzzle part is such a weird section of that vid too, because
I would say like the Crash and Spyro remakes also
Well-
have like a lot of problems, but you never see them getting brought up by these kinds of places because Crash and Spyro are seen as like classic video games that people love, you know. Whereas this is a licensed game, so it's fair game, which is just a shitty way to look at any kind of video game, I think.
Yeah.
And it bothers me that that's such a prominent thing in the industry, or at least in the games journalism industry. Oh well.
Is like, there is plenty to complain about
your
here
penis
that I'm sure I
burgled?
and many others would find completely reasonable.
No,
One
my
of the problems I
penis.
have with the ball puzzle, specifically in the
Penis.
remake, is that the ball is
The
clearly
balls
way
physics in
lighter
the
than it
remake
was in
are
the
so
original game, and with
weird.
some of the new terrain they added, both
The
can lead
balls
to
I've never
physics?
gotten
moments
used
in
to
trying
it.
actually
Very funny.
solve the puzzle. But I guess it's more apt to ramble like an insane person about facing your demons while playing a fucking SpongeBob game.
These kinds of gameplay barricades are
We've
common
got to
and
have
force you to restart
monkey
and face your demons again and again and again.
Monkey.
There are
You
other
have
baffling
shown me
takes in that
monkey.
video, but I don't care enough to break them down, so we're just gonna move on now. Also, by now you'd think I'd bring up the plot, but
Hey, it's Plankton.
similarly to the first TAC game, there's not much
Hey,
to
we
talk
did a video
about. Hell, it's even
review,
less important in
yay.
this game than in TAC. It is straight up a means to an end. Just enough motivation to get the player invested to actually play the game.
The writing
this
in
is
this game is
basically
still very
equivalent to Bowser
charming.
kidnapping Peach. It's a nothing plot,
Quite
and
nice.
that's fine because it's not what I, and clearly the game, care about. I find that the moments between characters and of course the gameplay are what really matter to this game and are the two main things that get me to come back to it so often. You see,
I'm excited to see how I feel about the Cosmic Shake once I decide to get around to that video, which will happen. I only plan on talking about two more SpongeBob games, by the way, folks, which is the Creature from the Krusty Krab and then the Cosmic Shake. And then I'm probably going to step away from it forever because I know for a fact that the community for SpongeBob games can get a little weirdly rabid when you don't only make content about those things. So, it's like being a Rayman fan.
100% it. Of course,
True! Holy!
now it is 100%
Hey, I wonder if you also make like a video about what was it? The flipping.
You're right. I was muted, but holy fuck, you're right.
I'm wondering if you also make a video on that one with like the shitty music that just keeps looping forever. You know the one.
Shitty music?
The shitty one.
music?
Revenge
no,
of the
I'm
Flying
not
Dutchman.
talking. No,
Way too much
I try
going
to. I don't think I've brought this up that much in my videos, but I try to only talk about, or not only, but I try to talk about games that I can get like some sort of positive outlook on. Or just
I see. Yeah, no, that game is then not on not on the cards.
which will come into question when we get to Epic Mickey, but we'll get there when we get there.
Oh,
Although so far I haven't talked about a single thing I dislike on my channel.
What's
so-
going on in chat?
What is-
Oh,
what are people?
Lance is dying.
Lance, you okay? You alright?
Copywriting, everybody.
Oh no, me heart stuff.
Could you say Rayman fans are rabid? I could.
Ah, ah.
Oh, got it. Now I remember the maid sponge outfit. Moving on.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna have my grinding session in the corner of the rest of the
Is that
video.
an awakening for you?
I'm still happy with this bit. It's a dumbass joke that goes on for too long and it's not funny at all, even from the beginning. And that's why it makes me laugh.
Honestly, the worst it gets
Oh,
is
yeah.
in rock bottom, and worst is right because the sections where you need to use it are so bad. I found ways to completely bypass them entirely. Unfortunately, that trick doesn't work in the remake, but you know, I gotta say that the way they tweaked it makes it way less awkward.
Just being
One
able
of the
to
major
jump
changes
with this
is that you can
ability
jump
makes
while
it
using
so
the
much
ability
more
now, and that
usable.
really helps with correcting yourself.
Couldn't do that in the
It's still not
original
great,
one.
I know,
but at least it's a little bit
and
more
it
useful.
feels
Actually, when they
bad.
build the level design around
It's
the
good in the
variable
movie
strengths,
game,
like
which
its
we'll
wide
see in the
terrain,
next
it can be
video,
kind
but
of fun, and when I get
it's-
to the movie game, you'll see this
The
thing's real
potential for this was
Also, God, the
not
remake is
was
so
squandered in the
unpolished.
first game.
I love it a lot, but man,
I was
can't
about to
blame
say
anyone for
squandered.
sticking to the original over due to the amount of
Wow,
issues
you're
that
so
it
in
has.
sync.
Whether that
Oh
be
my
area
god.
bundle
Holy
pop-in,
shit,
bad
twinning.
audio mixing,
Oh god, the fucking audio mixing in this game
the
is
fact that it's
genuinely pretty
filled with
bad
bugs,
sometimes.
just general
Yeah.
lack of
Oh my
effects,
god,
whether that
I
be
remember.
particles
This is
or
the part where I
sound.
actually joined, like during the first premiere of this video, if I recall correctly, and then I was so confused what it was gameplay in the bottom right in the background, in like the video.
remake
Yeah.
has issues.
And,
I don't
hey,
know
if you just
why
joined the
that.
stream
And
now,
then
you'll
I'll
also have no
rapid fire some
context for
complaints
that,
because
so
I'll
that's
get
pretty
to the good
funny.
shit already. I don't
Great.
like that in the remake the wall
It's
jumping
just
is
a
super automated,
SpongeBob
it feels
dying
stilted.
montage for all
Knockback
those
is a pain
zoomers
in
out
the
there who
ass,
can't
and it wouldn't be so
concentrate.
bad if it wasn't so strong.
Damn,
As far as what you have to do
I
to
always
get a
forget how
stock is
bad
fair
the
enough
knockback
fun,
can
thanks to
be
the ice
in this
physics,
game.
It's a little nicer in the remake. And finally, this one button in Kelp Forest is bullshit, and I don't blame anyone for not even knowing it existed.
Fuck
because
this
you know
level. Like,
this level
actually fuck this level so much. I don't get as angry about it as I should have, but holy fuck is this one of the worst levels I've played in a video game before. I love this game. I adore this game even, and I despise this fucking level.
Damn, I thought it was alright, but I only ever played the remake, so
Yeah,
it's
you didn't
brighter
play the
there, so
original,
that
where
helps.
it's
Too dark.
basically
Also, I'll
pitch
probably
fucking
complain about
black.
some things later, but you know.
Hey,
Anyway,
just
on
turn
to
up the
good stuff
brightness
now,
on your
and we're actually
TV.
gonna
It's
talk
a
about
Fuck
skill
you.
issue if you ask
a little
me.
bit, I think.
True.
I love how
Seems
Rehydrated works.
awfully
It's the best
hostile.
part about it, bar none. Just gonna turn that down a smidge. Much better. I
For
know
some
how
reason,
shallow
the
this
bright,
is
the
gonna
like
sound, but I
contrast is
honestly
way
usually
too high
stick
on
to
Goo
Rehydrated for
Lagoon.
reviews
Everywhere else, I
nowadays,
think it looks
almost entirely
fine,
because
but
of
it's
how
just
pretty it
rough
looks.
there.
Obviously, that's not the only reason I stick to it, but God, just look at how gorgeous this is. Everything is
Where's
so
the Family Guy
vibrant and clean
clips?
looking as
This
opposed to
isn't
the
Family
original,
Guy
which
funny
could look
moments,
really washed
Elijah.
out
Get
at
the
times.
fuck out of
And I
here!
don't wanna hear anything
Add Subway
like, but
Surfer,
obligated the
please.
original
My
season's
brain.
Visuals, because besides the texture work and one other thing, no, it really didn't. That one other thing is the character models, by the way. I think besides Rehydrated in the third movie, this is the best Sponge and the Gang have looked in 3D. Also, Mrs. Puff
I
was
still
freaked out
think
on
these
Best
models look
Sponge.
good.
Ask questions you aren't prepared to handle the answer to.
Yeah, say that
But
again.
the environments
still
in the
think these
original,
models
while
look
having a
good.
nostalgic charm to me, also kind of just look straight up ugly.
yeah.
and
They
often
butcher
have
some
these
of the
weird dark
expressions,
patches that
unfortunately.
really don't help with that.
Yeah, they
Of
look a
course,
little
there's
weird.
also just a huge
Although
leap
the
in
in-game
graphical
animations,
quality
I think,
between
look
these two
really good.
games. By the
It's
time
just
Rehydrated
when
came
it's
out,
like
the original
cutscenes
was
that look
already
kinda
nearly
weird.
20 years old, and we're
No, I mean, the
inching closer
Mrs.
to that
Puff, like,
actually being
the
reality
joke.
every
Oh yeah,
day.
they
Like
botched that joke
God,
in the
I hate
remake,
being
sadly.
old. But for
yeah,
real,
it couldn't have been
Rehydrated
that
is
hard to do
fucking
as a Zoom.
amazing to look at. Some of my favorite
Yeah,
grow-ups of
or
the
that one
robots
gag where you're
especially.
standing like
I
next to
loved
the
these
vending
dudes as a
machine
kid so
and it's
much,
supposed to
when
be
we get the reveal
interactive,
of what
but they make it a
look like-
cutscene instead where you can't move. That sucks.
Wow, Hane talking about robots. What else is new?
glow-ups of the robots especially.
This,
Would you?
This game, no, none of them. This game is probably the reason why I love. I bring it up in this, but it's probably the main reason why I love robots so much because there's so many cool, different designs in this game.
Yeah, I'm nostalgic for these designs because they were also in the GBA version of Battle for Bikini Bottom. Which
They
is a
sure
game
did look
I-
worse,
I grew
though.
up
Get
with.
what I mean. Since I'm already talking
well,
about them,
I
I
mean,
really like the robot viewer in the
not a good game,
PlayStation
yeah.
2. You can find out all these dudes' names and read little bios about
was my
them,
first
and whenever
GBA
games do
game.
that kind of thing, I always find it so charming. It reminds me a bunch of Luigi's Mansion. Sort of related, I also love the introductions for each of the robots.
Mrs.
They're
Puff looks
always a
cracked
treat,
out. Yeah!
Even if some of them
I
do
love
show up
I
after
love
you've probably
cracked
already
out
seen
Puff
the
and I
robot,
love
but-
Smoky Lungs Crabs.
This robot viewer thing is the main reason I even remember these guys' names. Seriously, I could list
Cracked
most,
on
if not
Krabby
all of them
Patties.
off to you from memory without breaking a sweat
Crack.
because
I'm
of it.
high on
I do
crack.
wish they had added the bosses to the viewer too. That would have just made it perfect, but hey, what can you do?
You
Back
like
to the
robots,
graphics,
don't you,
there are a
Squidward?
couple of visual tweaks that while I don't think they're bad, I do think they're downgrades.
Okay, Ian.
Sleepy Times not having pupils anymore actually makes them less unsettling to me, which is a shame because I love how creepy these fuckers used to look. The pupil thing is the only thing I don't like about this redesign though. Everything else about it is sick as hell. Also, this dude pisses himself. There's also some weird visual quirks that I chalk up to the game being unfortunately
important
rushed in
detail.
development. Like how Hans barely shows up, whereas in the original he would show up every single time you went out of bounds. Or how the imagination boxes don't clean the teleport you or have an animation anymore, and instead just have this kind of ugly fade in, fade out thing. But other
does
than
look
that,
worse.
I've got no other notable complaints on the visuals of Rehydrated, none that wouldn't be
It's weird.
nitpicking at least.
Rehydrated looks
No,
really
actually,
nice,
sorta just
but
one
there are
more.
cracks
I
where you
used to
can
think
tell
the
it was
model for
budgeted.
SpongeBob looked weird when they revealed
Crack.
it, but actually seeing it in game and
Crack,
animated,
crack.
it looks really nice, and I've warmed
What
up to it a
the
bunch.
fuck?
Another one of my favorite things that came around with the new visuals was how they made the bosses, especially the final one, look way creepier.
Hi
Those
on
bosses are fun as
stream.
fuck, too, whether in the remake or
That's
the
gonna get
original.
you banned,
It was unfortunately
Hane.
a trend
What
of the
on-
genre
what on
at the
stream?
time for bosses to be kind of
Hi.
an afterthought, but it does not feel that way here.
I love
The
being
bosses
high.
aren't particularly difficult, but they are super engaging, and I think that matters
Bro,
a
can you
lot
add some
more.
satisfying
It helps with that
ASMR cutting
engagement that
soap
both versions
videos?
of the game have tight as fuck control.
Fuck,
Soap
I'm so
videos.
torn because that'd be such a funny bit, but I also don't want to
I
like.
love some of the tweaks
I
they made
can't
to
do
it
that
in
because I have the
Rehydrated too. Patrick can
video
attack in
popped
midair
out.
now,
So I'm
which is
sorry,
useful for
Elijah. I
the
can't go with
obvious
your
reasons, but it
your
actually
bit.
also makes him better for
Why
planning
would you
too, which
cut
brings him closer to
soap?
SpongeBob and Sandy.
Because
And
it's
So satisfying.
Sandy-
Yeah, but
Sandy
there's
was
no
on the fence
purpose.
about when I
You
first
just
played
have
Rehydrated,
soap
became
with two pieces
Well,
of it. That's
satisfying.
I'm talking about the swinging, baby, which
I-
feels drastically
the
different
swinging
from the
is, like,
original, and
divisive
most
between
importantly,
people
is
who
way
grew up with this
faster than the
game. Like,
original. It was weird getting
I
used to it
genuinely
at first,
I
but
thought
man, when you
it
really
felt
get the-
really weird
God
when
damn it,
when
I can't say
Rehydrated first
swing.
came out.
When you really get the hang of it,
This
fuck,
fucking
when
pun
you really
bit.
get the gist of it, yeah, that works. It feels so smooth.
I'm still happy with that
Something else
joke, even
that's
though it's
smooth?
really silly.
Whole game, baby.
Um,
I'm talking optimization, and both
but
of these
the,
games have it in spades.
swinging, I think,
the original game
feels-
runs smooth as fuck.
The swinging feels really good in Rehydrated. Like, it's really snappy. Which I'm sure for some people feels awkward as hell, but I really
Okay,
like it.
kinda related or like the same kind of thing. Not related to this
Are you
game,
about to
but
bring
like
up
this.
Rayman?
No, Spyro Remake
Oh.
trilogy. Gliding in the remake feels weird and off, whereas in the original it was really smooth and snappy.
Let's
I
not talk
feel
about
like
the
it's the
Spyro
same
remake
situation.
trilogy before I get canceled.
Why?
You know I don't like the
Oh yeah,
Spyro.
this fucking guy doesn't like Spyro!
God damn it.
What?
Look!
Furries! Get him!
Mr. Electric, burn him.
I think they're all incredibly fucking boring. I'm
Send
sorry.
him to the depths of hell.
I'm unpausing
Yeah,
the video.
gliding feels weird.
On original hardware, and the remake looks this good while only
It
being
is
like
crazy
8
how well
gigs.
optimized
Although, even with the
Rehydrated is,
optimizations, Rehydrated
even with its,
Did
like,
they change the
bomb
color
waves
of the
in fog and
sky?
Sand Mountain, they clearly
In what?
had to
The surreal
mitigate that.
world?
Just looks
Oh, yeah,
It was like
it's not-
yellow and then it
it's
was
not-
blue.
Yeah.
it's not a big ball anymore. It's like it's like a big pretty looking sky with a bunch of clouds and like boulders and
okay.
stuff to represent the fact that it's actually SpongeBob's dream. And I like that they did that. It
Help with
looks
spatial
much
awareness.
nicer than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
original
yeah.
It's so
ball.
impressive how well both versions of this game
Balls.
especially with all
I'm
the
gonna be right
NPCs
back.
that are just
Oh,
Alright,
okay.
man.
most of them don't
Alright,
even
see
do
you, man.
anything. They just
Yeah.
wander around, but that's still something you didn't see much around this time. The NPCs are also doing a lot of heavy lifting by making the world feel a lot more populated and a lot.
I'm gonna save most of what I have to say for the Cosmic Shake when we get to it, but I want to bring up how good the NPCs are in that game. Like, the fact that they talk now, it really adds. It adds it adds even more to like the liveliness of the world.
It is nice.
What is
You're
making
right,
live
but
freak the fuck
holy
out?
fuck! I just came up with the best joke ever.
Oh god, here we go.
Let's hear it.
The cosmic shake. I kind of misheard the shake word. The cosmic shit.
Cosmic
That's what I do every morning.
I'm unpausing the video.
God fucking damn it, right?
Yeah, dab! Everybody dab in chat right now!
No, 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 no,
Vine boom,
no.
vine boom, vine boom.
No.
You look kind of green.
It's so cool too in the game because we got to see characters interact with each other that hadn't really done it that much in the show. It was very, it's so, the nostalgia I get from this game is so
To talk
strong.
about the audio and music,
Stop
and
dabbing.
it is noticeably compressed in both games.
Cosmic
I have
shit.
a problem
Oh,
with this.
sorry.
It's like old video game audio compression
I'm
to be
glad you're
very
having
Wow, I
charming.
did really bad at this
This
part
is
right
one
here for
compressed
some
audio from
reason.
this era that can't really be replicated easily with modern day audio standards without using like a
course,
Kevin
getting
microphone
hit-
and
getting
this
hit by
is
these
very
G-Lobs.
expensive and incredibly fragile. I'm not much of a music guy, so forgive me if I
God
get
damn
like
it,
any
why is it
vernacular
funny? I
wrong
hate
in this
it.
next
I hate
part,
you.
but Rehydrated's mixing
That's it,
for
what
the
it must
music
sound
is.
like.
Okay,
I don't wanna say
everybody needs to
bad,
be
but
quiet
according to
because
Mono,
I'm
it's
gonna
supposed to
sound
be
like a
the original
lunatic in this
stereo
part of the
mixing is
video,
not
and
a
I just
great look.
Oh hell
If I
yeah!
remember right, and it's been a hot
Yeah.
minute since I heard this information, so take this with a small grain of salt. Part of why Rehydrated's music is in mono only is because the original stereo tracks were lost to time. Yeah, they cropped up a while later after Rehydrated came out, but what can you do? For what it's worth, they did add some extra instruments to the mixes to spice them up a little, and I like the additions for the most part. I say for the most part because, well, okay, this is gonna sound a little unhinged, but after playing through Rehydrated a couple of times, I started to fucking hate the music for Jellyfish Fields, and I thought I was gonna hate it here too when I replayed the original for this video, but I quickly found that I didn't. After listening to both tracks back to back, I have to assume it's because of the added instruments in Rehydrated's version of the song that were really annoying me for some reason. Look, I'm not a music guy, just give both of them a listen and you tell me what you think.
Shut up! I'm listening.
It's my stream.
But the remake. Wait, what did you say about the mono and
I don't know,
stereo
man,
stuff?
there's just
Because the
something about
remake
that
is
version
not
of
mono,
It is mono.
or is it? Oh, it didn't sound like it.
I'm not
Nice
insane.
voice crack. What?
I'm not insane. I just want that to be known. I'm not insane.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but
Sure.
I could hear instruments from both of my ears, and that's not something mono can do.
Mono would be playing in both of your headphones at the same volume.
No, sorry, I mean different stuff.
No, it's mono. I promise.
Okay, I trust you. I believe you. So why
Sound
didn't
the
you say?
same.
Okay,
God damn it!
on.
No, they don't sound the same. Please, they have the new one has different
No,
has more
wait, okay.
instruments underneath.
The new one has more like oomph. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but I hear the difference.
Very minor. There's like something, I guess, but it's mostly the same.
No, I'm unpausing
No,
the video.
no,
I
the new
can't
one,
do this.
new one is
Okay,
edited.
okay. Calm down. Let's get you back to your nice
Super.
padded room
Actually,
and
when we're talking about Jellyfish Fields, I might as well end this part off with the hub and the overall level
Take your
design.
meds, Grandpa.
Starting with the hub, it's not entirely accurate to the show, which I'm sure for some insane people is something that actually matters, but it's honestly really fucking cool being able to walk around this place from my childhood. Seriously, it was so cool to me as a kid, and honestly even still today, to be able to go to the Krusty Krab or Rock Bottom from that iconic neighborhood made up of a rock, a Moai statue, and a pineapple.
just
And
reminds
these
me how much
levels are
better the hub world in the
so
second game is.
well-designed.
It's
There are
so
times where
cool.
the level design can get a bit mean, but for the most
What do
part,
you
it's
mean by
very
second game?
tightly
Because
made
you've
and meshes
gotta.
really
I know
well
you
with
mean the
the
cosmic
meshes
shake, but you
smooth
have
as
to
hell
explain
control.
what you
Speaking
mean
of
by
hell,
saying
Kelp
that.
Forest
Oh,
makes me
oh,
want to
oh,
visit
you get
the
what I
world.
mean, but you also say I have to explain it? Interesting,
I get
what's
what
that?
you mean. That doesn't mean everybody will get what you mean.
Everybody understands that it's
I'm
the
not
other
even meaning-
SpongeBob SpongeBob
not
game.
even being
Seriously, I
like
hate how
argumentative
Darkest
with
Place
you.
is
I'm
in the
just
original, and while
saying.
that's fixed and rehydrated, this
I know, I'm
second
making it
is
argumentative
unfortunately
for
just
no
as
reason,
terrible
it's
and
funny.
tedious as it was back
Yes, Cosmic
then.
Shake.
The amount
You're
of
an
times that
enabler!
switch between SpongeBob and Patrick
Yeah.
is genuinely baffling, and I have to
I
assume
don't
this
think the
part
hub
just
and
wasn't
the
played
Cosmic
tested
Shake
enough.
is...
At least
Well,
the
it's
level right
okay,
after is really
although
fun.
it feels
more
a
to
little,
do.
it
Just like
feels
the
a little
majority of the rest of the
segmented.
game. Fucking
There's
play it
plenty to
already.
do
I
in
can't
the
believe I have to
original
tell you
hub.
that, you
It's
stupid
not, the hub
dumbass.
is what
Part
a
2
hub
coming
should be.
eventually, I
It's
guess.
just
I
a
don't know.
small place to get from place to place.
Eh.
I love
Mono, Mono can play in both speakers, but it's just one audio track.
I don't know.
Fucking
Anyway.
play it
I
already.
was
I can't
answering
believe I
the
have to
chat.
tell you that, you stupid dumbass.
I love
Part 2
insulting
coming
my
eventually,
audience.
I guess. I don't know.
Part 2.
Oh my god, there's part 2?
Yeah, Nebula's still not back.
Wait.
Man,
Movie game.
If you had told Kid Me that this silly little SpongeBob game would
Why
not
did-
get a
okay,
remake
why did you
or a
divide it
reboot,
into
but
2
an actual
videos?
follow-up that isn't the
I
movie
didn't
game,
want
I
to
wouldn't
overwork
believe you
myself
for
like I did
fucking
with the
second.
TAC video.
But I guess
You
we're
could have
cooking
just
good
taken
with it
longer.
apparently. And
I
not
didn't
only
want
can I
to do
not
that.
believe BFBB is getting a
Okay,
sequel,
that's
but
fair,
that it
that's
looks
fair.
This good. It's also probably coming out way later than I
Cosmic
was
Shake's
expecting
pretty
it to.
pretty.
I guess I didn't need to make these videos that soon. Whoops.
Yeah,
Also,
Cosmic
I
Shit,
recommend
I
watching
love.
part 1 of this short video essay series if
Uh-huh,
you haven't
uh-huh,
already.
uh-huh,
It won't take
uh-huh.
you very long.
I regret
it's
calling
only
these
about
videos
13 minutes,
video
and by the time
essays.
you're done, this video will likely still be here.
They're
If you've already
opinion
seen
pieces,
part
which is a
one,
much
just
more
decided
fitting
not to
name.
watch it for whatever reason.
You could say they're remarks.
But I want to say under.
I don't get it.
Sort of.
Video essay is like for
I'm not
something
even
that
gonna
has
do
a
flashy
thesis
intro this
statement,
time,
and while
I'm
some of
just
my
gonna
videos
start talking
have
about the
somewhat
game.
of a thesis
Also, just to
statement,
get
for the
out of
most
way,
part they
the
are
plot
just
of the game
opinion
is the
pieces.
movie. If you really care about that, go watch
Explosive.
the
I'm gonna
movie.
show you some thesis
Movie.
pieces
You
right
know,
now.
something I'm kinda sad that
Peanut
people
butter
don't
cups.
see on TV, at least to me, is the character.
You alright, Rye?
The weeping.
Lady, you must have been watching over someone else.
It's not bad, but it's just not.
I
as
went back and
memorable. It
forth,
probably doesn't help that the
including that line for the point I was making, which was like the dialogue isn't as good as BFBB, because I felt like I had cut off too late into the conversation on that, but I felt like going back to add context would have taken too long, so I was kind of hoping that like the way that line was performed would give the proper context, and I still don't know if it did what I wanted it to do. Whatever.
I missed the line, so I can't answer that.
Video essays take way too long and are annoying to listen to, at least some serious ones. It depends on what video essays you're watching. One of my personal favorites, like, of all time is Every Zelda is the Darkest Zelda, which if you're a fan of the series, or hell, even not a fan of the series, you should fucking watch that video. It's amazing.
Hang on.
It's it's like 40
I need to
minutes
see the
long,
thumbnail.
and it's
I've seen it.
If I was a professor, like, teaching video essays, like, if that was a thing that could ever happen, that video would be required reading. Like, it's genuinely so good, and it's such an amazing example of how to use the video essay format correctly. Like,
Kane is one of the next gen teachers who, like, don't teach, but they're like, watch this YouTube video.
I'm surprised Neb isn't back.
Nice.
Also, I'm gonna pause the video now.
game only really has like 3 characters
be
you can
shitting.
use for the most part,
Should
which are
be.
SpongeBob,
He's taking
Patrick,
cosmic
and
shit.
Mindy, who they somehow managed to get Scarlett Johansson.
I
back
can't
for.
believe they got
I say
Scarlett
somehow
Johansson for
because
this
the
game.
budget is clearly not very high. It reuses a lot.
They also
from
got Robert Downey
BFBB,
Jr.
and if
for
you
one of
watch
the
my
Iron
attack
Man
video, you
games,
know
and
that
he's
I
just
don't really
phoning
mind
it
that
in
kind of thing,
constantly.
since it's
I wonder
actually a
why.
bit of freedom.
I wonder
Also, go
why.
watch my fucking
Mindy
cat
sounds
video.
fine
Not
in
only
this
does it
game,
reuse
though.
so much from its predecessor, it's also just straight up unpolished. But I guess that's what happens when you get
I
a
love
year and
Jank.
probably
I
less than
love
an hour
Jank.
sleep to make
I
a
love
SpongeBob
Jank.
game that's supposed to coincide with a new
Also,
movie.
Rye's typing
Weird
up
how
a
history
storm.
repeats
Sorry,
itself
I
like
forgot
that.
to mute.
There's a couple of weird visual and audio quirks too that while I
making
don't
his own
mind,
video
definitely show
essay.
off that aforementioned
Yeah,
level of
right now,
polish.
I'm making a
Stuff like
video
how the
essay about
upgrade
video
menu straight up
essays.
just has
Hell
pop
yeah.
rate, seriously
Oh no,
amazing.
that's already
What
been
the
done and
fuck?
it's a
Or
bad
how it'll play
video.
the same audio twice when you upgrade
Has it
something.
been done?
Yeah.
Or like
GG.
this one cutscene where the
Thank you,
audio
God, I
is
said the
completely
right
cut
name
out, and I thought it was an issue with
for
my
this time
capture
for
card, when
Hayne.
In reality, it was just the game being weird and broken.
No, I'm Mark.
SpongeBob!
What?
Hang on.
I'm kidding.
At the Krusty Krab.
Oh
Hey,
my god,
hey,
I was
let's
so
talk-
scared for a second.
How I need to go back a bit to talk about that one like single frame where there's a really fucked up visual glitch going on that I somehow didn't catch at all.
Alright, what happens there?
Love
Playing
the
tune.
frames
Or like
of
this one
It's
space.
cutscene
me.
where the audio had completely cut out, and I thought it was an issue.
Should be coming up soon.
What?
That's just him blinking,
No,
though.
hold on. No, that's not what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
Oh,
Like,
There we
just-
go.
Whoa!
Oh, he's all over the place.
Okay, it's like one of those dividing by zero
Action card,
things
when
where the
in reality it's
polygons
just a
just
game
stretch
you
all
can
over
It
the
even
fucking
lasts
map.
for a few frames. He's like the
Yeah.
sun.
God, I remember this would happen a lot in Spore, actually, when you were designing creatures. If you were just adding too many parts, or like the whole game would bug out and some polygons would be flying all over the place. Very
Not in
fun.
the best condition anymore. I don't know. Speaking of polish and cutscenes,
Ape Escape
what I'm
music.
showing
Fuck
right
all
now
of
is
you.
not
You
because
will
I
be
simply had a lot of
submerged in it.
copyright problems with still images from the
Stop
movie.
him.
This is what majority of the game's cutscenes
I meant to
actually
say
look
submitted,
like.
but I
Windows
just went
Movie
with
Maker
submerged.
transitions and all. Yeah, there's
Because
no
of
way
Sponge
this game could
underwater,
have
Yeah,
been
sure.
$1
That's why I said
Yeah.
it. It was actually
Yeah.
it was actually clever.
It's a very clever play of
Although you
words.
could probably make a strong argument for that not being the case, but I don't care.
I remember there was this one video on the movie game that's like an hour or two long where the guy fucking clearly hates the game and it's just genuinely a little miserable to watch.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever sat through the full thing. And like I can get not liking the game, especially compared to BFPB because it's got rough spots and I do overlook some of its possibly bigger issues in this video, but at the same time, I don't think I could ever imagine hating a game enough to make a video so fucking long. Like that fucking long.
Damn.
I'm just built different though, and by that I mean I'm built stupid.
It's been a while since
They
I've
used
played
Mega
this on
Blocks
Supposed
instead
to
of
Sister
Legos
game,
when they
which I
built
played a
you.
bunch, and
To be
honestly,
fair,
I
though,
don't
Mega
know
Bloks
if
is still
100%
very
in the movie
based.
game for this, as opposed to 100%ing BFPB for
That
the
that
last
like
one.
fits the
There's really
bill.
no annoying grind.
They
Mega
are
Bloks
though,
fucking
dude. Have you
better
seen how
design,
good a
and I
lot of
even
those
like all the
sets look?
challenges, including
Have
the
you
ones
seen
Yeah,
the
I'm not-
Pokemon sets?
I'm
I
not-
will say that the
I'm
ring
not like
challenges
a-
could
like
probably be
a
better design, though, even if I still
Lego
think they're fun.
gatekeeper.
They often
There
have
just
a
hasn't
nasty
been any
habit of
interesting
using
Mega
trial
Block
and error and
licenses
having
that
some
I'd be
pretty
interested
stupid
in.
That's fair.
reactions
The only
sometimes.
the only
Luckily, they're
Mega
not very
Blocks
long,
thing
and
I've
if
ever
they were,
owned
I'd
were like
probably
the
start
cool
to dislike them
dragons
because
that came in
they're very
eggs. They were
I
so
remember
flippin'
those.
rad.
With them could be easily fixed
I
by
wish
just
they'd
making
done
the
more with the
next ring
Futurama
visible
line,
before
but they
going
only
through
made
the
Fry
current
and
one.
Bender
But
figures.
even then, again, I don't
Ah,
really mind
poor.
them much. The other type of challenge that tends to
What
get under
about
people's
what's the other
skin
one?
with this game are
Mechano,
the timed
like the
ones,
big
and I gotta be honest,
metal
I think they're
pieces
my
with
favorite
screws and
challenges
shit
in the
that you had
whole
to
game.
Yeah,
put
but
together.
those aren't
Something about
like
being
Oh, erector sets.
they're not
What?
They're called
They don't-
erector sets.
erect.
They're called.
God damn it.
Wait, that's like the new breed of Transformers. You know how you have the good formers and like the anti-formers? Now you have the erecto-formers.
Did you call them the good formers and anti-formers?
Yeah, that's what they're called, right?
I would like to say last time I was here, I was in the middle of beating Yik, and now I can say I have successfully beat Yik. I'm so sorry,
Congratulations.
Wappy. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they're a geek fan.
I never like it when I watch a video where a person is clearly miserable about a piece of media they don't like, yet they made a video about it. I'm
That's a very good
I'm not
point.
against it
Yeah.
if they can like turn it into something entertaining or if they have like an actually salient point to make. But when it's clearly
Yeah.
somebody who's just like say a cartoon reviewer who's just watching an episode of SpongeBob they don't like and then screaming at the fucking microphone, not very fun to watch.
Yeah. If they can articulate what it is that they don't like about something and they want to share it.
Yeah, articulating
Yeah.
what's
Then
wrong with
it's not
something and
good.
explaining how they can do it better is actually valuable. Is like genuinely valuable critique. But you know,
Yeah, I was just about to
reviewers
say, like,
Yeah.
I was also thinking of covering some games that I don't like as much, but then also comparing it to like games that I do like, or maybe suggesting like, hey, if I don't know, if by some chance of fate I was in control of this, what would I do differently, and what would I take inspiration from? That's fun. I like those kind of things.
Balan Wonderland, I'm telling ya.
Honestly, that might be a video idea right there. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about
I
it.
gotta say, I'm never doing the dev
These
time
time
challenges.
challenges are insane.
insane.
Like I don't know
Telling
how
it's
they
not
expect you to
exhilarating,
make
though.
some of
These
those
combat
times.
elements, they're just
I haven't even
not
attempted
good.
most of
Well,
them.
except the final one,
Damn.
which is just a great
The
gag.
final
I don't hate them. I'm
I love
mostly
that the
indifferent to
final
them, but they do tend to go
one of
on
these
for a bit
arenas
too
is just
long,
one enemy
especially
and
the
it's a
later ones.
jellyfish.
I think they could have easily been
Dang.
more engaging if they didn't.
Oh, would
use
you
the
also
same
ever
flat
cover the
area
other
for every
game
single
by
one.
Heavy
Not only
Iron
is it fairly
Studios,
samey, it
the
also just
Truth or
doesn't really
Square?
open you up for more interesting
I've
combat
thought about it.
potential. It's a big
That game is
shame, too,
really
because I really
boring.
like how these enemies are
It
designed.
looks
Each
rough.
one of them is like if a couple enemies
It's
from BFPB
competently
got
made,
combined
but
into
it's
a
nowhere
different meter
comparable to
enemy.
these two,
I don't
the
remember
first two
most of their
SpongeBob
names.
games
There's
they
no way to
made,
check
and
outside
most of the
of
people who
manual
worked on
of
these two
BFPB
games
as
were
far as
not
I'm
there
aware,
when
which I think
Who-
that
who
one was
said
not
Truth
opportunity
or
because these
Square?
dudes outside-
Truth or Square? That's a video game.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a game based off of a special for the show, which is and it's nothing like the special at all. Which could be
Oh,
argued
okay,
for the
yeah.
better. I don't know.
Yeah, and they brought the old studio back, like that made this movie game and Battle for Bikini Bottom for some reason, but the
The
game
cover
still
art.
isn't very good.
The cover art is really nice. The Wii version for Truth or Square is really nice.
It's
Isn't it just his
both,
face?
Yeah, both covers
Yeah.
for the game are just his face.
Yeah, but he looks manic in the Wii version.
He does.
Well,
It's
let me
true.
see.
I own.
Oh yeah.
I own the
Oh,
Xbox
God.
version digitally on my Xbox One, and I own the Wii version because I gotta tell you, by the way, the Xbox version actually looks very pretty. Like, the lighting is very good. It's just a shame that the gameplay is pretty whatever.
Damn.
But yeah, the box art it's night and day. Like, you've got him like with a normal smile on the Xbox cover art, and then on the Wii cover art, he's just like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yes.
Anyway,
Side of that are fairly memorable. Well,
by the
I
way,
do
if anybody in
remember one of
chat
the
has any
names,
questions about
actually.
like any of these videos, feel free to ask.
My nemesis.
Or if
Yeah.
either of you two
my
have questions,
beloved,
feel free to ask.
my
Yeah.
curse. The
I'm going
Mercs
down the
are
mega
infamous. They are
construct
easily
ball
the
joint
meanest
rabbit
enemy
hole
in the
right
entire
now.
game,
That's
and
not
why at the
relevant,
very
but
end of
that's-
the
I'm
final
glad to
level,
hear
throw
that.
out not
They have
one,
such good
not
ball
two,
joints.
Not even three,
Yeah.
but fucking
I love ball
7 of
joints.
them.
Ball.
Whoever made that decision has a special place in hell.
Whenever you see
No,
the
but for
asterisk
real, I
in like
actually
the
love
little
Mervs.
text, that's me saying that I didn't want to add anything more to the script or record new lines because it had taken so fucking
Hey.
long to get to that point already. Welcome back, man.
Hello, welcome back, Nebula.
We're on the
Been
movie
there
game
before.
board now. Will you make a Yick video? Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
Do it.
That would be I'm not yeah.
And overall, just how mean
Yep.
the game is.
I could hear you
If
think in
actually
real
playing
time.
Minecraft,
That
I'm
game- that-
100% in on the joke, and I cannot help but have a smile
I
on
do-
my face the whole time.
That's another
Look, it's
criticism
not like the
people
Dark
often bring
Souls
about
and
this game is that
SpongeBob
it's
games,
just
but
very
actually,
mean
Cosmic Shake
towards
is
the
gonna
player,
have
but I
dodgeball, so I
love
guess-
that shit.
I don't know anymore, man. All that isn't
Yeah.
to say you're helpless, though. SpongeBob and Patrick.
What is your
have some
favorite level
new
from this
and
game?
old tricks
From
up
this
their
game?
sleeves.
Plantopolis.
Well, actually, SpongeBob is exactly
Like
the
that?
same
Oh,
as he is
cool.
in BFBB with some
Picture
minor
City?
visual changes to
It's
his
it's
moves.
genuinely
Sure.
one of the
Campground
best 3D
Sandy doesn't
platformer
work,
levels I think I've
whatever.
ever
With the
played. At
removal
least one of the best
Sandy, someone
linear
else had to
ones.
take the
It's
reins of
amazing.
Swing
Oh, shit.
Champion, and that is
That's cool.
surprisingly
That
Patrick.
level also
He
looked
swing on
interesting to me
Icebox
because
now
it's not
instead of
something they
Texas
actually
hooks, and
explore in
look,
the
we're just
movie.
gonna
It's
go
just
Not very
with
much,
only like
no.
in the
Props to
game.
give. Patrick
Yeah.
also gets a new
Yeah,
look
it's
that is
cool.
probably
They
my
feel.
favorite
I
thing
bring it
in
up in the
whole
video that
game.
besides the
This
one
spin
driving
is
level in
incredible.
Goofy
It
Goober
makes
Land or
Patrick
whatever the fuck,
faster, it makes him better for combat, and it makes
the
my
environments,
eyes bleed when
the
fully
levels in the
upgraded.
game.
I
Oh
really
fuck.
like that you have to think
The
of
levels in the
which you're
game are
upgraded when, because if you upgrade something too early,
are
it can lead to
good
certain
compliments
challenges
to
being
what
a
we
little
saw in the
harder.
movie.
But if you
Like,
upgrade
they
too
managed
late,
to-
then you might have wasted a bunch of
Unlike, say, like the Lego games where they pad out movies that they're recreating with extra levels and like extra moments that didn't happen. In this, besides one exception, it just feels like you're playing through everything we saw in the movie. Like, it's just cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I like
You know,
that.
David Hasselhoff.
And the game is short too. Like they didn't try to pad it out just to make the game longer. Because I think my whole playthrough for this game was about 4 hours, like for this video.
David Hasselhoff.
Wow.
Why does SpongeBob suck now? I think it's just not for us. Like, I think we've outgrown it at this point. At least parts of it. Like, what's funny to us isn't what's funny to the current generation, you know?
Yeah.
I've never really been able to get behind, like, how people see modern SpongeBob, because, like, I don't know. I can't care. I can't bring myself to give a shit.
Yeah. Same.
Did you beat all these games as a kid? Yes, I did. Or did you have a definitive point where you stopped and only could progress as an adult? No. Although I did do that with a couple of games when I was younger, but I can't like directly remember. But no, I was able to beat BFPB and the movie game when I was a child. Yeah. Anyway, video.
potential by doing so. The throw upgrade sucks ass, though. I hate that even if you just tap the button
God,
to
yeah,
throw
this
something
fuck-
lighter,
the
it'll
fucking
sometimes
throw
just
is-
do the super
I
strong
hate the throw
anyway.
upgrade
I always wait
so
till
much.
so
long.
the last minute.
So long,
Something to
Game
note
Plankton.
about how this game paces itself is that it's much faster than its predecessor.
throat
It's also
upgrade.
much shorter too, likely because of how little time they had to actually.
Mark, I
make
think
the
you would like this game.
I honestly think this is a godsend.
I hope
however,
you
the
like
game
this
is
game.
just the perfect length.
I
for
might
me.
play it
really doesn't
someday.
feel like it's
It's
wasting my
neat.
time, which BFBB could
I figured
sometimes feel like
you
it was doing.
would have tried it by now,
especially
'cause
when
you
going
really
for
liked the
100%.
movie.
I've started to
Yeah,
realize
I
while making these
figured
past
I would have
couple
tried a
videos
lot
on
of things by
platformers,
now.
Attack 1 and
Like
2,
Wii.
what my
That's fair.
specific preferred
What?
take on them is, and it's pretty clear
What?
to me now that what I want out of a 3D platformer most of the time is tight control.
Have you ever played a game that was so bad and glitchy before?
Games
Yes,
that
I've played
focus
Sonic
on
06.
one or all three of those
All the way
aspects
through.
are
And Shadow the Hedgehog, all the way through.
genre. And for all of that, I've come out of this experience
And Sonic
so far
Boom. Not all the way
surprisingly
through,
preferring
yet.
the movie game over Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Why would you
Also-
do that
Just
to
likely
yourself?
burnt out on BFBB after all these years.
Super
I don't
Mario
know,
Land
both versions back to back
for the
previous
Game Boy.
Video, but
No,
I don't know, man.
no,
I've had
no.
more fun replaying the movie game than I've had with BFBB. In a
I was
hot
just
minute. Of
fixing
course, I
the
still
sentence for Hein.
I still hold by this statement that I enjoy the movie game more than BFBB. I think BFBB is a better game, but I just enjoy coming back to the movie game more due to the fact that it's more replayable to me, it's shorter, and it is just faster paced in general. I still love BFBB. I think it's the best SpongeBob game still to this day. And
Cool.
But yeah, I enjoy the movie game more.
Let me just download. Let me order online from my retro video game store the SpongeBob movie game.
So long, Gay Bowser.
I can get past the first auto run section of 06. That's not even
Okay,
the
right.
worst Mach speed section in Sonic 06. To be honest, I hate Sonic Forces more than all three of those games. That's surprising. I actually like. I think you've entered the wrong room, Elijah, because everybody here actually likes Sonic Forces, except maybe Neb. I don't think he's played
I've
it.
never played a single Sonic
Yeah.
game ever.
Everybody else here, though,
Oh.
we actually like Sonic Forces. I don't think it's a
It's
good
fine.
game.
What?
I don't think it's a good game, but I enjoy
Oh,
Sonic
yeah,
Forces.
yeah.
I've only
Yeah,
played
it's-
Unleashed. The furry game. What
Of
Which
course you
version?
would.
do you mean which version?
What
There's
console did you
difference?
play it on?
Xbox. 360.
Okay, so you played the good version.
Oh.
What? There's a difference?
Yeah, it's completely different on the Wii and the PlayStation 2.
Was Shadow the Hedgehog this
Ooh.
bad? One of my friends said they really liked it. Holy fuck! I gotta dissect your friend's brain.
Wait, Shadow the Hedgehog is good.
No, the
No.
fuck it is not. Have you played all 11 endings? Have you gone through all 11 routes?
Not yet, but I will.
Tell me when you're
And then
done.
we'll see.
Keep.
Then
'cause
we'll see.
You liked Heroes when you first started playing it. Remember?
Yeah, I still do.
I thought you said to me after you were done that it was bad.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But enough time has passed that my opinion has raised again. I like the game. Again.
Holy cow,
Ah,
developers, goddamn.
Wow,
You haven't
changing
played
your
it for-
opinion.
That
You haven't-
happens to me. If I don't play a game,
That's
I
what I
start
mean. Like,
liking it.
You should play
you
it
play
again
a-
then.
if you don't play a bad game for too long, you start thinking about it. Like, oh, actually, maybe it wasn't that bad.
That's
Maybe I
it.
treated you
That's
too
dangerous, dude. Be careful.
The slippery slope.
I will say Shadow's story in Sonic 06 is actually pretty nice, even though it's a little
No.
confused.
No. No.
I'm unpausing the video now. We're done. No more autism about Sonic the Hedgehog. Instead of autism about SpongeBob the Hedgehog.
Any time to making a video on it if I
Spong-
didn't. But
damn.
man, was the movie game a
Hog.
nice breath of fresh air. Another thing I think the movie game does.
Yeah,
better
the
than
ball,
PvP
the ball, the ball.
SpongeBall.
I love
We talked about it a
ball.
little in the previous video, but man,
Ball.
did they really
When
make it
balls.
fun this time
Balls.
around.
Um,
The challenges for it
balls.
are specifically designed
This
around the
I
SpongeBob strengths, and
really
they're all
love
just super
these
fun.
parts of the
Failing one of these
games.
challenges
This
brings you back to
game,
beginning of
the
it,
game,
and that
these
means
like
once you've got
side
the perfect
challenges.
rundown, it's
Even
super
even if
satisfying
the
to
arena
finally
challenges are
execute
kind
it.
of
Speaking of
meh.
satisfying,
I do like
bosses
the
are
other
back,
ones a
and I
lot,
think
like the
they're better.
platforming
While
challenges with
BFBB had
Patrick or
engaging
the
boss
ball
fights, the
challenges
movie
with
game has
SpongeBob.
engaging and difficult
Super
boss fights.
Monkey Boy.
My favorite of them all easily has to be King
This
Neptune.
fucking boss is
bastard will
awesome.
really test your
It's
platforming
so
skill,
mean
especially
too.
when it comes
Some
to
friends
timing
watched
on
me
jumps. The
do
music
this
that plays
boss
while fighting
again
him is
like
also
a
just
month or two
total
ago,
banger.
and it was I remember them being like surprised by how
Speaking
mean
of
it was.
bosses, you get to fight Dennis in this game twice. Both fights are pretty
The
fun,
Dark
but that's
Souls
actually
of
not what I want to talk
SpongeBob
about in
games.
regards to
I
the
do not like the
movie.
realistically
Because the
rendered
movie is
back
really
of David
wonderful.
Hasselhoff.
I bring this
Uh,
up
this
because I
actually-
didn't blame
this
you
one's-
if you
this
didn't
makes me wanna
notice he wasn't
qualify
played by him
something,
in the
because,
game, too.
I
But
was
yeah, no,
worried-
Dennis is played
I'll
by a
wait
completely
till it
different
happens,
person in the
but,
movie game. Fred Tatasciore, I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
I
Who's
still don't
been
know if I
in a
pronounced
shit
that
ton
right.
of stuff, and his impression is nearly spot on.
Super
Seriously, you have to
sponge.
have pretty good ears to tell the difference.
Don't worry. This'll only hurt a lot. Don't worry. This'll only hurt a lot.
So obviously, like, the way
That's not
that
bad.
line is said is different, but I think the voice is pretty goddamn similar, right?
Yeah. Surprising.
Windows
Yeah.
Movie Maker slide. Also, I'm surprised to say I did not get a copyright claim for literally anything in this video. Like, especially not for that movie clip, which I was really expecting to get a copyright claim for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, want to know something
Why
about
is the
Dennis?
voice different though?
Sure.
Like, what's the key reason?
Because Alec Baldwin is a huge actor that's expensive and probably didn't have the time for it.
Oh.
And this is a licensed game with a budget of $2. He appears again in the show. Yes, I knew that. I actually showed that to Mark because he appears in the same episode that fucking Prawn shows up in
Yeah, prawn.
from
So
BFBB,
funny, dude.
which is
Wait,
crazy.
porn?
No.
Right, you fucking
Wait,
dirty-minded piece of shit.
wait,
Why-
but genuinely, that's what.
I
Okay,
said
just
Prawn.
move on.
I don't know how you got
Yeah, but
Prawn
that's
from.
what people say.
Prawn.
No, I can't be the
Prawn.
only one.
The animal.
You are the only. You're
prawn.
literally the only one in the call. You're literally the only one in the call who reacted that way.
Oh, you mean like a shrimp?
Yes! Oh,
I'm.
we're talking about
Dude, all I heard was
SpongeBob.
fucking prawn. And I was like,
First the foot fetish thing, then this.
No! No!
Ryan's
You're putting
not
words into my
salvageable.
mouth!
He's not salvageable. It's over. It's
You're
Jover
putting-
for you. It's Jover. It's
This
Jover.
is this is just the only thing that activates Rye's brain anymore. He's
This
obsessed.
channel sucks. Thanks, Kane.
Right change
Let's
after
unpause the video.
hiatus.
Hello, Kane. How you doing?
Massive damage!
How you doing,
Let's
Kane?
let's get back to the video, everybody.
Can we talk about the level design for a sec? I just want to explain to you how well laid out these levels are. And there is no better example than Planktopolis. The penultimate
This is something
stage
I know a
is
lot
of
the
people who
game's
don't like this game would
toughest
probably
challenge by
disagree with
far,
me
at
on.
least on the platforming side
The-
of things. It's filled with
the
nasty
level
traps
design.
and tighter than normal jumps.
I really
It is
like
a
it, though.
masterclass of linear level design, and I always look forward
Seems
to it when
fine.
returning to the movie game. It's really amplified by the game's perfect difficulty curve. The game starts easy enough, and it gets
Lance
harder and
is
harder as it
based.
goes on.
Don't
If
forget to
every
hydrate
platform
and
should.
stretch.
If
I think the next
Yeah.
video
difficulty
after this
curve
is the
looks
Kirby
this,
one.
then the movie games looks like this. And then you get to Planktopolis, where the game sure as shit is not holding your hand anymore. All capped off with this final room that houses multitudes of the game's hardest enemies, sinking platforms and conveyor belts all above a huge lava lake. This level once you
Oh, Mark, I
fucking get it,
recommend,
it is
by the
not
way,
afraid to show
if you
it.
do play the
Honestly,
movie
this
game, that
game's
you
level
upgrade the
design alone
deflect
steals
ability
the show. It is,
immediately.
in my opinion, perfect. There's
Deflect
nothing about it I'd
ability.
change
I'll
for
try
any
to remember
level.
this.
Or
Also,
it's
we're
just
gonna
like
get
your
to
main
here, so I'm gonna
attack.
ramble off some
I
final
don't
notes
remember
about the
exactly
movie
what it's
game before
called.
I get to my closing thoughts. I like that the game has a
Alright.
really well thought out fast travel system built into the menu. I know BFUB had this too, but I forgot to
Ah,
bring it up in
cool.
the last
My game
video.
has
I'm
ships.
genuinely surprised more
Right.
platformers don't
Oh,
have something
nice!
like this.
What did you buy?
Enemy introductions are back, and they're just
SpongeBob
Sorry,
solid.
that-
They weren't
Shh,
BFUB.
SpongeBob movie
Patrick
game.
have
No,
level-specific
he
costumes,
didn't.
and that's really
It's
neat.
it'll.
The extras are kinda
Don't
cool, I guess. I have
don't tell him
very
what you
little to say
bought.
about them. The
He's a
PS3
cop.
version was so fucked, I can't believe
Oh,
anyone
oh,
even let it
I got
Okay.
nothing. That's I do not recall.
We need to talk about this PS3 version real quick because I can't believe how fucked this is. Like, I don't even know why this re-released on the PS3, but one of the big problems with it was that besides the fact that it has fucking input lag and audio desync, was that you had to go into the settings every fucking time you wanted to play it in 4x3. Every time you had to change the settings every time you would start the game new.
God. That reminds me of Rayman Revolution, where if you want to change the language or like the voices to the
Yeah.
classic Rayman noises, you have to do it every time you boot up the game. It's so bad.
Why would you want to do that though? Because the voice acting's better.
True.
Wow, that's your-
oh,
that's yours-
based, based,
That's sure is a
based.
funny
Yep,
thing you
yep.
said.
Yep.
Actually
God.
true.
Imagine,
I've done to the world.
imagine having opinions like that.
have disappeared.
It's so good.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's
Oh, God.
not bad. You're stupid.
Can
Anyway,
we kill Mark?
I'm on. Let's unpause.
No,
We've got
noises.
we've got like a minute or two left to finish this video.
Go, go, go.
Go. When are you gonna make the Rayman video?
Panning locations out just for the sake of
don't
being a
know.
video game.
Maybe
The
never.
levels actually feel like nice
Good. There's too many Rayman videos on
on
YouTube.
I love the aforementioned
Wow,
Crossfire,
thanks,
but I do
Rye.
wish that they were
Not
more
you,
I-
Mark.
I love this.
Ugh.
I love
honestly
that
think this game
one
deserved at least
trick
more than Battlefield
for
Bikini Bottom
beating
because,
that level
man, as much as
faster.
I
It's
love
so
it,
bullshit.
super unpolished, like I said
You would
earlier.
never know to
Finally,
do
while I
that.
understand why people don't like the paddy wagon. It can be a little awkward to handle. I fucking love it to bits. and
I'm
I
so
think
glad
it's a
I don't
great
know what you guys
addition
are
to the
talking
game.
about.
And now
Keep it
on
that
to my
way.
closing thoughts for this
Yeah,
little
it's
mini
probably the
series.
best.
So in recent years, I found a question tends to rattle around in my
Hey, look,
brain.
it's BuzzBuzz's prophecy, which
And
I
that
believe I've
question
used
is,
twice now
why
for
do
this
I
exact
still play
same
these,
reason,
even though
like
I
ending
don't
the video
watch nor invest
with a
myself
sort
in
of
the
solemn
property
song.
they're based on anymore. I mean, it usually sounds dumber than that in my head, but you get the gist. Anyway, that question is the main reason
Sorry.
this video
This song
Why do you
is
collect
really
weights?
busy.
As a
Why
sort
do you
of
collect
attempt to
weights?
figure
Because
out
you
what
gotta
it
be
is that
manly.
keeps
You're
me
a
coming
that's the whole
back.
point of the movie.
And
Remember, they're trying to be
I
men.
Oh.
figured it out. While I don't watch
Amazing.
Manly men.
anymore,
Wow.
don't take part in any
They're
discussion
trying to
of
be
it, I have
men?
No idea what any of this new
Now that
spin-off
we're
stuff
men,
is or anything
we
else.
can do
The simple
anything.
answer is,
I
just
haven't
think
seen
they're
the
good
SpongeBob
games
movie,
for
so
all
I
the
don't
reasons
know.
I
What?
hopefully explained
What?
earlier.
Right.
Good.
Oh
Say,
my
if these were all there
god.
was of that
Every
reality,
day I
I
learn
think
new
I'd still
frightening
love these
things
games
about you,
all
my
the time.
man.
I know, I'm biased. There's
Bro,
definitely
I'm
nostalgia
missing
to
out.
talk
I
about
just
this,
never
I'm sure,
watched
but
it.
I don't think
It is a
really
fantastic movie,
matters.
like genuinely,
yeah,
it
I
is
have a
it
very
is
strong
so
nostalgic
fun.
connection
It's
to
just a
these games.
fantastic
Maybe I will
2D
watch it.
movie.
Without merit.
It
For God's
is like
sakes,
I
make
think you
videos
might
that
enjoy it just
explain
because of
why I
how
love them
funny
so
it
much.
is.
They can't all just
Yeah.
go down to nostalgia, I think. But you know what?
Men.
Fuck it. Even if it is just nostalgia cloud, these
Man.
games are actually
Men.
shit. I'm still gonna love them and replay them anyway because they're fun as hell to me. I also don't really know how to end this now, so go watch my fucking TAC video.
Go watch my fucking tag video.
Yeah, hell yeah. What's the fucking
I
tag
stopped
video?
doing that
The more I
bit
play it,
after the
the
Phantom
closer
Batula
Kirby
video
64
because I thought it
comes
was
to
getting
being
too
my
drawn
favorite
out.
Kirby game.
Far
I don't
too
think it's
better.
You literally said it on
Far
the
too
stream
many
I know.
bullets.
I wanted to do that as the bit though because we were gonna
Kirby!
because if you
Let's
stuck
fucking
around you would be
go!
watching it anyway.
Ryan, calm down.
Right,
Calm down.
please.
Holy shit.
There's actually a lot of stuff already to talk about at the beginning of the video. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have to turn
jump
the
to the
volume up a
beginning.
little bit.
But this is
closer
okay.
Kirby-
Genuinely,
Why?
I think this was this was
The more I
like
play
you know
it, the
a
closer-
really good video from you. I really like this one.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
No, it was bad. I hate it.
Oh my god.
Stop making video.
I mean, the game is bad, but yeah.
Go watch his fucking tag video or I'm banning you. Thank you, Lance. You're a ride or die bitch. I like it. I appreciate it. I'm never calling you that again. I'm so sorry. I watched the SpongeBob accidentally in its entirety.
How do you watch something accidentally?
Okay, Kirby video. Let's talk about Kirby.
Yeah.
After Kirby 64 comes to being my favorite Kirby game. I don't think it'll top
Comes.
my actual favorite, Superstar Ultra, but it's definitely getting
Superstar
there.
Ultra
I have a
is
surprising amount to say about this game.
top
Some
tier.
things that might even piss
I
off
give that
some
game a
people.
10 out of 10 on my
But before we
backlog.
get to what'll easily be
Yeah,
the most
nothing
contentious
tops
part
Superstar
and
Ultra in the
crux of
series.
this
It's
video,
just
I
so
do actually
good.
just wanna talk
The
about
other games are
first, too.
fantastic, but just
So let's do
man.
that.
Maybe Forgotten Land for me because I love that game. As well.
I am still really happy with this like recreation of the
Logo font.
yeah, it's not the logo. Well, it is the logo font, but I more so meant like how this looks, like how Crystal Shards logos looks.
Did I even watch this one? I forgot.
It's not perfect, but I think it came out looking nice.
Okay, first off, can
This
we talk
video
about
was an
how
excuse to
fucking
talk about
good
Kirby
this game
64, by the
looks?
way, pretty
This is
much.
an N64
Like, my thesis
game, and
statement
it
was
looks more
there,
like an
but
early Wii game.
I wanted
And
to
keep
talk
in
about
mind,
Kirby
A lot of
64.
N64 games look
Man.
like this.
It reminds me of my
i.e.
first like
bad.
analysis
Even
video, I guess,
good-looking
that I wanted
games
to do.
look
I just
bad
wanted
on
to
the
ramble about the
N64.
new Kirby game, basically, and you can tell like there's no structure or message or anything. It's just me talking about Kirby.
They fucked up the textures on this goddamn game on the N64 version so bad. It makes me so angry.
Oof,
Oh wow, that's pretty mushy.
big oof.
They look so much better on the PS1 version. I'm probably gonna make a Mega Man Legends video at some point in the future. Like, don't be surprised
Do
when that
it.
happens.
Do it.
I know what I want my next video to be though, and I'll hold off on saying that till the end, I think.
I'll never forgive you for that one, Nintendo. Also, I'm doing a bit, if you couldn't tell. I actually like how a lot of N64 games look, but I think they're mainly held back by the addition of texture filtering. If you're wondering what that is,
Mario
it
64
basically
looks
means
better
that the
without
textures
texture
on all the
filtering, and if
models
you've
are
ever seen it,
blurry.
I think you
This
would
was,
agree.
in my opinion, a bad move. It's led to a lot of
Okay.
N64 games aging way worse visually
I
to
love
me
how
than,
pretty
say,
the lighting is in
PS1
this game
games.
sometimes.
I bring all
I
this
love
up
these
because, in
purples and
spite of that
greens here.
aspect, Kirby 64
Oh, God,
looks
that
fucking
That reminds me of someone who was doing
Sure, it
like
might not be graphically
a
up to
ray
snuff with
tracing
today's
plugin
standards,
for
but I don't give a
N64
shit
Oh, yeah, it
emulators.
looks
It looked
so good on this game.
gorgeous.
Like,
Beautiful.
this game specifically looked amazing.
Yes,
So much
yes.
like the same kind of people that won't watch old movies because they look too old.
How did they mess that up? I don't know. Fun
Let's
fact,
talk about the
these
game.
little transitions are here actually because I couldn't figure out how to write proper transitions in the script at the time, so I was just like, insert clip here. Which surprisingly, I actually think makes the video flow better than just trying to force in a transition.
Yeah.
And it was fun doing these little edits too. Like, my favorite one is probably the Smash edit, and I also love the walkway one at the end of the video.
For sake, real quick. If I'm being real with you, if you play this game and it's your first,
I think I bring this up in the video, but this version of DDD is top tier, like S tier DDD design. It's my favorite the series has ever produced, and I wish he looked like this in modern games. Like, I wish he kept the flat eyes like Kirby and Meta Knight. I wish he had kept the like diamond shaped beak. I love his proportions in this game. This is pure DDD in his most pure form.
Well, didn't you see him in Forgotten Land? He looks exactly like this.
No,
It's not the same. No, no. God, I could do a whole. I could do a whole video about why the Forgotten Lands does not capture the same vibe as this one
Yeah.
for many
I
reasons.
would genuinely recommend that you don't
Ugh.
bother with collecting the crystal
I don't
shards.
hate it, but it's
Maybe
it's
grab the obvious ones you can see. But
I think it
really
works better
trying
in
to go
Forgotten
for all
Land
of them
than when
on
they
the
put
first
it
run will
into
make your
the
first
Return to
experience
Dreamland
not
remake.
Bad, but not
yeah,
as
that
good as
looks
it could
it
be
looks a
either.
little awkward.
It's not even the
I
shards
think I
themselves
feel
that
like
are
with
the
some
problem,
tweaks you
it's
could
how
make
you're
it work,
expected to
but
get
in
some
the
of
current
them.
state,
This actually leads me
no.
on to one of the many things
Not
I
a fan.
genuinely love
not a big
about
fan,
this
at
game
least.
is
Somebody
the
in my
copy
comments
abilities,
brought
or
up that they
accurately,
didn't know that you could
combining copy
survive that
abilities. Only
attack
2
by
copy abilities in the game can
holding
make you
down
life
on the
like you
D-pad.
feel. Some of my favorites
I
are
just
the
thought that
Lone
was
Star,
funny.
the fireworks, and of course the ever classic fridge.
The
But there are
fridge,
so many
fridge.
different combinations, it's almost overwhelming. You can even combine 2 of the same copy
God,
ability
this
to get
is
a more
still
powerful
one of the
version of
coolest
it.
gimmicks
It gives
in
a lot
any
of freedom
Kirby
to the
game I've
player, even
played.
more than just the normal copy abilities would, and it's easily my favorite gimmick.
Better
any
than
of the
the
games have
whatever they were
introduced
trying to do
before
in
or
Star
after.
Allies with the
Yes,
elemental
even more than
things.
Robobots.
That was boring.
I thought the Star
Robobot.
Ally stuff
I
was
bring
fun
this
if
up
you're
in
doing it in
relevance to the last
multiplayer
thing
at
we said
least.
though, because in order to
Yeah,
get
but
some of the
if you
crystal
don't turn it
shards,
off
you
in the
need specific
options, every
combinations of
time you
copy
enter a
abilities,
puzzle
so you
room,
can
they
throw
will
a
tell
real
you
punch
exactly
against
what you
game's
need to
pacing.
do and combine.
It's a
That's
shame,
fair.
because I do
I mean, to
find
be-
looking for a lot of
be
the
fair,
crystal
it's pretty
shards
easy to
fun,
figure out on
but then you
your
get to
own
those
anyway.
ones that are locked behind
Yeah,
certain
but
combos, and while it doesn't ruin the experience, it can dampen it a bit.
bummer.
So, like I said earlier, if it's your first time, just go through and collect the shards you can, and then go back for the rest if you feel
Fun
so
fact,
inclined.
I don't have an
You'll even be
N64. I
rewarded with
recorded this
something
footage off
neat
of my
if you
Wii
do.
U.
Very fitting.
Going back to the visuals for a moment, I wanted to bring up another
Good
technical
timing.
achievement. This game's
Can't believe you
cutscenes
borrowed the Rice
are
soundboard for that one.
fascinating.
Doesn't he
They're
come out
well
like that in
animated,
Forgotten
especially for the
Forgotten
time,
Land,
but
but
that's not what I'm
HD?
interested in
No, I
bringing
think we
up
were
now.
just talking about that,
All of
weren't we?
Kirby
No,
64's
I
cutscenes
no,
run
I
at
disagree.
60
Yeah,
frames per
I don't think
second.
he looks like
This
that
is
in
impressive
Forgotten
because a
Land.
lot of
He
games on the
looks
N64 usually
weird.
ran at 30 FPS.
He looks okay.
at the best of times.
It's mostly the
I think
decent
it's the
stuff.
weakest DDD. Well, not the weakest. Some of the 3DS games have like a weird DDD,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. My favorite DDDs are the ones where the eyes are closer together. I don't like the eye where my favorite. I think my favorite besides 64 DDD design is the Smash design. I think that's the best he's looked in like modern 3D.
It's pretty good. I just like the one from Flipping Returns to Dreamland. I think that one's still like very nice.
I died.
I have to bring up
Smash can
how
barely
stupid I
stay
am in a
at
second.
20. And to be fair, the actual game part plays at 30
Nice.
FPS too,
Hold
but
on.
it's a stable 30 FPS that I've personally never seen dip below that number. Or maybe my eyes just aren't as good as
So in case anybody didn't hear, I was talking about how the game's cutscenes are in 60 FPS, just for context for this next part.
spotting that kind of thing, I don't know. And I'm not a snob for frame rate either. If it's playable, I don't mind. So I think it says a lot that even I noticed how impressive this was. It also meant I had to record footage at 60 FPS, making my file sizes bigger. That's not the game's fault, I'm just petty.
Imagine, say, you record the footage at 60 FPS like you said you did, because you have to show off the cutscenes are at the proper frame rate, and then not realizing until much later, much later after the video has been out for several days, that you forgot
Yeah.
you're at 60 FPS. Never
Why
making
would be
that
like,
mistake
you can't
again.
See the difference between 30 and 60 FPS.
Wow.
Yeah, you can.
I hate your money.
There's something wrong with his eyes.
Yeah. Like actually your money.
Let it be shown, because there's something like that in the Epic Mickey videos that I make mistakes sometimes.
I love-
Weirdly slow in this game,
that.
even
That
as
is-
The
crouches
little
and
little
axes in
skits
it,
and funny
which is a
edits in
shame
this
because
video
it means I
are
can't
also
dance,
like
man.
super
How are you gonna
good.
make a Kirby game and not
like
let me
them.
dance?
They're not too obtuse. They're
You know, that's
really
actually a
really
good
nice.
transition into the music. I'm gonna put that in the script.
Yeah, and they help me
Wait, I
get
don't know if I'd
around
say
not
Kirby
writing
64 is
transitions.
my favorite Kirby soundtrack, but it's definitely close.
It's actually
Each
a very
song
good
is
track.
pretty much perfect for how they're used, and they're also just pretty catchy. My favorite is easily Factory Inspection.
This song is so fucking based, and they brought it back in like Robobot, I think, and it's amazing.
This is my like one
Yeah.
of my favorite Kirby
It's probably
tracks.
one of my favorite levels too.
quite
Hell,
nice.
that entire world is just fantastic. The implications behind that one are also.
You are only going to
interesting
get this
think
joke
about.
if you're a Kirby
I wouldn't
fan.
be surprised
Well, it's
if
not a joke,
Superstar specifically
that
inspired parts
thing.
of the Forgotten Land.
Lead me to the building. Fuck you.
One last thing before we move on to the main reason why I made this video. This might
So, like,
surprise
this
you, but
video
I
is
actually
when
love the
Hayne became
story,
funny.
Despite its simplicity.
Wow.
I like how it's told.
Alright.
The cutscenes are adorable.
Holy.
and just alike. My favorite thing
Damn.
about the story is how you start to fill out this little entourage after helping
Shots
characters out
fired,
along the way.
dude.
Ribbon, Waddle Dee, Adeline, and of course DDD. God, I love DDD in this game.
Look at him.
He's still a little
Look at
shit
his fucking
sometimes,
face.
His rivalry with the Pink Puff is still on display, but he's got no qualms about doing the right thing and helping out. That's part of why he's my favorite character in the series. I just love the jerk with a heart of gold trope. Also, this game is home to easily my favorite
Man, that
design
looks
for
so
Dreamland's
good at
one and
30
only
FPS.
king.
Fuck
Look at
you.
his face! His penguin face!
Can't see the
Right,
difference.
anyway, let's get on to the part that the video is titled after.
Here we go, the crux of the video.
So I have this small problem with Return to Dreamland and its subsequent games up to the Forgotten Land. That problem is that these games had no real reason to be 3D. Depth was used a little bit, especially in the 3DS titles, but for the most part, these could have been full-on 2D games, and I don't think much would
Robobot still
change.
looks so
Whereas I
good.
think Crystal Shards
It does.
actually realized
That's the
both
thing.
strengths of 2D.
I worry,
RoboCop?
I worry that I like, by explaining what I meant in this video, that I was saying that the other games look bad. I don't think they look
no,
bad. I think the lighting is like the best thing about the Kirby game, the 3D Kirby games after this one. But I still think this game uses perspective better and uses the third dimension better.
Yeah. This is fair enough.
And 3D being a true 2.5D game. There's real depth here that gets
Also, the
used
thing about
effectively
Forgotten
for
Land, I
both
still
gameplay
believe.
and aesthetics. Kirby 64 actually felt like it had a reason to be 3D, whereas later titles never hit that mark for me. Okay, look here. Kirby is actively curving around
Please do not
geometry,
hit
and the
the
background
mark.
and foreground are being pushed around to accommodate. In Return to Dreamland, you're walking on a flat line. And again,
I've
sure,
played a
the
Kirby
3DS
game before,
titles
so-
specifically do use 3D
They're
this way a
good.
bit more than Return or Star Allies,
I've
but
heard,
not enough
but I
times to really
don't
justify
interest.
it personally.
Robobot.
And I'm a little saddened by this, to tell the truth. The way Crystal Shards use 3D was so interesting to me. Obviously, you're still moving around this world
I
like
hate
you
this
would in
fucking
a 2D
ability.
game,
I
but it
only
feels
ever
so much
use
more
it for this one
expansive and
crystal
like a
shard in
real
this
world
level.
when executed this way.
Yeah.
You know what the worst part is?
Also,
We
yeah,
almost got another Kirby game styled like
what
Kirby
you say about
64
the
on
3D,
GameCube. But guess
the
what?
way they
That
use
game
3D
became
in the
Return
modern
to
games
Dreamland.
versus
A
this
very
one,
fun
it's
game, don't get me
true.
wrong, but one that could have at
Thank
Like
you.
the
least
new
looked a
games
bit
are
less
like
sterile
2D
and a
games
bit
with
more
3D graphics,
interesting.
but this is like a 3D game with 2D gameplay.
I wanna bring this point up
Fun
because
game,
I
don't
could
get
have
me
stated
wrong,
this
but one
better.
that could have at least looked a bit less sterile.
I don't know if that was the right word to use. There's something about it. I think I should have said that the visuals play it too safe, because I don't think it looks sterile.
Mm.
But I think Return to Dreamland plays it too safe with its visuals. Which,
What do you think of the remake?
what do I think of the
Like
remake?
visually? Yeah.
I think it's still playing it too safe with its visuals, because it's the same environments, it's just better lighting and better model quality.
Yeah, like at least it has like it goes for something a little different.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you prefer that.
But I think part of it is that I've seen these ideas in Kirby games so much up to this point that it does not make Return's visuals stand out to me. Like, even if they were to look prettier, like in the remake. It's my same problem with Forgotten Land, is that I feel like we've been here, done this. I even say that in the video. Like, I think they still look good. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like a new Super Mario Brothers situation where I think those games look sterile and like soulless. I think even despite the fact that it is playing it safe, the newer Kirby games still look really good.
Yeah.
Especially
I
this
get
one
what
as a Wii title, which looks way better than a Wii title should.
Yeah, it's like an era thing. That's a good thing to
And a bit
point
more
out. Like
interesting.
a lot of the
Don't
games
worry,
from
by the
this
way, I'm fully aware
era
of the
played it
elephant in
safe
the room also.
graphically.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Forgotten Land exists, and to be honest, I have some problems with how that game looks too. None with the 3D aspect though. That was executed very well, I think, but the visuals themselves play it too safe for my liking. And I get it, playing it safe with the styles and
Boring
understandable with
games.
this being
Damn.
Kirby's first real 3D platform.
Yeah, you know what?
Him
He's
hates
right.
games.
He's right. Kirby games suck, actually. They're just really boring.
True!
It should also be noted,
Shut
I
up,
have no
Neb.
problems with how any of these games look for the most part. My worst takeaways
Okay.
from them are that they can look kind of sterile and flat. Overall, they still look fantastic.
shouldn't have said
I just
sterile.
think that
I
64
shouldn't have
looks
said
better,
that.
and part of that is due to
You
how
should
they
have
look.
said
Delete video, take it
fertile.
down.
The,
It also
the,
helps
it down.
the thing with
First.
with that kind of stuff is like I could easily go back and edit the video and like add new lines and re-upload it, but I'd rather just go with the route of I'll do it better next time. Like that's
Yeah.
what I keep in mind when I'm like looking back at these and being like, I didn't say what I could have said there. Instead, I go into the next video thinking, how could I apply what I know now to this video?
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that shows. Because of course art is a learning experience. You're always going to be getting better at it as you go on. You know.
Yeah.
Even though the game uses familiar
Nuh-uh.
world themes, 64's locales
Shut
still
up.
look very distinct. And
Oh, you
memorable
mean
for
New
the
Super
rest of the
Mario?
series.
Okay, yes.
Whereas with
The
later
New Super Mario
titles,
Brothers
including
games
the
are
Forgotten
fucking very
Land, I feel
boring.
like
Although I do
I've
have
been here,
nostalgia for the
done
Wii
that,
one.
if that makes sense.
I
I'm sure
love-
most people won't see me eye to eye on this specific topic, and that's fine. It's all subjective anyway.
I can't
just
wait
really
for
wanted
Mario
to get my
Bros. Wonder.
thoughts
That
out
game
on
actually
this,
looks
and I'm
really
happy to have done
interesting.
So So yeah, that's the Kirby 64 video.
I love
folks.
how
Structured a bit
wispy
differently
looks
than
in
the
this
past
game.
couple
I love the,
videos.
like,
Hope you're cool with
plaid
that because I
texture.
really don't give a shit. This is a topic I've been wanting to do.
I don't
since
get
I
why-
streamed
I don't
Kirby
get it,
64 about
but I
2
like
months
it.
Ago, link in the description. I'm glad I did because I genuinely find Kirby's transition into 3D.
Next
a
up is the Epic
fascinating
Mickey
topic,
video,
since
by the way,
series
everybody.
didn't follow in its contemporaries' footsteps until about 20 years later.
What?
I can't say I blame
How
How
long have we
Labs
been
for
streaming
taking so
for,
long.
anyway?
I'm sure it's fair to say a lot of
Quite a
people
while.
don't
I don't
think
know.
the series
We
could
have been
work in
going
full
for
3D.
about
Well,
2
this
hours.
Forgotten Land proved
Almost 2
everybody
hours.
wrong.
Okay.
But, yeah, I guess I hope you liked the video. I don't know, man. Go watch my fucking TAC video.
Okay,
This
you
guy.
gotta bring back the tac thing like
It's no
years
secret
from
that I
now.
am deeply fascinated
Yeah.
by games like this. You know, niche games. with
I've got, like,
some really
50
interesting
videos out.
history, a story to tell,
Yeah.
and man,
Wow.
Epic Mickey is definitely one of those games.
God,
So,
the
where
sequel
else to start
existing
with a
still
game
makes
like
me
this
sad.
than Immersive Sims. More specifically, the man who helped create the genre. Warren Spector is a name some of you might not recognize either because you're too young or you're just not into Immersive Sims, but I promise you, the games he worked on were not only some of the most influential games of all time, but they're specifically relevant to Epic Mickey because of their shared DNA. A lot of this game's mechanics and structure are very similar to that of Immersive Sims Warren Spector did work for, most
I
notably
think this is
its
my
morality
second
system,
best performing
which
video,
we'll talk
if
more
I remember
about when I
right.
get into the gameplay proper later. This makes
Which
sense
I found
because if it
interesting
weren't
because,
obvious by now, Warren Spector
I didn't
was
think that many
incredibly
people would be
important to the
that
creation of
interested in an Epic Mickey video.
being the game's director.
No, I
Although
still
it's
see
Yeah.
people talking about
interestingly
Epic Mickey
not
every
where
now
Epic
and then.
Mickey's
Like
There's,
it's
like, weird
story
sudden
starts.
wave of
Hell,
nostalgia
Warren
for it,
didn't even
too,
get
at the
involved
moment.
until sometime in
Epic.
2007. No, Epic Mickey technically started its history
Go buy
much
System
earlier,
Shock
in
Remake.
2003. I
No.
say technically because
I really
don't know what
it
that
didn't
is.
really start then. It might have.
I really
if it
like the
weren't
demo
a little
for it.
bunny-shaped problem. Let's
This
talk about
fucking
Oswald
rabbit.
the Lucky Rabbit
Dude,
for a
the
second.
story
Oswald is one
behind
of Walt
him.
Disney's and iWorks'
I love
first ever
Oswald.
character
I
designs.
miss
He
him.
Oswaldo.
made it short and hit it big.
The
Although
reason
this was
by the
when
way, I
Walt
keep
Studios
bringing
was
up
working for Universal, and
iWorks
because he and his
because
crew created
oftentimes
a
he's just
full
kind of
under them,
forgotten
Lucky Rabbit
in the
was
history
owned
of this
by
studio.
Universal. At some point
Oh,
later,
yeah.
though,
It-
Walt
he's
had enough
he,
working
he is
for
like
them
the
after
main
his own
reason,
studio
or
grew
one of the
while
main
working
reasons
on
why
those
Oswald and Mickey
shorts.
exist.
He also invested in digging up
Wait,
land
Oppen
with his
who?
brother.
Ub
The
iWorks.
1920s were a
He
weird
was-
time.
Oh yeah.
More importantly,
Oppenheimer?
he, alongside
No.
iWorks, went on to be
Oppenheimer.
one of the most well-known video games of all
Yeah,
time,
there was also
one
recently
that
this
he would
like
keep the
so,
rights
semi-related,
to.
like on
And in
Twitter, Disney was talking about
Steamboat
Willie,
Clever
there it is.
Crazy was
How
created.
that was like the
Wheels,
first
first
sound
Mickey
cartoon, and they were
Mouse
talking
short.
about
Yeah,
it,
this
and
is
then a
gonna
lot
be
of
a
people were
weird
saying like
tangent, but
this is
believe it or
bullshit
not,
actually. Like
Steamboat
none of that
Willie
is
was
true.
never
Like all the
the
things they
first
were
Mickey
claiming
Mouse
in that
short.
tweet,
It
and
was
it actually got
Steamboat
community
Willie
notes.
was just
Like
released
Disney got
Hilarious.
corrected on
Hilarious.
Twitter.
Second Mickey Mouse
It's
short. He
yeah.
was the
I don't
third.
like how
I
they're
assume
talking about
modern
this
Disney
history. Like
uses
oh,
Steamboat
just
Willie more because it was both the
Oswald.
first Mickey
What am I
Mouse
saying?
short
Hold on.
released, and
Fucking
it's also
Steamboat
the
Willie
sound,
was the
but
first
more
like sound
importantly,
cartoon,
it's
and
just the
Disney
most
made
iconic
history and all that.
feature
Like
of all time.
sure, but in a different
Now,
way
back
than
to
you're
the topic at
presenting it
hand.
here,
We're
and I
gonna
feel like that's
fast-
very dangerous that they're just able to present it like that
Yeah, it's-
without people
Yeah.
calling
It's
them out.
absolute
They're
horseshit.
changing history.
Jeez, don't like it.
A sort of related side note, I somehow didn't get copyright claimed for showing any of this footage, like any of the shorts I showed at all, which I was not expecting. I was genuinely expecting to just like be completely fucked over by this.
Huh.
Wow.
Oh, got lucky.
Yeah, because I showed Mickey's shorts footage, like it's their main guy, it's their mascot, and I got no copyright claims at all. I actually only have one copyright claim on all of my videos, and it's the Futurama, the Simpsons Futurama video, and that's because I used the Futurama theme at the end of the video. But even that,
Wow.
even then, that claim doesn't affect my channel at all. It doesn't affect the video. It doesn't demonetize my video. It's just, it doesn't affect it at all. But the claim is there, and it's really weird, and I didn't even know claims could function that way.
Damn.
Wow.
Which is to say, I don't monetize my videos anyway, so... If you ever, by
Okay,
the way, if any of you
uh,
ever see ads on my videos, it's because they're probably copyright claimed. or
They're
something.
automatically there. But yeah, I'm going to go because I'm really tired.
Oh, see you later, Rye.
Wow,
But this was
skillicious.
epic, and if there's part 2, I might join for that too. But hey, yeah,
It-
thanks
it,
for
it
having me.
depends on how much people want to stick around and how long we go
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was great, and thanks for having me. Bye, Scoop Kick. I just pressed the stopwatch button. I was supposed to press. Wait, how do I leave a call?
Amazing.
Alright.
How do you leave a call? Oh,
Goodbye, gamer.
this
That
guy.
was hysterical. Let's continue on.
forward by quite a bit back.
Check
to the
out Raimani on
2000s.
twitch.com,
In
by the way.
2006, Bob
I think-
Iger,
And Scoop
then
Kick.
and
It might be a
still
good idea to
current
split
CEO
the
of
stream
Disney,
into
made
half.
a
What do you guys
surprising
think? Do you
move.
guys think we should
He
keep
sold a
going?
man
Like, I'm talking
for a
about
rabbit.
both of you
I
guys
mean,
and the chat.
Not really.
Like,
That's a
after
very
this video,
simple
or do
way
you
of
think we should
looking
split
at
it in
but
half
it still
here?
did kind
at
of
the end.
happen.
How much
At the
is
time,
left?
Al Michaels,
We
while
still have
working
4
for
more videos to go
ESPN, a
through.
subsidiary of Disney,
How
expressed
many have we
interest
done so
in moving
far?
to NBC Universal.
Do we have
He was
4
under
more?
contract with ESPN
Oh, no, we have-
at the time, which meant he couldn't
We've done
work for them,
4.
obviously.
We've done
Until
4.
Bob Iger saw an opportunity
Counting
to get back
the-
in Walt's
yeah, okay,
first
so we have
major
this one and
works in
then
the
3 more
industry.
after this
Disney
one.
negotiated with Universal that they
No,
get
4 more at
Disney
this one.
Sportsman in return for
So
the rights
quite a
to
lot.
the
There's
Lucky
like at
Rabbit
least
and all 27
probably
shorts
2
that
hours
Look
left.
at the channel.
worked on in
Hey.
both
No, there's not 2
characters.
hours. Well,
The
there's
reason-
not 2 hours left of video left, but if I keep pausing, there would be. Keep going, please. Everybody keeps saying keep going in the chat. There's this video, the Fathom Batula video, which probably won't take too long to get through. The Simpsons video, which I have a little bit to say on, and then the Eco video.
Oh, okay, never mind. I counted the Cosmic Shake one.
No, that's not a video essay. That's just
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
just a
stupid.
first impressions
Sorry.
video.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, we'll keep going through this video and see what we got to do.
Iger wanted
How
the
we're
character
feeling.
back so bad? Well, we're gonna go back to 2003 for a quick sec. You see, 2003 was when Epic Mickey was pitched directly
That's
to
it,
Bob
you're
Iger,
going
who
to
at the time was not the
2003.
CEO of Disney.
If
He was still
only.
high up in the company, but there's not much he could have done about the fact that Disney didn't own Oswald.
This
at the
video is
time.
interesting to
So,
do
of
research
course, what
for
does he
because
do
it's
when
actually
he becomes
kind of
CEO
surprisingly
in
hard to
2005?
find
He makes
some
it one of his
information.
duties to get that
I
fucking
even make
rabbit
mention
back.
of it, like
I feel
with
the
the
need
one
to say at
executive
this
for
point that
Disney's
all of
game
this
studio
shit
or
that I've
whatever
said so far
that I could
is
find
true. And now
no
we're back to
information on the guy
2007,
at all.
Where Disney bought More Inspector's game
Huh.
company, Junction Point Studios. And
Give
finally,
Inspector
after
Gadget?
all of that, the game is put into
I
production.
wish to take
with
Raimani's
Warren
place. You guys cool if Kane joins?
I hate that guy. But okay.
Yeah, I hate him. Fuck Kane. Oh, what is that? Chill is a podcast? Oh my god, bro.
Sake.
Kane is a little toxic. I hope he doesn't bring
I
like.
hate Chill issue.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Your mother.
Who is this fucking guy, dude? Oh my
What
god,
the
get him
hell?
out of here.
This is just Hane, but with a K. Get him out of here.
Oh my god. Now we've got 2 Dutch people, so I'm sorry if none of you can understand what anything that's going on.
Eat my ass.
Cash croissant.
So continuing on with the Epic
That's
Mickey video.
croissant. Yeah. That's
Back
not
to
even.
as
That's
the
not
record.
specifically Dutch.
Well,
No,
we're still
but
not
sure,
Dutch
I'll
Shut the
take
fuck
it.
up.
Are we? No. You see, Epic Mickey was originally intended for Xbox 360, PS3, and PC, but not the Wii.
In
Of course, we
hindsight,
live
it
in
was a
this
good thing
reality
that they
where the
didn't
Wii
end- it
version
didn't end up
is the
on
only
that.
version of
On
the
any
game.
of those,
The
because
reason
oh,
for
Epic
this
Mickey
is,
2
in
plays
abridged
really bad on a
version of
controller.
Weinstein's own words, a port
I
of
wish
the
this game
PS3,
came to PC
PC,
though, like the
and
first
Xbox
one
version
specifically.
just wouldn't
I
work
still
on
don't
the
know how
Wii.
you would do the
If the Wii was
controls.
getting an Epic Mickey
I don't know,
game, it was
mouse
going
and
to be its
keyboard.
own game.
Mario
Eventually,
Galaxy
Graham
2 works
Hopper,
well on a
I think
controller.
executive for Disney's
Yeah.
video game publishing
Yeah, but
company,
Mario
who I
Galaxy
can find
2 doesn't-
barely any information
Mario
about,
Galaxy 2 is like
suggested
gyro
just
aim and
making
stuff.
The game a Wii exclusive,
Yeah.
and the rest is
Mario
history.
Galaxy 1, I
Probably
mean.
for the
But I
best,
don't know why I
because
said
basically
Yeah,
Mario
so,
Galaxy
yeah,
2.
yeah,
the point
you
of
fucked with
control
my brain a
would've
little bit
sucked
right there.
ass on any
I thought you
console
were
except the
mentioning
Wii.
like
Anyway,
emulators.
I'm done with this part of the video now. There's probably some more things to talk
Yeah.
about. With the
Bringing
game.
up
Games.
emulators
This is
isn't
really
illegal.
That's
How many
illegal.
times do we have to have this fucking
Hell, if you're
conversation?
watching this, you probably already know most of this shit, but I feel it's important to bring up in relation to the game itself. With that said, let's move on.
These cutscenes are
Mario
gorgeous.
Mario was sitting like on the roof across from Mark with a sniper rifle.
I feel the red dots burning into my forehead.
Somebody in the a couple of people in the comments actually brought up a lot of good points about how Epic Mickey's writing could have been a little bit better.
No better place to start than with how
Which
this game looks. and
it
just
was
its
definitely interesting to
presentation
think about.
overall.
Although I think
While
with
it
what
is
we've got,
very
it's
much
still very
graphically
good.
a Wii game, I still like to think that its aesthetics hold up fairly well. One
I
of
like
the
the
best
story of this
examples
game
of
a
this is easily
Yeah.
Mickey Junk Mountain, an area that you get to
A lot of
fairly
filler
early on in the
dialogue,
game.
but the actual
Just
cutscenes are
conceptually,
very
this area
enjoyable.
is really clever,
As
and
a
it's also
kid, I remember
genuinely pretty cool to
using
look at.
thinner a
The
lot
entire
on like the main
location
objectives
is a
too.
old Mickey
Oh, yeah,
memorabilia,
that's
and
funny.
it's
And then I saw that final
absolutely
cutscene and I was like,
all
oh,
real world Mickey
Oh,
Mouse,
no.
rockets, tin toys, NES and SNES games, guitars,
Nice.
clocks, lunchboxes. There's just so much of it here.
So
And this
I
is
brought
only
up a bunch of
frac-
stuff in that section right there, and I was actually thinking of editing that to like show everything I was talking about, like clip to clip to clip. And then I realized while editing, this video is already taking fucking forever, and I don't want to do that. So then I didn't do that. Let it be known that even though I do try to put as much effort into my videos as possible, sometimes I do just get lazy and realize that some things are not worth the effort.
Good.
Lazy.
What?
Of what this game has to offer
No!
visually. There are these 2D sections where you play through old Mickey shorts, and each one has multiple visual
God.
references to the short it's based on. And there are a
Cannot
ton
be.
of them.
I
based
recorded
on
that
some of
short straight from
Mouse's
the game
best
itself,
shorts,
because
which,
there are a couple you
speaking
can
of those
watch
shorts,
in the
this is gonna be a bit of a
extras
tangent,
menu when
sorry.
you
While
unlock
working on
them.
this video, I got the idea to make
True.
a little
Yeah.
mini-series where I talk about every Mickey Mouse.
Hey,
Hey,
Mickey's
Mickey's trailer.
Not every
This is one of my
Disney short,
favorites.
mind you, just
I
the ones
love
focusing
Mickey's
on
trailer.
Mickey
Was that in the game
himself.
too? I
don't
don't
No,
think so.
I
That'll
recorded
happen,
this,
but keep an eye out. Who knows?
Don't
Actually,
worry
that
about it. Don't
transition
worry
is
about how I
one
got the
of
footage
Don't
from the other
worry
shorts,
about
actually.
it.
A good
Yeah,
chunk
yeah.
of them are 2D
God, I love
animated,
Mickey's
and
trailer.
they
Like, I had that on
look stellar.
VHS.
I absolutely
Let's just say I
love
know a
the
guy
color
who
choices
knows a
here, and
guy.
The shading style is so unique
Yeah,
to anything I've seen in
bad.
2D animation before. It's very stylistic.
I'm
and
using
striking
RetroArch
and
right now.
very
That's
memorable.
based, Dreamy.
The in-game cutscenes aren't much to write home
Good for you.
about, though. Pretty standard for this kind of thing. They get the job done.
A couple of people brought up
tasty character.
I'm about to
designs
talk about it
during
in a
them.
second in the video, but a
Whoever was
couple
in
of
charge
people
of these
brought up
designs
the
really knew what they were doing. Mickey
the
himself,
fact that some of the
especially, looks
designs actually do make
fantastic.
sense
His
in
design
context
this
with the
game
game's
pulls from
lore.
his
I still think
classic
it's just
late
because they
black
wanted
and
to
white
put
early color days while still
popular
feeling
Disney, like
distinct
more
in its
well-known
own.
Disney
This is
characters in.
probably my second favorite
But
design
they
for
brought up
Mickey,
that
right behind
Smee's
the
design
Paul
actually is an
British
unused version
Of
that
course,
uses
Mickey's not
different
the only one who
colors
got a bit of a
in this
glow-up.
game.
There's a
He
lot of
has a
old
different color
classic
scheme.
Disney shorts characters here, like
Where his
Horace
hat and
Horsecollar, Clarabelle,
shirt
or
are
of
like
course,
swapped.
the man of the hour, Oswald. All of which
And
that have
Oswald
gotten
and not
incredibly
Oswald
solid
and
designs in this
Clarabelle
game.
and
don't
Horace
get
are
me
using
started
older
on the
designs
Pete's
as opposed to
either.
their
Anything that's a
newer
direct reference
designs
to
in
Tron is good in
Yeah.
my
the Three
book.
Musketeers
Pete
and
being
House
here
of
does
Mouse.
bring up a sort of awkward
And
question
Pete,
about the
they brought up
game's
that Pete
lore,
is the one with
though.
the
So
peg
reason
leg,
all
which
these
had
classical Disney
stopped getting
characters are
used
in
at the
this
time.
place,
Although this
Wasteland,
version of Pete is
because they're
like
either forgotten
back now in
characters
the
or unused versions
the
of
Paul
them,
Rudish shorts.
which is all fine and dandy.
Ah,
until
yeah.
the characters like Pete,
The
Smee, and
cows,
hell, even Horace and
I forget their
Clarabelle
names
are
already,
brought
but
into
like
the equation.
Horace,
They make-
Horace and
Act like
Clarabelle.
Pete is, no matter
Yeah,
what costume you put him
they
in.
make like
Most
pretty
people
regular
seem to
appearances
Japan,
in the
and that's
Dutch
a lot of
comics.
people.
So as a kid, that
exactly.
really confused me.
Same. When I first played this game, I was like, "What? These are characters who still exist that are used frequently. Why are they forgotten? Like, what is going
Now, you
on?"
could make an argument for the first thing that they're old, unused versions of the characters, but no, they're not. That part of
I
it was
still
mostly
think they
just
totally
an
did this
excuse
just
to have
to
some more
they did this for
recognizable
like
Disney
Pete
characters in the
and
game, which, yeah, fair.
Smee to just
As
add
for
characters
Clarabelle
people
and Horace,
recognize
you
from
could make a
popular
convincing
Disney
argument
stuff.
that even though they still
Yeah,
showed
they
up
could have
in
picked
Disney
more
shows
obscure
and
ones
movies
that
a
are
little
actually
bit
forgotten.
before Epic Mickey,
But,
that doesn't mean most
like
people
Blorgy.
remember them. Also,
Like
I don't know
Blorgy,
why got
I
caught up
remember
on
him
this.
from
It does not matter.
1972.
Although, bringing
I
that
can't believe I didn't
aspect
bring
up
this
does
up at
give me
all
a
in the
chance to
video,
talk
but the
about
way
some
Mickey's
actually
ears work
really
in the game
forgotten
is
characters.
really cool.
Let's talk about the Gremlins for a second.
yeah.
and
Like how
no,
no matter
more
where
games
the
would do that.
camera is, his ears are always in the right position.
This game makes me feel like Mickey.
It's Kane's favorite, the
was a
Gremlins.
children's book written by Roald
The
Dahl.
Gremlins.
For those of you that
Hell
might be too
yeah.
young to
Are you
know,
watching
movie.
the stream
was a
on
man
Discord,
people
Kane, or
my
the
age
stream
and
on
older
YouTube?
know for writing books like The
On
Big Friendly
Discord.
Giant
Okay,
and
good.
I'm also
Charlie
animating at the
and
same
Chocolate
time.
Ah, fair.
Factory. The Gremlins was a tie-in book to a movie that was being worked on by Roald Dahl and Disney, the company, in the
Norwegian.
1940s. Things fell through, and all we have to show for it in the
That's the
modern
Gremlins
day is
theme
the book,
song.
Oh, it's British, mind.
but also epic. It
What are
makes
you
the
talking
forgotten
about?
characters, the Gremlins
I don't know
are
what the hell is
in
going
too,
on.
and they're the ones that keep Wasteland
I
in
thought
check,
Roald
making
Dahl
sure
was
it doesn't fall
Norwegian.
apart.
Are you kidding me?
I keep thinking
One of
this.
them is even a main
Oh my
character,
God,
He has a Norwegian name.
gremlin named Gus.
Does
And
he?
finally, on that note,
Yeah.
we're
My
going
name
to get
is
into this
Gus.
game's story.
No, wait.
A
Yes,
long
he is
time
from
ago
Norway.
in the universe, not real life, Mickey steps into
Okay.
his mirror and ends up in
He's
the
a
home
British
of
author
and Sid.
of
The same
Norwegian
was the
heritage.
short The Sorcerer's
All right,
Apprentice.
well, good for
Mickey,
him.
wildly messing with
I
young
do.
Sid's magical
I bring it up at
paintbrush,
some point in this
accidentally
video, but
creates the game's
I brought it up
villain,
earlier when I was
Blot,
showing
and then
Mickey's
tries to
trailer.
use
But
spinner
at some
on
point
it,
I
which
do
not only
want to
makes
do
the
that
Blot more powerful, but also
that like
ruins the
Mickey
world
Shorts
Jensen had
video where I
created
just
for
talk about.
forgotten
I plan on
cartoon
if I ever do get
characters
around
like
to it, I
Oswald
plan on
and
breaking it
Rabbit.
into like
Here again,
eras, like
Sid
black and white
returning,
ones, the
knowing
color
he's
ones,
messed up, Mickey
the
scrambles back through the mirror to his
the
home,
later
and from
ones from like the
there, we see time
90s,
pass,
the Paul Rudish
referencing
ones. The
multiple
Paul Rudish
classic
ones will probably have to be
Mickey
split up into
shorts while doing
multiple
so,
parts because of how
even
many
implying
there
that the
are.
prior event happened
Oh, I
before
love the
the
Paul
shorts.
Rudish shorts. I'm so sad sad that they
After some
ended.
time had passed,
I still
they
gotta watch
accepted
all of
the
those.
very
I gotta watch
monster
that
created
that
the
new
plot,
like
pull him
big
into the
special they
world
made because
he
it looks
helped
like a
the
really
Romans
good.
destroy.
As much as it
He
sucks
was
that it
the
ended,
Holy
it
Land.
looks really
And from
cool,
here on, it's
like
up to
how
Mickey
they
to
ended
accept the
it
mistakes of his past,
with a
like
Yeah.
classic Mickey
eventually
coming
meeting up
back.
with Gus, and then later Oswald. And
Uh,
man, while the
Ray
plot
fan
itself
said,
is
"Theory,
interesting enough
Mark's
to
a
keep you
gremlin,
invested
that's
from the
Dutch."
beginning, it is the character
Can neither
moments,
confirm nor
especially the
deny
ones
this
between
without
Mickey
breaking
and
copyright
Oswald,
laws.
that
I just
A
realized I was
gremlin.
commenting on
fucking
things
story.
15 minutes ago because I
Mickey,
fell
once he
behind in
gets to
the
Wasteland,
stream.
realizes
I'm so sorry,
why this
Mr.
place
Code.
is the way
Oh,
it
by the
is,
way,
and
that
as a result
reminds me,
of
if
that,
any of
he
you
feels
are behind on the
incredibly
stream,
guilty, and that it's
you
his
won't be fully caught
responsibility
up, but if
to
you
make things right. Whereas
go into
Oswald is
the
just
settings on the
incredibly bitter
video,
and
you
resentful
can
towards
make the
Mickey,
speed go
believing
up to
him
2
be the
times,
reason Oswald
and that
was
should catch you up
forgotten.
fairly
Gus
quickly.
is also just
Yes,
kinda there.
very useful
Not to say
trick
he's
for
not
any
fun
live
as a
stream.
character, he's mostly
Let's
comic
talk about
relief,
how
but
bad
most of
Gus's
the
voice
focus is
is
on Mickey
in
and
Epic
Oswald's
Mickey 2.
dynamic. There are two really good scenes.
Oh yeah, in the
particular
first
that
game
show
it's like
both these aspects
the
of their
second game it's
characters and
what was
also
it
just their
again? What did
dynamics
it sound
and
like?
how it
I said
evolves as the game
my
goes
what
on.
I said was that
The
he
first
sounds
is
like a
where after
fucking
defeating what you believe to be the
like
plot,
Disney
it's revealed that he's
Junior
just a small
narrator
fry,
from
and
like
the
when I
real
was a
plot is
kid or
trapped inside a
something.
bottle of paint thinner,
Ah,
the very
right.
same one Mickey spilled into
I don't
Wasteland all
like
those
the
years
voice
ago.
act.
It's
The
after
voice
he
acting in
gets the
Epic
bottle
Mickey
that
2 is
Oswald
fine.
tries to
It's
make
directed
amends for
well,
the way
but I
he's
just
acted
don't
up to
like some of
this
the voice
point, as well as
choices.
apologizing
Specifically
for
Frank
clear
Welker's
resentment
Oswald,
with
which I
Mickey,
don't think fits at
offering a
all.
handshake
As
yeah,
good as good as he
reaches in
is,
for it
I don't
before
think that
wrenching
voice is
his hand
fitting.
back to the shock of both
Yeah.
Oswald and
So hey,
Gus,
hot
and
take.
reveals that it was him that
I feel
caused
like the voice
appropriately
actor from
named
the Paul Rudish
Thinner
shorts should just be the
disaster.
main voice
Oswald
actor for
reacts
Mickey.
about the
I
way
like
you
him so
expect
much
him to,
more. Just
which,
the range,
fair,
the
but
Yeah.
doing
all the
so
different
I
emotions
can't
that
help
he
but
has.
agree.
Fantastic.
I saw like a
It's
clip
so
of
good.
that new game, and while I do
This
like
leads
how
pretty
classic
cleanly
Mickey
into the other
sounds,
scene
or
I
like
wanted
that
to
voice
talk about,
actor's
where
Mickey
after
sounds, it's
devising a way
just
to deal with the real
after
plot
listening to
once
Paul
and for
Rudish
all,
stuff, that
Oswald
voice is just
finally
so
comes
much
to
more
terms with the fact that the Thinner
expressive.
disaster was really
Yes,
just an
exactly,
accident, and
exactly.
since
I felt the
Mickey
same way
really
like when
does
I
want
watched
to
the
atone
gameplay
for
clips
what
from
he
that new
did. He reaches for
game
another
thingy they made
handshake,
with Mickey.
and this time they still don't get to shake because Oswald is grabbed by the Blot before they
God,
can.
these cutscenes are so
Whoops.
fucking
These
beautiful.
two scenes in particular are really
The
good at showing
Blob?
off the relationship between
Shut
the
up.
two leads. The ups and downs that they all
Okay.
very natural. There's another scene much earlier on in the game
Sorry.
that not only shows off more of that aspect, but also boasts this game's excellent moments.
Besides
of
the Paul
silent
Rudish version,
storytelling.
this is
When
easily
Mickey
my
first
favorite
meets
design for
Oswald,
Mickey. It's
it
just
doesn't
so
go
solid.
super well, but they all
Yeah.
figure out that they can get back to the real world. in a
Sometimes
rocket
people
that's
remember
in
that
what
Mickey is
essentially
actually a
Disney World
character.
Space Mountain mixed
Yes.
with Disneyland's Tomorrowland.
He's a
The
logo.
only problem is
No,
Not just
no.
the logo.
I hate people that say characters like Mickey or Mario are just a logo. Like,
He is.
no, shut up! God damn it! When they're written well, they can be genuinely really fun characters that are great, that are like enjoyable to watch. But
No.
But so often they just get bogged down for
No.
marketing.
Yeah.
No.
Unlike something like Superman, who just has no personality.
I'm
it's
gonna
just meant to
fucking
be a
kill
s-
you.
a
I'm gonna
sym-
kill
a
you to
symbol
death.
of good.
To death!
True.
I'm killing you!
Actually true.
I'm killing you!
I completely disagree with what I just said because also what's the new Superman show? It's super flipping good.
I need to watch the new
It's
episode.
super good.
Mark
Mr.
has
Good.
fully converted to Supermanism.
Yes, I finally
Yes.
did it! I converted another one!
Listen, man, literally in this last episode that they released, he's like shirtless for like half
my
of it.
God.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
I've been telling Mark and like everybody I know for years that the portrayals of Superman that we often see in like modern media, like in Injustice or the Zack Snyder stuff, is a really, really bad take on the character because it doesn't capture anything about what makes him enjoyable. And
Don't you think
nobody
he's better when
believed me. Nobody believed me until this new show came out.
Don't you think
They
it's
called
better
me-
when he's
Kane believed
Don't you
me
think-
because he already knew. He knew I was right already.
They called me a madman.
Don't you think Superman is better when he's evil? He just works better as an evil character.
True.
True.
Can't go
You're
to
so
the
right
real
about
world
that.
because they
Mark.
don't have
Just
hearts.
continue.
You're so
to-
real.
Part in Wasteland,
Nice.
people remember you. Without
He's so
saying
real for that.
anything, we know exactly what
It's a shame we
Oswald
never
was
got that
thinking.
premise for Epic Mickey
He
3
plans
where
to
it's
steal Mickey's heart. And as
like the
game
people
goes
from
on, you
Wasteland
can
coming
clearly
to the
see Oswald
Toon World. It
warm
would have
up
been
to
really
Mickey
cool
more
to
and
see
more until at the very
how that
end,
would have
when
worked out.
Oswald has the chance to take
Epic
the heart
Mickey
I
for
would have loved to
himself,
see
he
like
hands it
Mickey's
back to
real
Mickey
friends
because he
interact
knows
with
it's the
Oswald's
right thing to
animatronic
do.
ones.
And
Don't
so
say it.
much of that stuff is said without any dialogue too.
Oh,
Oh,
god
damn
damn it.
Respects the hell out of you as a viewer, player, whatever. It never feels cheap, and every emotional moment between Mickey and Oswald feels so earned. And of course, I've mostly been talking about Oswald here, but Mickey himself is probably the best he's ever been in this game. A mistake from his past forces him to confront the less than stellar version of himself from back then as the Mickey he is
This was
now,
a
the
really
Mickey
interesting
we all
premise
know
that I don't
now. It turned a
think
character
they
that had,
developed
over
well
the years,
enough
changed
in
simply to fit
these
a different role
games.
in his shorts,
Especially not
into
in
a
Epic Mickey
character
2
that
where
now
they kind of
had
just drop the premise
long-lasting,
entirely.
actual bona fide character development. He can
where
fall
Mickey's
back
kind
into
of a
that older,
shithead.
mischievous side
Like
of
he was kind of a
himself and indulge
shithead
in it,
in
or he
the
can do
early
what's
shorts.
right and help all the people in Wasteland that he hurt to the best of his ability, which kinda doesn't work super well.
I don't know how
due to
Kane
the
asked to
game's
join in. He's
morality
barely been
system.
saying anything.
We'll get more
Hey,
into
shut
that
the fuck
later,
up.
but At the very least,
Wow.
structurally, the idea is very
I'm here
invested
to
story-wise.
observe.
I
We
actually
have
a
to
little
pick up the
story
slack
when I
for
first
him.
played the game where I
God,
actually went with the
unprofessional
bad route, the
behavior.
thinner route on the
Yeah,
first
I'm sorry for
boss
not saying
because I
much
didn't
either,
have a
it's
full
fine.
grasp on how the game
In hindsight, I
worked
kind of
yet,
wish
and
I had
felt bad
captured
about it
footage of the
after I
Thinner
did.
Path for
It
the
was
Mad
kind of
Doctor fight
poignant
because it is
because the
genuinely
game's
god
themes of
fucking
recognizing
awful.
your
Like
mistakes
that
and
part of
either
the
doing
game
nothing
is
to
such a
fix them
low
or doing doing your best to make up for them. I don't know if that feeling was intentional because
Whenever
well,
I do say
again, we'll
something,
get to
it's
that later.
extremely
Moving
memorable.
on, I want to bring up the real world inspiration
What did
for
you say?
Oswald and
I
Mickey's
forgot.
dynamic in this game. And it's just a little drawing from Walt himself of Mickey waving to Oswald and Oswald
drawing.
looking annoyed. That, what is essentially a doodle, was was basically what set the groundwork for the story of this game, and more importantly, the character writing. Just goes to show that great ideas can come from the simplest of places.
I mean, I do
also
know
genuinely
how Epic
couldn't
Mickey
and
ended up
still
so
kind of
fucked
can't
up, but I
believe
also
how
Epic
well
Mickey
written
2. I
this
mean,
game
I
is.
still
When I was done with my first playthrough, before I had even decided to make this
Man.
video, I was blown away by how invested I was, by how well executed
I'm never making
it
a video
all
on
was.
Epic Mickey 2, by the way,
knew
because
by
I
the
just
game's end, I
have
had to
nothing
talk about
of
it. It's just
kind
such an
to really
outstanding
say about
story
that
I
game.
knew I had to say something,
Yeah,
even though
and you're way
plenty
too
of
busy
other
with the
people
Ratchet and
were
Clank
saying
video.
I'm not making a
I just
Ratchet and Clank
had to get it
video.
out of my system.
I have
You're so
literally
busy.
nothing to say about those
Although,
games.
I feel like I'm still not done.
Like,
I wonder
that hasn't already been said, at least.
Oh,
Man.
right.
Also, can you confirm this actually, Kane? Like in
DuckTales.
Rift
That's right,
Apart,
that's the thing I was
do
forgetting.
you have the
Yeah.
stupid tutorial at the start where you can't move and you have to move the camera, stick around until it lets you move?
Scrooge McDuck Pog. Scrooge McDuck
No.
Pog.
No, you don't have that.
No, because they
Pog?
had that in the movie game, right?
Yes.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't have it in Rift Apart.
I did know that, Elijah. Unfortunately, I did know that. Some of those old Looney Tunes shorts, too.
Oh.
They were rough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
just
no.
call me?
I didn't think that stuff was
Pog?
relevant to the video, but I do know about that stuff.
Yeah, there's some old stuff in Disney cartoons that has not aged well.
Also, fuck you, Mark.
Can I ask you guys a question? You all saw this video. How much did this DuckTales segment blindside you guys?
Very.
It was
much.
funny.
What about you, Neb?
You what?
When you watched the Epic Mickey video originally, how did you respond? Like, what did you immediately think when you saw that I was going to talk about DuckTales? Like, completely unprompted.
I was just confused, man.
I was sitting next to Nebula. He clenched his fist and like
Yeah. Angry
fucking-
man gets it clouded.
destroyed his monitor. Like punched straight through it. He was screaming.
Yeah, and then he just didn't stop. He started punching people and the building and the wall. He was tearing down the wallpaper. He was just obliterating the internal structure of the building. It was insane. Like a werewolf, primal energy came out of him.
Yeah,
I still don't
I am
understand.
alpha.
They called it
I still-
special forces and they pissed their pants.
The sprites for all
God,
the
it's
characters
always
are
the
very
quiet
well
ones, you know.
done. The color
Yeah.
palette
This
was
is
supposed to be
well
Epic
done.
Mickey!
I'm the
Outstanding animation quality, phenomenal
I
lighting,
think I only have like
some
one
really color
thing to
choices.
talk about
God.
with this
That's what you
section,
can
which
do.
was
For real though, this game
I
is
think I just wanted to
gorgeous.
talk
The only
about how
downside
later on
visually
in the
is that it's from
DuckTales
the
segment,
PS3
I
era, so the textures
just
are a little
forgot
low
how
quality,
some of the
but
original
like,
game functioned,
stylistically, though, this is
and
fucking
like
rad.
thought
Oh, wow.
like
It might not
a
look
lot of that
impressive to
new,
some people,
a lot
but
of
knowing
those
that every single frame of movement
things were
for
changes
every
in the
single
remake,
character,
which
and there
they
are a lot of characters in
weren't.
this, had to be done one frame
Oh?
at a time with no tweens.
Maybe
for
you're
all of
used
them
to
is
too
just
used to playing Shovel
mind-blowing
Knight.
for
I
a
had
video
that when I
game.
first played this
There's
game.
a couple of reasons you
no,
don't see this
I
kind of thing that often
barely
in
remember
games.
anything about what I
2D
played of
animation
Shovel
is both
Knight.
very time-consuming
It's
and
Cuphead.
very
I love Shovel
expensive.
Knight.
I think Shovel
Which,
Knight's okay.
For
It's
companies
not
like
like my
Disney
favorite
and
thing ever.
Capcom, they can probably afford to take the hit.
Sure,
I'm
good the
genuinely
game.
impressed by
Favorite
seeing
thing
this kind of thing
ever?
in indie titles like Hollow Knight. It's a hell of an undertaking. And of course, the visuals
Underta-
aren't the only thing this version does better. No, that'd be doing it a disservice, I think. This remake, remaster, whatever the fuck you want to call
Oh,
it,
Celeste
improves
music.
upon just about
Yeah,
every
Celeste.
aspect of the original.
I
There are
come.
various quality of life improvements.
I love
like
the
having
DuckTales
pogo
game. I
on a
wanna play it
separate
again.
button,
It
or
is
small
really
level
good.
design changes that help
I
the
actually
visual
like put it into
balance
my
flow
favorites
better,
on
or having
Steam
multiple
almost immediately
difficulties
after
depending
finishing
on
it the
what you're
first time
comfortable
because I was
with.
just like,
And you
this
didn't
is
think I was gonna forget about this
a
game's stellar
crazy
fucking
good
soundtrack,
2D
did
fucking
you? The
platformer.
original NES versions of
Fun
these
fact,
tracks are pretty
how many of you
solid and
people
very-
knew that there is actually a sequel to the NES version on the NES?
Yeah, I played
There
it.
is.
Yeah.
I have not played it myself, but I do know of its existence, and I've heard it's fairly good.
It's
as well.
okay. I only played it because it's easier than the original. I couldn't beat it without save states, so I played the second one first.
Literally, the only thing I know about that game is like that moon theme.
Oh, it's beautiful. The rest of the music is fantastic too. Like the game just has a legit fantastic soundtrack for an NES game. Like it's so good.
DuckTales was Nebula's
No.
sleeper face. That's great. Elijah also said,
Activated.
"I love how unhinged I can get in these damn streams." I love that too, Elijah. Thank you. The energy is it's both horrible and I love it.
Nebula is like a winter soldier.
Especially if you enjoy
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
all the time like I do, like,
puts on his
holy
metal
shit,
arm.
dude, the remastered
His-
tracks are
his-
on a whole
and
different
instead of
level.
killing Tony
And I
Stark's
know
parents, he
everyone
just
loves the
comes
moon
for
theme,
me.
But my personal favorite track is the Amazon. I
DuckTales,
just
Among
love the
Us,
vibe behind
horror,
it.
horror.
Ah, the music,
Of course, the
it's
moon theme is
so
still
good.
absolutely
The remaster's
fantastic.
music
I'm not even
is
gonna pretend
so
it's not.
fucking good. So good.
But also the original, like still, like
Oh,
the
yeah,
arrangements
yeah,
are
yeah.
fantastic.
I prefer these. I'm not a huge fan of like. I can enjoy chiptune from time to time, but for the most part, I prefer stuff like this.
Oh, I like chiptune a lot and seeing like how all the work that goes into it, like the subtle things they can do to make it sound like fuller with different channels and things. Like, oh, I understand none of it, but it's so interesting.
I'll start hunting it myself.
Although Scrooge and especially Magica sound way older than they used
God,
to.
you
Maybe
can
really tell,
really
it's been a long
tell
time since the original
how much
series
older
for
these
Alan
guys
and
are.
June Foray, respectively.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I had Beetle Boys hide paper.
I think June Foray
scraps to
finally
throw you
passed away
off
recently. That might not be. What?
You almost said finally.
Well, yeah, I didn't mean that in like the, oh, I'm so glad she's dead. I meant like the, like finally as in she was really old and it was expected.
They were both
Right.
talented, and it was
So
nice
what
to
happens
hear
when you
them
don't reach the
even though
top
it was both
before
one of their
Glomgold in
last
this
roles.
section?
You just
by the way?
lose.
On a lighter note, DuckTales
Oh.
Remastered is just
There's no
Oh.
cutscene or anything.
Yeah.
little to nothing.
I think I've only
Aw.
seen it like once
This is a
or
rarity
twice
for
when
me.
playing
Even
through the
for my
game.
favorite game of all time, which I'm not
Aw.
disclosing here for a possible future video, I still have problems.
I remember there was
there was a
there was a secret like hidden ending in the original NES game where if you collect exactly $0, you get a special cutscene of Scrooge like losing all his money and shit.
That'd be really funny.
And I suppose on that note, I
They
should
redistributed his wealth.
Basically.
The Eye of the Storm.
Alright, you caught me. I was 100% stalling with that
You
DuckTales
got me.
reveal.
Somebody
And
in my
I'm not gonna
comments was like,
sugarcoat it.
I
I'm
really
sorry,
liked the
Warren,
video,
if
but
you
I
ever
kind of
see
hate
this.
that you
You
ended it
probably
on a
won't,
sour
but still,
note. And
I know
like,
you're proud of this game, and I'd say you
I
should
appreciate
be,
the nice
but
words, but also
gameplay
that
is
was the
easily
point.
the worst
There was a
part of
reason
it.
why I
And it's
ended the
not
video that way.
terrible
Because as good as
sometimes,
Epic
but
Mickey,
man,
as
does
good as
it
Epic
leave a
Mickey's
lot to be
good parts
desired.
are,
There are
its
some
bad
really
parts
interesting
do
mechanics
tend
here.
to
Paintbrush
overshadow
especially is a
them
genuinely
and
really
hold the
cool
game back.
concept that I feel doesn't
So I figured it was
very
more
well.
poignant
The
to
paintbrush can shoot out both
We had
light
a
and
good
thin.
thing in
One fills things in and the other the opposite. You use paint tools
You.
for three main things: exploration,
your
Your
pride and your
pride and
ego.
your ego.
The problem comes from all three of these things never really evolving past their initial introductions. For puzzle solving, if you see something
I'm
blocking
surprised
your
how few
way,
people
you
have
use
gotten
them to get
mad
rid
at me
of
for
it.
some of
If
my
you see a gear
opinions in
slot
these
or something
games.
like
Like, I
that
only
that's
had like
clearly
3 or
missing
4
something,
comments on
you
the
fill it in
Simpsons
with
video
paint.
be like,
Later
oh,
on,
Modern
you can
Simpsons
get
isn't
items for
bad!
puzzle
You're a
solving.
fucking
This
idiot!
never really gets much deeper either. It
You
almost
have
always
bad
just
opinions,
ends up
Ian.
putting
Well,
you
is
inside
is
a
that
button
such a
and
hot
something
take, though?
happens. For combat, you should
What?
manage to
That Modern Simpsons
paint
is bad?
until
I didn't
you
even say it
die
was
or
bad.
befriend
I
you
said at
respectively,
worst
and
it's
that's
boring.
it. I can think of both one
Oh.
enemy and one enemy
God,
type
that
that somewhat
reminds me like
evoke
this.
this idea,
There's some
but they're
people
both
who just,
kind of annoying
whenever
to
there's like
fight.
critique
The
of
first is one
anything,
block
they
those
will
enemy
actively
types. You
seek
can
it
use paint
out
or
and
thin
then
on
comment
those
on like,
enemies.
oh, it's
Called
not
a
true, it's
slobber, and
stupid.
Yeah, it's-
immediately
I don't
you
get it. I
put
don't
it
get it.
into its open mouth
At
and
what
it's doing
point
this
are they like, oh,
thing.
wait a
Which
minute,
is
a lot of
kind
people are
neat, except
saying
they're
this.
usually
Maybe
very
this is
tempting
not
and
only
can take
fine, but
tools
also
to actually
seems to be the
defeat,
common
which
like
leads to them
opinion
being
on
more
this.
generally
Yeah,
My
irrational.
dad's like
The
that.
second one is just an
Ugh.
entire enemy
What
type.
what
God.
benefit does that give you? It just makes me miserable to like see somebody fucking hate something I love.
Like,
I appreciate hearing other opinions. Like I will listen to somebody who disagrees with me, but somebody who just clearly hates it, as opposed to me, it's like I'm not.
Yeah, it's like, cool, thanks, bye, I have no interest in talking to you.
Yeah.
At one point near the end of the game, you have to fight the Mad Doctor, who I just
That always
realized
pisses
I
me
haven't brought
off
up the whole video. He's
when,
one of
like,
the main antagonists, but
You
he's
say you
barely in
like
the game.
something, oh,
Does not
like this
matter
show is
across
really
the game.
good.
Anyway, you're not
And the
actually
person you're
fighting
saying
him,
that
you're
shit
just
to goes like,
destroying
oh, I
stuff.
hate that
The
show.
problematic part comes
Ugh.
around when you have
I,
to
God.
I try
Now
in
what-
situations like that to go like, oh, it's not for me, but I'm glad you like
to be
it. You
fair, you
know.
only have to do this when
Yeah,
you're
exactly,
but
exactly.
God,
That's a
it's
nicer
still not
attitude to
fun.
take.
Of course, they're not
Imagine
tough,
being
but fair,
a
no
Steven
way,
Universe
and pretty
fan
much
when
everyone
everybody was
else
shitting on
is
Steven
half
Universe.
of the
I could
hip-hop
literally
stuff
not
that are
bring it.
important
I
to
could
God.
not bring
Yeah,
up the
I don't
show
know.
anywhere.
Outside
Everybody would
of
fucking be
their
like,
appearance,
"No,
you
it's
fight
actually
them all
very
the
bad.
same
Have
way.
you seen this
Dodge
video
attack.
yet about why it's bad?" Like,
Yeah!
I just
Oh
fucking,
my
I'm just
God.
watching the show. I just
Is
enjoy it,
is
man. What the
fucking-
fuck?
I don't want to bring them up by name, but I think it's the video. I think it is. I fucking hate
Oh,
that person's
probably.
video so much.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kane is also probably thinking the same person.
To my video?
Yeah, it's your video.
I know
It was
I've
you!
seen it. I've seen it.
God,
Ugh.
just fucking okay.
That would be a plot twist if I turned out to be that person.
Yeah, holy shit.
That would be hilarious. I would give you props for that, actually. Playing the long game.
Kane's been doing the grift the whole time. Holy shit. I wanted to bring this up. This is one of the editing mistakes in the Epic Mickey video. This like little pop that shows up in the
You
audio.
made a
Pretty much every
mistake?
enemy in the
I-
game just have awkward
I hate
hitboxes
you.
with attacks that are annoying to dodge.
Unbelievable.
They're not even that distinct outside of their
Calm down.
appearance. You fight them all the same
Yeah, that little pop. That little pop right there. I don't know what caused that in the audio, but I was so far into the video at this point, like editing,
How dare
that I
you,
decided
as a YouTuber?
I'm not re-recording this. I don't care enough. I'll just make a little gag out of it.
I think people will probably not even have noticed it if you didn't point it out. You know that, right?
It's funny to point it out though.
That is true.
You're not allowed to make mistakes, hey.
And there's always that one person. There's always that one person who's like got a better eye on your video than you ever could, and they notice like every little thing you missed. Fun fact, by the way, there's a reason why in the description of every video I've made so far, I put, if I forgot to talk about something in this video, no I didn't. Because of two things. One, if I did actually forget to talk about it, it probably wasn't worth adding to the video in the first place. And two, I usually don't, even if I did know of it, that probably doesn't mean I care enough to put it in the video if it's not in the video.
No.
There
People
are
just
some
wanna seem
things I
smart.
did miss. There are some small things that I have missed that I would have preferred, like, I would have liked to have in the video, but for the most part, I don't give a shit. What were you
Who
going to
gives
say,
a hoot?
Mark?
I mean, some people just want to be smart about it. Be
I
like,
know.
oh, I always see all these other videos of people saying like, oh, they missed this and they did this wrong. I'm going to do that, but to actual just people on the internet and tell them, hey, you missed this thing that I think is important that you didn't talk about, or this tiny mistake that you made in your video. Like, okay, cool, and you can point it out, but just so many people are like so smug about it. There's no reason for that at all.
Yeah.
Way, dodge,
I never
attack,
miss
shoot
anything.
with thinner, hit weak point, repeat
True.
until dead. And
My work is
finally,
perfect,
onto the last thing
objectively.
You use the brush for, exploration. This is probably the brush's
So
best
right.
use, at least for me, usually because it ties more into the platforming aspect. Which isn't to say that it's all that special, it usually just consists of using thinner to remove hidden walls,
brush
or
is
using paint
really
to create
underdeveloped in
platforms.
this game.
All of this, the combat,
Or I
And
forgot
it's
the
like
spirit
exploration,
thingies.
the
Like,
puzzle solving,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
another
all
thing,
laid
like, you
out.
never need them.
Oh, right. I guess there is one more thing.
The
I
only
forgot
time
they
they're ever
existed.
useful is for
That
combat,
being the
and like I
game's
kept
morality
forgetting
system,
that they were
which to
even
me
a
is
thing.
Epic Mickey's biggest disappointment.
Man.
This is a hard one to talk about because Junction Point had some crazy ambitious ideas for this game, for the morality system especially, that got cut. My favorite cut idea easily being Mickey's physical transformation.
This should have been in the
whether you
game.
did
It's so-
good and
it's
used
kinda
paint
lame
or
that it
did
wasn't.
bad and used thinner.
It's
Not
so
only
cool.
How much damage you're doing to the world if you do bad, but the damage you're doing to yourself. too.
And I
I'm
love
not
the idea of like
necessarily
making
upset
him
that this
be more
particular idea got
sketchy
cut, but the game's
too, like
current
underneath
morality
the ink.
system
It's
has
such a
essentially no
clever
bearing on
visual.
anything and leaves a lot to be
And they
desired.
just
Yeah.
didn't
It
do
barely
it.
affects the gameplay, the visuals, or
Man.
the story in any meaningful way. There's not
Cruel,
even multiple
cruel
endings. The
world,
game will
must I
always
go
treat you like the
on?
good guy at the end, whether you actually did much good or not. And the concept behind the morality system is genuinely really cool, building off of how Mickey as a character in his shorts grew over time. Starting as a little shit who could be jealous, who stole, who could sometimes just be downright mean, to becoming what we all know today, the kind, caring, and wholesome Mickey Mouse. The bad path was meant to be Mickey falling into his old ways, whereas the good
Mickey's just a
path was
grifter.
Mickey
He's pretending to be
continuing
nice.
the
He's
kind
still a
and true
piece of
hero
shit.
we all know him as.
When the
But
cameras
neither
turn
of
off, he
them
just
really
lights a
means
cigarette.
anything
It's like,
in the end,
ah,
since they
these
both lead
fucking
to the
shits, I
same
swear to
way.
God.
I think Epic
Just
Mickey
fucking
got
had it.
off as it is now, at least.
Every day I got closer to snapping.
Not to mention the morality
Snapping?
system is directly tied to how much
Snapping?
you get throughout the
Fuck
game.
you,
It can
Hayden!
lead to some annoying moments where you need one or the other.
I'm Mickey
but you
got
have
that mouse, haha!
significantly
Fuck
less
you, I don't
of
have to
one
sit here and
than
take your
the
shit!
other. Overall, it's
Tron
just
Pete,
kind of a
Tron
mess,
Pete,
and we're
yes,
not even done
based,
yet.
everybody,
There's
Tron
some more
Pete.
I want to talk about with the gameplay.
Tron
but
is so. I
most of it
fucking
isn't
love the
much
Tron
better
movies
off.
so
Things
much.
like
Legacy is
100%
amazing, and if
really
anybody
isn't
says
worth it.
otherwise,
You
you're
have to play the
dead
game from
fucking
start to
wrong.
finish multiple times
Legacy was
to
pretty
do
fun.
it.
Yeah, that's
Or
the only one I've seen,
constant
but it was nice.
backtracking for side
Hey,
quests that
it's
never
me,
really
Mickey.
amount to anything
I really
besides
love
some
the
minor
original
things
movie,
changing
too.
in the final
Although it's a
cutscene of
little-
the game,
it's
or
definitely
when they're
slower
no longer
paced than
side
Legacy
quests and
was.
become mandatory, which is
Oh my
even
God.
I hate
worse
Tron.
by
Yeah,
backtracking and
I
also
don't know if I explained this well enough in the video, but the backtracking is fucking god awful in this game. Like it is, it's like one of the main things that makes me not want to play the game again. Is just how often you have to go through and it wouldn't be that bad if you could just skip going through the fucking little mini level, the 2D sections, which they added in Epic Mickey 2, too little, too fucking late.
Gosh. Yeah, I
Just
remember
straight up
there
feels like
being some
Panic,
missions
or
that you
the
could
2D
only do under
segments based
specific
on old Mickey
circumstances,
shorts
and if
that
those
are cool at
circumstances
first,
were
but
gone
because of that
without having any
fucking
control over it,
backtracking,
you could no
again,
longer do
you have
that
to
and
go
not
through them
get
over
that
and
particular
over.
bit anymore.
Or-
Some were
and I'm
necessary for the
sorry,
good
if you knew
ending.
anything
It
about
was
this
so
game,
annoying.
you knew this was coming.
Like, I would
But the
accidentally
fucking
travel to a new
camera
world and be
is
like, oh, I'm actually gonna
awful.
do this other
I
mission
hate
first,
bringing this
and then
up,
realize, like,
because it's one
oh,
of
I
the
can no
big
longer
things
do this
everyone
mission,
talks about when
even
it
though
comes to
nothing's
this game.
changed.
And
It's
because
just
Warren
bad.
Spector is outspokenly annoyed by it when people bring it up, but man, it's as bad as everyone says
I
it
can't-
is. It's not terrible.
It's genuinely hard to explain with words how bad the camera is in this game. Like it physically feels like it's fighting you a lot of the time. Like it's just not comfortable pretty much the whole game. It's okay in open areas, but the smaller and more cramped it gets, which happens throughout the game as it goes on, it's just kind of it just becomes borderline unusable at times.
At first, but as the game goes on
You're
and the
unusable
environments
at
become more
times.
cramped,
That's true.
you really have to fight the goddamn thing to get it to cooperate with you. And man, I despise talking this negatively about things I like, and yeah, this might surprise you to hear at this point, but I still really like this game.
This is
But I'm
probably one of
sorry,
the
I can't
meanest
in good
meanest
faith
things I've ever
ignore
said
all
about
the
a
things
video
I
coming up.
actively dislike about it. They do really just bring the experience down, which makes me kinda sad. I'd even go as far to say that Epic Mickey is more interesting and fun to talk about than it is to actually play it.
Yeah.
But, like I said earlier, not
That's
everything
probably
about
one of the
game
meaner
is
things I've
terrible,
ever
and
said.
that's
I've
thanks to
said
at
it about a
least two
game in one of
things
my
I haven't
videos
brought
so
up
far.
yet. The first is
Not one of the
that
meanest things I've said
it's
about a
actually
game
really fun a lot of the
with
time.
friends.
It doesn't have the most in-depth
Oh, no.
platforming mechanics.
But
You mean?
It's definitely one of the meanest things I've said about a
But the
game
level
in
design is generally
one of these
challenging
videos so
enough and
far.
fun to jump around on. And it's pretty
This
cool
game is a
how
bunch of
points right
poopy
into your
ass
feet.
dicks.
The
To
other
quote
thing is
Shadow the
boss
Hedgehog,
fights.
I'm an optimist, but
well,
also a
almost
realist.
all of these are
The
genuinely
Silver the Hedgehog, you
good.
fake
I meant to say
fan!
silver, god damn it!
Oh my god. Hand in your Sonic license, hand in your autism diagnosis.
I already like
Fuck
Sonic
Sonic.
Unleashed. I already lost that license ages ago.
You like Sonic Unleashed? Oh my god, based.
I love Sonic Unleashed. It's like my favorite Sonic game, or one of them. at
Yes,
least.
I love you, Hagen.
What's your least favorite Sonic?
Tron's bad, fight me. I'm not gonna fight you, I'm just gonna say you're wrong.
Come over and kiss me on my half mouth.
So anyway, I'm gonna be extremely petty. Lance, ban that guy. Don't actually ban that guy, I'm joking. Ban that guy.
That could be your rage.
Kill that guy.
I think it's a lot
Jarvis,
more
guys
realistic.
ban
hear
that
me?
guy.
It does work in otherwise strange,
No.
not traditionally great
cannot
games
hear
than
this.
what
Fuck
doesn't
you.
work. But sometimes it's just more unavoidable.
I'm not a
than
big
I'd
fan,
like
I
it
just
to
got
be.
Shadow and
I still
Silver's
love this
names
game,
mixed
in fact.
up.
It has
Give me a
lot of
break.
not only good, but genuinely
Yeah,
good
you're not a
stuff
fake
going
fan.
for it, just not the game
You're-
part.
You're just fake in
Also,
general,
before we hit the
Hayden.
end,
You
I guess
hate
I should
Sonic.
say
True.
why
All of
I
my
like to
videos
say the
are
attack
not my
video,
true
which you should
feelings.
fucking watch, by the way, where I
Haha, attack
break
video
down
jokes.
in just that one single vid. That
I
the reason
knew
didn't
nobody
talk
could
about
like
Epic
Tack.
Mickey 2 or the
I think
3DS
we're gonna
game
get
is
through
that,
the Phantom
well,
Batula video
the
pretty
second
quickly
game
because
was
I don't
just
actually have much to
bad
say about that
me. It has
video,
some
like the
improvements
process behind that one.
gameplay-wise, but not enough to really
That
write
video
home
was
about, and
almost
the story
entirely
and
made just
presentation
because I
take a
wanted to,
really big hit in the quality
I
department.
kind of just
I
wanted
hope
to
if
make
they ever
something
make
simple
another Epic
again
Mickey
after
game,
doing
they
this
just
video.
Pretend 2 didn't even happen. I think that'd be
cool.
the best for everyone involved. And as for the 3DS game, I straight up just haven't played
God,
it.
the
It looks
3DS
like a
game, I
worse and
forgot
kind
about
of
this.
It looks
boring version
really
of the original
boring.
Castle
It
of
looks-
Illusion.
yeah.
If
It
you're
is.
playing any
I
version
played
of
the
that, you should
demo.
really
It was
just play
just,
the
it's such
remake
a
for it, which
nothing
improves the
game, and you're
visuals and
constantly
gameplay
interrupted by
similarly
having
to
to use the
DuckTales remake.
touchscreen. Like,
Speaking of
what
which,
is
I would
this?
honestly love to
Just
see a
play the
remake,
Castle
and
of
I mean
Illusion
true
remake. It's much.
remake,
It looks
Resident
much
Evil
better.
2 for
I
Epic
can't say
Mickey.
it
looks-
looks. I can't say it
Basically,
is
not
better
a
because I
remake
haven't
that
played
takes a lot of the game's
the other one,
best
but you know.
ideas, like its phenomenal story
At
and
least it looks
writing,
pretty,
etc.,
and
and
Grant
puts it into
Kirkhope
an
did music
essentially
for it,
new
I think,
game
if I
built
recall
from the
correctly.
ground up.
Oh,
A new
that's
kinda
game that
cool.
properly utilizes the
It's not as
ideas
good as the
original
DuckTales
had instead of those
remake,
ideas
but it's
being
still fun.
half-baked due to time crunch or executive meddling or whatever else happened behind the scenes. But I suppose I should be more realistic and at least hope for a remaster that cleans up this version of the game. Maybe speed up
I don't even think
combat
we're
a
gonna
little
get
bit, and
that. I don't think we're
especially
even
make
gonna
No,
it
we're
get.
not.
We're never
As
seeing
it
this
is
game
now,
get
though,
released
Epic Mickey
again.
was an incredibly
Yeah.
ambitious
Maybe in,
and
like,
a
10 more
clear
years.
passion project for so many of the
At,
the
people
at
Disney World now.
least.
a game that needed more time
It's
in
in
the
the
oven,
Disney
a game
Vault.
that was perfect
Yeah.
in a way that wasn't frustrating enough to call bad.
This was. I knew I used this fucking song again. I knew I used this song at least twice. Buzz Buzz's Prophecy.
If you will.
And that was the Epic
song.
Mickey video. Alright.
What's wrong with using that song twice?
Nothing, I just thought it was funny that I used it twice for the exact
Oh,
same
okay.
purpose. Next up is the Phantom Batula video, which
So,
is much
relatively
shorter.
Recently, a trailer came out
Farting
for Ina
Nebula?
Dream Barbecue, a game based off of Joel G's animated web series, Ina. It's a strange,
Oh, I have to
surreal
check
show
out
that takes
Illusion
heavy
Island at
visual
some point.
inspiration from 90s era internet, 90s
It
era
looks
PC
okay.
operating systems.
I'm
and
really
90s
excited to
era
talk about
PC
the Ina
gaming.
stuff when that
I'm
game
not going
comes
to say
out.
much
It'll
about
probably
it
be
now,
a while
because when
before I
Dream
get to
Barbecue
it.
does come out, I want to
Um,
make a video on not only it, but the
but
entire series as a
and just
whole.
for the fact that
The
it'll
reason
take a
I
long
bring the
time
trailer
just to
up at
talk
all
about
is
all this
because while
stuff,
nothing
but
in it in
also
specific reminded me of the game I plan to talk
I
about
want to play
today,
through the game and
vibe
get
I
my
got
thoughts
while
on it
watching
better
did.
organized
Phantom Batula,
before I get
the
into the
version
script
in
writing
English,
phase.
is a game about a lot of things, and it's probably
But Phantom
going to be one
Batula
of the
is
more
the
depth-ful
actual
games I
topic of this
talk
fucking
about on
video,
channel,
so let's
at
talk about
least for
that.
now. We'll start with the gameplay
remember-
since it's fairly simple.
Mark, you said
and
in the
work our way
comments
up to
that you
parts of
found
game that are
the,
more interesting, for lack of a better
You
word,
found
later.
the wood
You start
area,
the
the
game off
August
with being
area,
given
like
3 vials, courtesy of this
unsettling,
find.
which I find
Just
fascinating.
You're then told that you can
Yeah,
fill
I'll have
these
to see it
vials
again
with various
specifically
different
to
liquids and pour
feel
them
those
into this
emotions
water
again
that
and be able
sits
to
right
describe
beneath
them.
the
But if I
floating
recall
birch tree.
correctly,
What liquid you pour in
it's like a very
determines what ending
calm
you get, and
forest
more
area. It
importantly,
seems like the
what
least
becomes
creepy
the
area of
world
the game, but
around
for
you.
some reason it gives
After
me
you're
very
told all of this, you can
oppressive kind of
leave, and,
vibes. Like if you're
well,
just looking
the
up,
world
like
is your
everything's
oyster
covered
at
in
that
like
point.
leaves
You can
and
talk to a cast of
just
colorful
walking around there
characters, solve
and
their problems,
I don't know,
or
something
murder
about
them,
forests.
whatever's your
It has a very
prerogative.
calm
You
but
can
also
see
kind of
places that
creepy
only belong in
kind
dreams.
of feeling
Some
to
are
them.
in
And
dreams,
specifically
and,
in
of
seeing
course,
it in
you
low
can
poly
decide
in
to
this kind of
fate
game.
this
I think that's kind of a
world.
good way of
Phantom
just describing this whole
Paradise has
game,
9 endings.
if you want to
Some
put
of
it
I
them
simply.
are
suppose
funny,
so.
Some are very
Suppose
meta,
so, but
most
that
of them
specifically
are
that area gave me those
existential.
feelings.
Some
Also,
of the topics covered include the likes
this
of
video
organized
can fit
religion,
so
death,
many
cults,
Silent
and
Hill
immortality.
songs.
And funny enough, my favorite ending isn't any of those ones.
I
It's the
think
meta
besides,
ending,
like,
and
2
almost entirely because
songs,
of its
or maybe
context more
3,
than the actual ending
every
itself,
other song in this
which
is a
isn't to say
Silent
that
Hill
ending
track.
isn't also good.
Boom,
The message
boom,
behind it is
You're a
simple
Silent
but
Hill
poignant.
track.
Live your life. Live in reality and
Um,
don't lose sight
I
of
would-
I
it.
bring this up
As
near the end of the
game
video
puts
that I
it,
could have
it's
gone
not
more into
profound,
depth about
but
the
it's true. Being honest,
I could have
though,
gone
the
more into
lead up
depth
to
about the endings of the game, which thinking about I have a lot to say about them. It's just I say it at the end of this video that I wanted to make something simpler, and I figured this game is fairly short. I can still get what I mostly want to say out on it in a short amount of time. But I think if I was ever to redo this video, it would be significantly longer, because I would love to talk about like everything the game has to offer in depth. But as it is now, I still think this is a good video, a good shorter video on my side. It's the shortest video I think I've made so far, not counting the Gone with the Blast Wave video, which I think is the shortest one on my channel.
Yeah, it's good to have shorter videos every now and then. Like I'm also debating keeping my next video very short, just so I can make something neat and just it's just nice to do. It's
You're
nice for
very
variety.
But
Cool.
yeah, some
The fuck was that?
I feel like some topics don't need to be. The thing is with my videos, I usually test my script in like a sort of website that lets you see how long it, like an estimate of how long it would take with how many words there are, and it's usually off by about 10 minutes for my videos.
I that's funny actually. I've done the math. I've recorded myself many times to see how many words I speak per minute, and I try to use that.
But yeah, usually a script of like a couple thousand, like 4,000-ish pages, around 20 minutes. But I
4,000 words, I presume.
I bring up the length of like a video because I feel it's more important to say what you have to say than try and drag out a point. Like I know that's pretty obvious, an obvious thing to say, but still it is very hard to explain what I'm trying to say right now for some reason. But yeah, I tried. The reason why my videos aren't like as long as some other people who make like opinion pieces like me, like I'm not making H-Bomber Guy video in length anytime soon, most likely, is because while I do have a lot to say about these things, one, I realize a couple of people have told me this, that I talk fairly fast when I'm reading, but also, like I remember actually there was this one outtake from the TAC video that I had shown on the server, like some people couldn't even understand what I was saying because of how fast I was saying it. It was funny.
I always
I want
start
to
way
video
too
essay
fast.
sometimes, but I'm so scared of like I'm fan talking most of the time.
But yeah, part of
Do
why they're
it.
short is
Yeah.
part of why they're shorter is because I talk faster, but also the other part is that I'm only writing what I have to say. Like
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's a good idea to just make an hour-long video on a topic just because I could probably stretch out a video topic to that length, and it wouldn't be a good video, but I could do it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, when people ask me my opinion on stuff, I can like formulate my opinion in 2 sentences, which is why I could never write a video essay because it would just be lengthening that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
always try to think like what kind of video would I like to actually watch, and for me, well,
Yes,
personally,
exactly.
this is different for people, but I like the shorter ones that are about 10 minutes, not too long. It's I like that, just a short little thing, a little peek into what this person thinks, and
Here's the thing.
that's enough for me.
I'm the opposite because I like the longer ones the most.
Well, then make a long one. Talk away.
I do like really long ones, like the fucking 2-hour ones, but I don't like watching them. I like putting them on in the background.
True.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit down to watch a 2-hour video essay.
It
Yeah,
depends on how well edited the video part of the video essay is. Like H-Bomber Guy I brought up earlier, but
yeah, exactly.
his oof video on Tommy Tallarico,
Oh yeah.
that video is amazing. That is top tier.
Damn.
Anyway, let's continue.
That ending interests me
Uh-uh.
more than the statement being made in it. There's something about an NPC in a video game.
This,
knowing
I
they're
remember
in a video
talking
game that
to
really clicks with you
AJ, Mark's
conceptually.
boyfriend, about
And that
I think
NPC
about
doesn't know
this,
they're in a
or
video
just
game
about this
at
topic in
first,
general at
but
some
they
point.
have that inching feeling of dread
And I
before
think
they
you
question
also,
the
Mark,
world
and how
around
it
them.
freaks
You
you
can
the
tell
fuck
while
out.
reading their logs that they're about to
Mhm.
find an earth-shattering
Realizing
discovery
you're in
about
like
their
a
life
simulation.
that no one wants to find
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And as the logs go on,
The
veil gets
Matrix!
lifted
But as I
as they
bring up
start
in this
dreaming
video,
of
I
an
just-
object that's perfectly
It doesn't do anything to
smooth.
me. Like,
Unlike
I
anything
don't
else
have
in the
that
game,
existential
and
fear at
then
all. Like, if
that object
it is
appears in
revealed that the
reality,
world is a simulation
well,
and that I'm
their
just a piece of
reality.
code,
It finally clicks with them that
nothing
their world is
changes.
made out of planes, edges,
life
Yeah.
moves on.
polygons,
It's the
and
same as it
scripts.
always was. It's
And then
just
the
like,
log
oh,
ends.
I'm made of
And
code.
you can't talk to
Okay,
the person
cool.
that wrote the logs. Not that
Yeah,
they probably
I,
have much
Awesome.
to
I guess
say
that
aside
that,
from
that is also
talking about
confirmed
Kratos
by,
soup,
you know, recent
because you
all
killed
that
them.
news and stuff. Like we
It's
talked
mentioned
about
early
this
in
on
the
the
log
Chill
that
Issue
the
podcast.
NPC
Check out
caught
Chill
some
Issue
sort of
podcast.
virus from one
But
of the world
you know,
towns
if it was revealed
leading
that
to the
flipping
era outside
aliens
the
exist
lab
and stuff,
becoming
like life just
deadly.
goes on,
Of
and
course, you
it's
wouldn't
so
know
fun
this,
to
so
see like the
seeing
Yeah.
general
the logs
apathy
instantly
towards
open
this
the
thing.
door
Like,
to
oh
talk
yeah,
to
well,
them,
if they
and
were
they die
actually
on the
real, what
spot,
would change?
and it's your
I don't
fault.
know. They're not gonna help
It's
me
such
pay
a
bills.
specific kind of
Um,
psychological
yeah,
horror
like
fear,
that just
one
seems like the
toys with the
general
idea
attitude
of
that people
life
have
being
now.
a
It's
simulation.
refreshing,
It's not a horror
honestly.
that
I'm
applies
glad
to
people
me
aren't
very much.
panicking or
If the
being
world
like,
is a
"Whoa, this changes
simulation, I'm
everything."
aware
Like,
of that
no,
fact. It's not
not
like much is
really.
gonna change the grand
Actually,
scheme of
it's just
things.
yeah,
I
it's
find
just
to me
another
like-
thing.
fascinating to
It's almost
talk
kind of
about
unfortunate.
actually
Oh, I'm
frightening.
sorry.
And the thing is,
If it was
Phantom
actually
Batula
revealed that
isn't
we
a
live in
horror
a
game,
simulation,
not
it's
per
like,
se
well,
anyway.
my feelings are
Sometimes
real.
it's
My
relaxing
feelings
and calming,
towards the
other
piece of
times
code that
it's
is my
lonely
mom
and
are
cold,
real.
and
Yeah.
sometimes,
I guess,
yes,
unless
who
we're
gives a
fake
shit?
or
straight up
something, that we're
unnerving.
real
Yeah,
enough
no,
for us
but-
to
but-
mean something.
Yeah, it's real to me, and that's all that matters.
It's
And
Yeah.
don't
generally
worry, there are
pretty
no
rude
jump
to
scares
assume
in
that
this
the
game
people you're
or in
talking
this
to are
video. I
fake.
wouldn't do that kind of thing. I find jump scares like
guess.
jump
They're
tracks and sitcoms
I hate
as
you
a
guys.
tactic to get you to feel
Not
a
real.
certain way.
I,
That's why
um,
most of my favorite horror games
I am
don't
the
have
only
them, and the
playable
ones that do
character.
usually have
Everybody
them
else is
so
an
I am the
NPC.
main
when it's
character.
scary.
I am Alpha.
That's not really relevant to Phantom Batula. I just
That
wanted
line
to-
from
Let's talk about
that
the
line
aesthetics
from
of
Men in
this game
Black
for a second.
about how
They
like
take
people
pretty clear
panic
inspiration
is
from
kind of
classic
not aged
PlayStation
super well, but
graphics.
also I still
Games
think
like
it's a
the
really
original
good line
Silent
where
Hill, Siphon Filter, or
the line
maybe
is
even
a
Edgar
person
Wright.
is smart but
Also, I
people are
want to make it clear
stupid.
that I'm not saying Phantom
Like-
Batula took cues from those specific games.
I don't know.
I don't really
It's-
know
I
what
think it's
exact
still
games
fairly
the creator
poignant.
Bryce Butcher took from
But
Yeah, I
also,
feel like-
like,
I feel like it
I don't
applies
feel
to some
people would panic
situations.
if aliens were on Earth with us anymore,
specifically.
which they're not, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't believe that shit. It's insane.
So that was the
Real,
location, like the forest with the little church. That is the one that made me feel like, it kind of feels like you're underwater, like
This was a
walking on
really
the
cool
seafloor.
stylistic choice that I think helps sell the games more
Gives me
surreal.
Is
those
it because
kind
of
of
the
vibes.
like God rays,
The thing
maybe?
that early 3D
Yeah,
graphics
and
have
just like the
will
very,
forever
there's
have
just a
is how they
ceiling,
force you to fill in the
and it
gaps
shouldn't
in
it
your own
shouldn't be an
mind.
actual
This
ceiling.
aspect
Like
of
you have
really
no
cool
idea what's
gaming
outside of the
related horror
forest or
games,
what's up there. You
especially
can't even
back
see the
then, is
sky.
something I
It's
think
just
older horror titles will always have over modern
You can
horror.
see
know.
this.
Your brain will always come up with something scary.
Bro, you're a homo sapien?
with little detail over something
Thank
that
you.
has so much detail that you can tell
Happy
exactly
Pride
what it is you're looking at. Your brain knows what scares you best, after all. And while Phantom Batula isn't going for scares for the most part, that aspect also comes into play with surreal, abstract ideas too.
Guys,
Look at this
Fingor.
thing. What is this?
Fingor.
What is this? And this?
Scrupulous
These
Fingor.
designs on their own are really good, but are helped by that aforementioned choice of style for the
Phantom
reasons I
Batula is such
hopefully
a
explained
fascinating
well.
looking
And of
game,
course,
just
all
like
this stuff is wrapped
visually
up
on
very
its own.
nicely with a small but notable soundtrack
No.
by Simone Peltier. The OST doesn't have many tracks in it. Hell, most of the game is either silent or uses ambient sounds, but what is there really goes a long way for the game's
Forest.
atmosphere and
I actually,
tone. Some are calming.
something annoying about this music is that I couldn't find louder
Some have
versions
this
of it. Like
strange
this,
sense of nostalgia to them, almost akin
the
to
official
feeling you
releases
get
for
while
these are
listening to some of
quieter,
Akira
and
Yamaoka's
because of the way
work.
OBS works, I'd have to make an entire new track just to get the audio for the music to be louder.
And some
Not
are-
OBS,
well, some are
fucking-
unsettling.
Vegas.
Sony Vegas.
Yeah.
Alright, I think it's time we end this one off, everybody. Phantom Batula is a really fascinating little experience, and I mean little. This is the only video on my channel so far where I was able to record footage for
I
it
should
in
play it.
one sitting. It's that
It's
short.
it's
That's not a
an
detriment
interesting
in any
game,
way,
and it's
while
very
you may
cheap.
I also
and
wanna
also
play
very
Yume
short.
Nikki, it looks
Long,
very
it will
cool too.
probably
Oh,
stick
I
with
love
you and stay in your
Yume Nikki.
head much
I'd love to
longer.
make a make a video
And,
on that
yeah,
someday,
there's
but
more
I
I
feel
can
like I'm
talk
not
about before
qualified to
wrapping
talk
this
about
up,
some of the
too.
subjects
I
in
could give
that.
my 2 cents on more of the endings.
No.
I could go more in depth about some
Do
of the
it.
interactions in the game, but to tell you the
Maybe
truth,
someday,
Quote yourself,
but not
just
today.
do it.
don't want to. We'd be here all day, and I made this as a sort of reprieve from the Epic Mickey video, which was just exhausting to put together. And I don't need nor want to make another big essay like that for a while. Not to mention, while I have my own takes on a lot of the ideas brought up in the game and don't mind talking about them, I think it'd be more fun and more meaningful for you if you play the game yourself. Come to your own conclusions, figure out the puzzles on your own, see the weird locations and people this game has to offer. And who knows, maybe someday I'll go more in depth in the endings in a stream, or hey, I'm on a podcast now, I might bring it up there, you should check that out. I probably
Wink.
won't, but, you know,
Uh,
and with all that said...
What?
That podcast fucking sucks, by the
True.
way.
Oh my
I've
god!
listened- Oh, wait,
Drew!
wait. Everybody, wait.
Oh, hey, I forgot to tell people to watch my fucking tack video.
There we go. Right.
The
Oh my
Simpsons
God.
and Futurama.
Simpson time.
What's there to say that hasn't
Homer.
been said already?
Oh,
Both
this
of them,
video is
when in
good.
their prime, were
Actually, it was
unmatched in
bad.
their
I hate
quality.
it.
I actually have a couple of problems with this video. There's some things that I said in it that I kind of regret saying. And I'm still iffy on whether I did the right thing by, like, explaining the plot of both the episode and the comic, because I feel like at some point I start to turn into the nostalgia critic, where I'm just saying like a summary of the plot and not actually adding anything. People have told me that that's not the case with the video, but I still get that vibe sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that's probably not
I
much to say, but yeah, I did not catch that vibe at all.
If you're conscious of that, that's probably not the case then.
Yeah, that's fair.
And man, have I got some history with these shows. More so with one than the other, but we'll get to that. Let's start with The Simpsons, which as a kid I liked well enough. I had some
I love
merchandise
both of
and I
these
watched the
shows
show
so
almost
much,
every
by the
Sunday
way.
night, but to tell you the truth, I didn't start watching the classic episodes until I want to say about 2, maybe 3 years ago.
I don't really
I had
know
seen
either
some
of
of The
these
Simpsons
shows.
Golden
That's
Age
fair.
growing up. I
Same.
had a couple of VHS tapes of those years,
seen
and
bits
man, I
of
loved them
each.
to death.
I
but it took until
watched a
adulthood
few
for me to
Simpsons
finally dive
episodes
into
back
those
in the day,
seasons
but it's
fully.
not like
And I can't help
Yeah,
but
same.
beat myself over it because god damn were people not lying. The original era of The Simpsons is something really special. It was subversive, it was heartfelt, and most importantly, it was really fucking funny. Look, at the end of the day, modern Simpsons is at best mildly
I'm gonna
amusing
throw it out there
and at
again.
worst
If anybody
really
has any
boring.
questions, that
But
includes my co-host,
inoffensive,
feel free
I
to
guess.
ask.
Those original seasons, though, man.
was your favorite
it's no
Simpson?
wonder people rant and rave about them to this day.
Like my
Or
favorite
that people
Simpsons
can
character
recite
or my
so many of
favorite
these
Simpson?
jokes and moments like the back of their
Favorite
hands.
Simpson.
They really stick with
Homer.
you. It's just that well written.
Cool.
And I am happy to call myself a
I hate
big
him.
fan now. I'd say I was a fan since childhood, don't get me wrong, but not a super fan.
You
now.
love this guy?
was
I
mostly
hate him.
casually into it, but now
I know,
can't get
I know.
enough of
We
Simpsons
literally
Golden
made fun of
Age.
this
It's
before, but like
undeniably,
the character of
unequivocally
Homer, I
good.
just find him like
And then
maybe because I'm
there's
only used to
Futurama,
seeing the
and I have
movie and some of the
nothing but
probably
accolades to
later
say for
episodes,
this
but I
show.
just
Unlike the
I don't get
Simpsons,
it, man.
I've
He's
been
just a
huge fan of
dick.
its sci-fi cousin since a pretty young
Mark,
age.
Superman.
I was obsessed.
Okay.
I
He's a
still
lovely
am
dick, though.
obsessed.
True.
I
It's
could
probably
put an
dead. It's
episode
probably
on
dead,
I've seen
huh?
a million
Yeah.
times and still enjoy
You
it.
haven't.
And
that's
there's
deserved
a reason
media.
why Homer is a bigger dick in the movie than he is in the show. It's to really sell the point Homer.
Yeah.
Point Homer.
Homosexual.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I believe you.
I've seen every
doesn't.
episode more times than I can count, and I
God,
couldn't
Futurama
and
is
can't get sick
so
of it.
good.
To say Futurama is one of my favorite shows ever would be quite possibly
Did you
one of
also
the
like you
biggest
show some of the comic
understatements
book
in all of
later? Do you
human
actually own those
history.
physically?
And with how long
I
both
own
of these
the
shows
book
are
that
by
I
both
talked
of their
about,
fan
the,
bases,
the
of which
compilation
there's most likely
of
a
both
lot
issues.
of overlap. It's a wonder
Oh,
it
okay,
took
so it
long
just has
for
all
it
of
to be
them
a
there.
crossover
Yeah,
episode.
and it has a
It
bunch of-
took so long, in fact.
I guess I'll spoil them now, but some of the other additions are there's the comic that Fry is reading at the beginning of the first issue. That's included as an actual full issue. And then later on, there's another issue that's based off of an episode of the Simpsons where Homer trips out and like sees a coyote played by what's his name, Johnny Cash. And then Chief Wiggum goes on the same trip, and it's a fun little like coincide to that episode.
Neat.
And there's a lot of like really cool concept art and panel layouts and like thumbnails for the comics themselves and like the back of the book. There's the cover art for all the issues and like variant covers and stuff. It's an amazing compilation. It's one of the best
Futurama
I've
was
ever seen
canceled
for a comic.
Twice, but in 2014,
And it's one of the times
fans
that
both
it's one of the
series
few
finally got
times
the
that color
crossover
changes
of
have
our
been made on a
dreams.
comic
Or
that
so
I
we
actually
thought,
think look better.
until we watched it. Okay, look, I'm not gonna speak for anyone else, but man, this episode, Simsorama, is so disappointing, both back
This
when it
episode
aired
is so
and now when
boring.
rewatching.
It was
The
actually
potential was
really
there,
hard to
but
write
it just wasn't
about
met.
this part
I
of the
suppose
video
before I get
because
into my
it's just,
major
like,
gripes, though, I should
such a
explain the plot of the
nothing
episode, a bit,
episode.
in case you haven't seen it or haven't seen it in a while.
Like
Okay,
I even say
so
it later
we're-
in the video that like at worst The Simpsons is just boring, and yeah, while there are things to like gripe about in this, the worst sin it commits is that it's just boring to watch. Like it's got really nothing going for it. And which is such a shame for a crossover that was like fucking 15 to 20 years in the making. And it ended up like this. So you know.
Springfield Elementary, and Principal Skinner is getting the kids in Bart's class to put items in a time capsule. Nelson puts in a photo of his dad, Milhouse puts in a rabbit's foot, and Bart puts in a half-eaten sandwich that he spits into? Sneezes into? I'm not entirely
He blows a raspberry. I get it. You guys, I don't need to be kept getting told this. I actually had to update my pinned comment on the
You,
video.
you didn't
and
know
do-
that? Oh my.
No, because it doesn't sound like
Wow.
that. It doesn't, or like it's, or actually, it's not him blowing a raspberry. It's him like blowing his nose into it, but it doesn't sound like that. Like the sound they use for it doesn't. It's not what blowing your nose into anything sounds like.
Yeah, also your nose wouldn't be like sticking through him if you were blowing your nose into something. Your nose isn't visible when you blow your nose into a tissue.
Yeah, it's. But
Sure
people
what he
kept
does here.
fucking
It just
commenting
sounds
about
like he's
this.
blowing a raspberry into it, which if that's a thing kids did or do to food as a joke, I've never seen it before, and it just kind of left me confused.
Autism
Whatever.
moment. That's
After
probably
that,
what this
they bury
was,
it
but
underground
whatever.
in some toxic waste, and then Bart goes home to watch TV with the rest of the family.
Stop
One
having
bender
autism
bending
then.
Rodriguez
Jesus.
then falls from the sky, and one
Oh
of the
yeah,
two
you know
only
what? You're
jokes
right.
that made me
Autism
laugh happens
speaks.
here.
You're so right.
That was it.
Yeah.
Space junk falling out of orbit. Remember
Zoinks.
when this country didn't suck? Cause I don't.
I
Somebody
can't
got mad that I thought that joke was funny, and like, let me qualify by what I meant by funny. I don't think there's a single joke in this that really made me laugh out loud. I think that joke just made me giggle in the moment. But somebody in the comments was like, "That joke made you laugh?" Like, yeah, bitch, that joke made me laugh. Fuck you.
Are you not
you
a patriot?
I can remember what the other joke was, and rewatching to check, I didn't laugh again, so that's a great sign.
Watching
for
the
the
old
rest of this
episodes
episode.
and
After
then
that,
listening
Homer
to
and
Bart
Bender
in this
dick around
episode,
for a little while,
it really
which
makes
is
you
kind of
realize how much
entertaining, I
older
guess.
Nancy
Finally, the
Cartwright
plot
is
decides
playing
to actually
Bart.
start about 7 minutes
Doesn't even
into
sound
this
like the same
22-minute
character
episode, and
anymore.
one of those minutes is wasted on a couch gag that goes on for longer than it should.
couch gag is
And you know,
weird.
I'd be more okay with that if those first couple minutes were at least funnier than they were, but instead
I
I'm
don't-
kind of just left watching the time tick down on the rest of the episode out of boredom.
I don't-
So anyway, Lisa takes Bender to
I don't
Professor
understand
Frank to
most
have
of the
him
couch
examined,
gags.
and
They
it's
never
revealed
quite
that Bender
make
was
me
actually
laugh
sent back
or
from the
anything.
future
They're
to
just
kill
like,
Homer.
okay,
Well,
that's
they're
After
something,
the
I
usually
don't know.
bonding,
cute.
previously, he
They're just
can't
like
bring
cute
himself
little
to do
things.
it.
They're not
So
trying to
yeah,
make you
I
laugh
suppose
out
it's unfair
loud.
to imply that the previous couple minutes before the scene were a total waste. They did build up Bender and Homer's relationship a little bit, so those moments do actually serve the story.
theme song.
But at the same time, I don't think there's
You're gonna
any
get
way
copyright
executed
claim,
that
dude.
well, partially because of how quickly we have to rush through
'Cause
it all.
it's so good.
Weird. The beginning
Yeah,
of this
it's
episode
just-
somehow
I mean,
manages
that was
to feel
just the
both
theme
too
song. I didn't
slow-paced
hear
and
anything
boring,
different there.
but also too fast-paced at the same time, and it's just a bit messy. But whatever.
Rayman
Both
Legends
casts are
mu-
finally
Rayman Origins
introduced to
music,
each other,
sorry.
and the crossover can start proper.
What?
Because Bender won't kill Homer, Professor Farnsworth
I'm
sends
playing-
back
there's
Fry,
Rayman Origins
himself,
music
and
playing in the
Leela to do
background.
it instead.
Oh,
Right.
oh,
Also, the reason they want Homer
I'm
dead
happy
so
to say,
bad
by
is
the way,
because
we're
of these
2 for
evil
2 on the
mutant rabbit
Futurama
things that are wreaking
revival.
havoc in
Like, so
New
far,
York that
both
share his
episodes have been
DNA.
very,
and they think
very
that by
good.
killing him in the past, the creatures won't exist.
I don't know if
in the
they're.
future.
I would say
And
they're
as a little tangent,
as
real
clo-
quick,
they're close
this
to the
threat
original
sucks
run.
and is boring and is so small in scale that
Or-
it feels like a weaker episode of
but,
the later seasons of
Rick and
Futurama,
Morty.
or a really weak Treehouse of Horror segment more than an actually exciting threat for a big
Pickles.
crossover episode that fans have been wanting for nearly 15 or so years at that point.
so random
But
of
whatever,
you to
it's
say
fine.
that.
Let's move on. So as the characters try to figure out who caused the problem, and you and I are rolling our eyes because they practically told us at the beginning of the episode, the creatures mutate even further, resembling the true culprit, one Bart Simpson. Who could have seen that coming? Maybe I'm being too mean, but I'm desperately trying to get enjoyment out of an otherwise really boring episode that outside of this plot recap, I have barely anything to say about. Let me speed this along so I can get to what I really want to talk about here. Once everyone figures out how the creatures came to be in the first place, they try to destroy the time capsule, but are then interrupted by the aforementioned creatures who destroyed the time machine that sent the Futurama characters to Springfield, which for some reason sends the Futurama gang alongside the Simpsons family back to the future. Look,
needs
don't
to
just
happen?
don't worry about it. Once there, they come up with a plan to get rid of the creatures in the future, and that's kind of that. There were like no stakes in this episode at all. Also, with that recap out of the way now, there's some more specific things I want to bring up. First thing is, and most major thing is, the crossover element is so poorly executed, it's almost impressive. Part of what makes crossovers fun is the characters interacting with each other and their respective worlds, bringing in perspectives that coincide with or go against the other property's characters' perspectives.
Damn, you got
or
him
hey,
there.
maybe even just sly
Yeah,
references to
wow.
one
I'm
another.
just
Anything.
argument
But they
destroyed.
don't even do that.
Yeah.
The characters barely talk to each other. Hell,
no
I don't even
coming
know
back
why
from
Fry
that.
and Leela are here. They don't.
What
do
would you say is a
anything
better
for most
example
of
of
the
a
episode.
crossover
Bender gets
thing
the
that you
most
liked?
attention,
A
sort of.
better example? You already know what I'm about to say.
I probably do. Probably some part of my brain remembers. I don't.
When the nostalgia critic met the AVGN.
True. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
True.
baby.
I think one of the best examples I've seen of like a crossover is probably Lego Dimensions, which
Oh, right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
nobody's surprised by that answer. I don't think.
No, I wasn't thinking of like an actual. I mean, that game is just nothing but a crossover. I was meaning
Yeah.
more like a show where they have like a crossover where someone else shows up or.
Fuck you, motorcycle.
Oh shit,
That's
I got
very
dizzy. Like,
rude.
what the
I-
fuck happened? Oh help.
I
Oh.
kind of don't know. Like I don't tend to think about Oh, the Sonic X Mega Man crossover comics were really good, but like a TV show.
Yes.
I'm kind of
the first
struggling
one
to
then.
think. The first one was really good. The second one was okay. It was kind of boring
Yeah.
and padded out, but you know. I'm trying really hard to think about like what you're talking about, but I can't think. I can't think of a good example off the top of my head. Oh well.
They usually only do that with live action shows.
Yeah.
It's mostly in the first part of the episode, but once the family goes to New York in the future without Bender and Maggie,
the
he's just left
Minecraft
alone outside of a
Adventure
cutaway
Time
gag until the end of the
crossover.
episode. And it really
So good.
stings because
That
there's
episode was
so
actually
much
unironically
interaction
pretty
potential, not just
enjoyable.
with the main cast of both
It was.
shows,
Actually,
but also the
there was
secondary
also a
characters and
Minecraft
even the
bit in
tertiary
Rick and
characters
Morty.
too. But they just do
That joke
barely
was
any
funny,
of the
though.
crossover, and it's
That was
Yeah.
kind of funny.
As
Is this game popular with autistic people? Why would you say that? Because I'm starting to love it.
That's kind of funny.
It's
you can probably
It's a
tell,
good
I
bit.
don't have much nice
God
to say
damn
about
it!
this episode, and that's without trying to dissect
Huh?
the jokes, which I'd struggle
said
to do
it.
because
I
the most
said
I
it
can say
again.
about them is that they're boring.
No, it's only
Although,
funny when you
real
say it
quick,
about your
the
own
Seymour
bits.
joke, just kind of lame. It
you.
undercuts one of the most emotional and powerful episodes of
Oops,
Futurama.
I
It's not a
did
huge
it
deal, but it's just... Anyway, before I get into the real meat and potatoes, I do want to try and say something genuine and nice about this
potatoes.
episode. While I don't think it's executed as well as I'd want it to be, Homer and Bender's relationship is the best part of the episode. And the moment at the end where Homer gives Bender some beer while he's in sleep mode for 1,000 years is genuinely sweet and charming. With all that said, it genuinely blows my mind how this turned out the way it did when the groundwork was already set for a good Futurama/Simpsons crossover. One with proper scale and scope,
should've
one
just
that
made,
has
like, a
really
special
fun
out of
character
this
interactions,
crossover.
and one that respects both source materials exceedingly
They
well.
still might.
And its
They
first
should've
part
just
was
cancelled
released
both
in
shows.
2002, a little after the Simpsons heyday, sure,
Greenlit
but
all
also
of
during
my
Futurama's
ideas.
best years, undoubtedly. Crossover Crisis, unlike Simsorama, starts with
Like
the
Indiana
Futurama cast
Jones.
in a plot that feels like a Futurama episode. The Planet Express crew is on a delivery to a giant living planet that's also a huge nerd, literally and metaphorically. His moons are essentially shelves that he keeps all of his nerd shit on, like he has a moon for action figures and so on, you get the picture. They're delivering
That's
their
Kane.
cargo to his comic book moon, which of
They made
course
a
comic.
contains
Yeah.
a
They
bunch
put
of
him in a
comics,
comic.
most notably including Simpsons comics, so that they can be encased in liquid
Oh, that
diamond
comic
to
is
stay
also
made
included
forever.
as a real
If you've
comic
never
in the,
watched Futurama
Oh, no, that's the
before,
comic I was
promise
talking about,
you,
never mind.
this is just
My
pretty
bad.
standard affair for this show. Once they get to the moon, they're all zapped by a pretty familiar villain of the show, the Brain Spawn. Leela and Bender become really dumb because of that aforementioned zapping, but of course if you know your Futurama
It's
lore, you'd
interesting-
remember that Fry is unaffected because he's
Because
lacking
none of
the
you
Delta
guys have really watched
brainwave,
these
something
shows,
he doesn't
right? Like,
have
what
due
is
to doing
what is
the
this video
nasty
like
in
for
the
you
pasty.
guys?
I did do
Having
the
never
nasty
watched
in the
it.
pasty.
Verily.
I
Fry
did
then
get the
attacks the
gist.
brain spawn, which
I've
makes
watched
them
a
lose
little bit of them.
concentration, allowing Leela and Bender
It's
to not be
interesting.
stupid
Also,
anymore.
particularly, like, this
Unfortunately
is
for all
something I
three
want to
of them,
bring
the
up.
brain spawn pull out their old trick of being able to
When you're
hurt
doing a
people with the works of
crossover,
literature.
and
And
it's very
unfortunately
difficult
for the
to
brain
go
spawn,
in
there are
depth
no works
with
of
all these
literature
characters
here,
because you can't
just
assume
dumb,
you can't assume that
stupid,
somebody knows
dumb,
both
dumb
shows
comic
super
books.
well.
The most
But
base
it will
ones
work.
assume that you
And
do.
of course, we can't do a comic parody
Yeah,
without parodying
it's
one of the most
that's
famous
the problem.
of all
Like
time, the
I
insult
get
that
maybe
made a
that's
man
why
out
they
of
made
Mag.
the
This isn't
TV
of much
special
note,
so
honestly, how it's only
dull
one
because they
page,
couldn't
but it's a
really
cute
do
reference
much.
that
But
doesn't
no,
overstay its
that's no
welcome,
excuse,
and
of
it
course.
helps
But like
push
this
the plot
comic
forward
really
in a
goes into
natural
detail with
way.
all the
Anyway,
like
after Fry
details
gets
of the
Fluff and
characters and
previously
callbacks
mentioned
and
Perry, he beats
references
up
and
the
all
brain spawn,
that.
trapping him there, which leads to him, Leela, and
And
Bender
I wonder if
escaping
it's
the
still
comic.
like
Before the
accessible
brain
to
spawn can
newcomers
counterattack,
at all,
Bender
or
pulls out
I
a
don't know.
spoiler ray? You know,
The
saying
thing with
all
that,
this
though,
out
is,
loud
like,
has made me realize
I
just
question
how
why
weird
you would
Futurama
even
really
make
is. Like, you already know
a,
that fact when watching the show, but it just kind of becomes a subconscious
Like, why would
thought
you
after
even make
while
a
that you just shove
crossover
deep down.
if you don't
But when
if you
actually
s-
explaining
while
the plot
assuming
of an
that
episode,
people
shit can
haven't
go off
seen
the rails
both?
really quickly without you
Well,
even
that's the thing. Like
noticing.
somebody
God,
who
what
is
a
like
good
a super
show.
big Simpsons
Back to where
fan
we
but has
were,
never given
Bender shoots the
Futurama a
brains with
try,
spoiler ray,
still
and they
watches
reveal that
Simpsons,
they
and then
created a
oh, the
false collector's
crossover
market
episode
to trick the
appears, and
universe
then
into sealing
you're
all
getting
their
a first
comics,
impression
then
of this
eventually
other
all
thing that you've
books,
never
and then
seen.
finally
But
all
alternatively,
arts
in my
liquid
opinion,
diamonds so
and
that all
very
other species will
rudely,
become dumb enough
those
to
people
conquer.
can get
The brain spawn
fucked.
then show off their army, and Fry accidentally leads the
I
rest of the
disagree
Planet
with that.
Express
I think
crew
through
sent to their
crossovers I've been
location.
exposed to
They
like
are
some
not too
media that I
happy
later
about it.
found
And
interesting,
finally,
thinking like,
with the
oh,
entire
actually
Planet
that's
Express
kind
crew
of
in one
cool.
place,
But
the
if
brain
my
spawn
first
sent them all
impression
into
was,
the
hey, I
Simpsons
have
comic
no
book,
idea
and
what's
the
going on, and
crossover
they're just
finally
expecting me
gets
to go
started.
along with it,
You may have
that's
noticed
not
that
a
it took
very
little while
great
to get
first
to this
impression.
point, which is something I brought up as
Well,
a complaint.
to me, that
trying
was
to be a
just
first
like
impression,
But the
though.
difference here is
It
that
should
on
be
It was
my
just
first
like-
I know it's
impression,
not
this setup
trying,
was
but
much
it's still a
better
thing that
executed and
has
much more
happened to me
interesting.
personally.
It feels
That's
to me,
fair.
that would just
natural,
entice me to
feels
watch the
better
other
paced,
thing as
and it has
well,
the benefit of being
honestly.
the more
Yeah.
friendly
To me,
to the
not.
series
If it's
and
if
also
it's too
being
complex, if
fucking
it seems like too
funny.
intimidating,
The
like,
thing
oh, I
didn't
need to
bring
watch
up
like
with
hundreds of
Futurama is that
episodes
it
to
kind
even
of
catch
fucks up
up.
the fact that the
That's
Simpsons
Futurama.
seems to be much more grounded
And if like all the
than
jokes
Futurama.
are
Sure, there were
callbacks,
some
so I don't
out
get
there
them,
moments
and
that
I'm
kinda
not
treat
laughing
us
at it,
horror.
and I don't think
Obviously,
it's
those
funny,
episodes
then
aren't canon,
yeah.
like Homer going to space, but for the most part, The Simpsons is much more grounded in reality. Whereas Futurama is a sci-fi epic that plays with its rules a lot more loosey-goosey. It makes more sense for Futurama to be the base of
Can
this
you tell that
crossover
I'm
more so than
white?
The Simpsons as the base. It leads to a crossover.
And
that
you're
makes
white!
more
And you know what we
sense,
say?
One that gets
Fuck
to and explains
Whitey!
the crossover element far more naturally than the episode crossover did.
I've said that
Amen.
Here I
so
am
many
with all this
times in the
praise so far, and I
podcast.
haven't even gotten to
Sure
the
have.
fucking crossover yet. So let's get to that. Once inside the comic, this is where things get
Oh, this song
really
is from,
good. Due to the
oh, well,
effects the
this one's
Brainspawn
from
have on
Donkey
everyone
Kong
except Fry
Country
and Nibbler, they
Returns,
start to
I
lose their
think?
memories. Nibbler attempts to
yeah.
keep them intact, but then gets crushed by Mayor Kirby.
I actually don't know.
This leads to everyone getting split up and
Hold on,
Fry
let me
having
turn
to
it
go
up.
searching
Vote
for them
Quimby.
while Nibbler tries to break the liquid diamond seal in the comic that the Brainspawn have trapped them in. It's from here on that we get various cutaways of the Planet Express crew interacting with the various members of the Simpsons
That's Mario
family,
Galaxy.
and Professor
Oh,
Frank,
right.
and Mr. Burns'
Whoops.
Yeah.
brothers. Bender,
Look,
Bart,
oh,
and
this-
Homer, which is funnily
look,
enough
this is
something
Yoshi's,
both crossovers
Galaxy.
share,
Oh,
although
that
it's a
reminds
lot
me.
better
For
here.
anybody interested in the music I use in my videos, if you ever just want to listen to like a track, I have a playlist made called Track List, which is every video or every song I have used in all of my videos in chronological order. So if any of you want to look up a specific track, that is probably the best place to find it. Or if you just want to listen to the music I
Leela
used
gets
outside
along
for
with
some reason as
Lisa,
a
and I only
playlist,
just
which will
now
be one of
realized
the
how
most
similar their names
frantic
are and how that
playlists
fact
you
might result
probably
in
ever
word
listened
salad
to.
later for me while both writing and reading this script. Oh, also Lisa, fuck me. Oh, also
That fucking mistake, man. I can't believe the timing, too. Like, immediately after the last thing I said. Nightmare.
Leela beats up some children, so that's pretty funny. Hermes and Zoidberg are paired up with Burns and Smithers, which results in some fun physical comedy, but this pairing is really more a means to an end for the plot than anything. It still works well enough, though. And Fry is of course paired up with Bart, because who else? Professor Farnsworth is first paired with Grandpa Simpson, but not for long. He's really more paired with Professor Frank, which makes sense. Another thing shared with the episode crossover, come to think of it. And lastly, Nibbler, with Marge and Maggie.
I wonder if
it's
they
a bit
took
of a
some
weird one, but they
inspiration
make
from
it
the
work pretty
comic
well.
for the
With Maggie
crossover,
especially, since
with,
they both have this
like,
little
some of the
rivalry
things
with
that
each
they
other over
share.
who's
But they're so
cuter.
also
Oh,
dissimilar.
right. Also,
that
Willie
I-
and Scruffy are paired together,
it's
which they
completely
don't do
possible
much
it's
of
just
anything with, because
coincidence.
let's be real here, both of these characters have always just been kind of background jokes more than actual characters in both shows.
I
With all
wonder
that
if
said,
my
it's now up to
co-hosts
Fry
are
to team up
tired.
with Bart, which he fails to do at first, so
Your
that he can help
mom.
him find the rest of his friends and find a way
Man,
to escape the
I'm just
comic.
vibing.
Once teamed up though, and riding hovering skateboards thanks to
Shut up,
some
I'm trying to
sci-fi
watch,
gum,
Ian.
don't ask, they head back to
It's
the
just funny
Simpsons
been
house.
watching the energy of the stream go from like everybody was laughing and loud as shit at the beginning, and now everybody's like significantly more quiet, except for
Bruh.
me, who's like completely
Oh, not
unaffected
me.
by this. Well, yeah, you're
Not
you're
me.
newer here or whatever.
Everyone here are European though.
That's true. That's why I'm
Except
not saying
you.
it's not a
Between those two
bad thing.
events,
It's
a lot
just
of really
funny
cool
to
character
me.
interactions.
Women
references
are
I was
to
worried
shows
about
guy.
this
But if I
also
went out of my way to
before
point out
joining
these
this
little
I
stream.
figured it would
for a very
happen.
long time.
Yeah, I like
This
watching
is
videos
never
for a long
right.
time.
You
Just
should go read these yourself.
We've only got
especially
one
if you're
more
a fan
after
of both
this,
of
though.
these shows. This video
Oh,
will
no,
most likely still
and
be
if you
here,
stick
although
around,
if
you get to
Disney
hear
sees
what
that I
my
use
next
footage from
video
shows
is
they own,
gonna
I might be out
be.
of luck,
God
actually.
fucking damn
Whatever.
it.
That
While
leaked?
everyone else gets together, Hermes
You
and
leaking?
Zoidberg are still with
Curiosity.
Mr. Burns
Might
and
as well call
Smithers,
me
and
Cats,
Hermes
'cause
accidentally
curiosity is
reveals
gonna
that
kill
himself
me.
and Zoidberg are from the future, sort of. This leads to Mr. Burns doing what Mr. Burns does best. Evil
That
thoughts.
frame of
Mr.
He
Burns
then
looks really
kidnaps
weird.
both of them. Back to the Simpsons house, where everyone, barring Professor Frank and
I
Professor
remember this
Farnsworth,
one clip
oh,
of
and
a
Amy,
Simpsons gamer,
huh,
Mr.
have finally
Burns
met up
falls
and
down
regained
the
their memories.
stairs.
Nibbler tells everyone that they
Yeah,
must
yeah,
get to
yeah.
the nuclear
Pretty
power
good.
plant due to
I
some
regret to
unknown
inform you,
danger, and it's
Mark,
Mr.
that that's
Burns
an
who knows
Oni
it's Mr.
Plays clip.
Burns. They then fly there thanks to
yeah,
that
I
aforementioned
just
gum in
remembered,
that
yeah.
ever classic Pink-Red sedan.
Somebody in the comments like got upset at me about, or like tried to argue with me that this isn't the sedan, even though it has the fucking dent on the front of the car like the sedan. I'm about to nerd emoji right now. Okay.
Actually,
They tried to say it was the orange station wagon, which one, that's not orange, and two, the station wagon is bigger and has a rail on the top. Like,
Orange.
I know my Simpsons, motherfucker. It's the sedan. It's the sedan. It's got the dent on the front. It's just the wrong color. I
I'm
swear to
on that
God.
one. Homer then, pulling a Homer, almost gets everyone killed by making them nearly plummet to their deaths.
Homer G.
It takes a lot to make Fry look smart, but I guess if anyone was gonna do it, it'd be Homer J. Simpson. Luckily for everyone, they land on a Duff blimp, which manages to last all of 5 seconds before Bender lights it on fire, which continues the proceeding plummeting. Thankfully, the professors are there to save the day.
That line was really, I remember that line being like kind of weird to say in the script. Proceeding plummeting. It's easy now, but for some reason I struggled with it when recording, and I don't know why.
Preceding.
And then Fry and Lisa are left in the dust because, of course, they are. It's not unusual for both of these two to get the short end of the stick, I suppose. But they do get to bond a little bit over their shared musical prowess, to which Lisa then upstages the shit out of Fry later, but he doesn't seem to mind. With the exclusion of Lisa and Fry, everyone ends up at the nuclear power plant to the site of Mr. Burns holding Zoidberg hostage over a vat of radioactive waste. The only way he'll let him go is if the professors hand over the device they invented to get the Futurama cast back home to the future. Before that can happen, though, Smithers snatches it away, but it wasn't really Smithers, it was Amy in disguise. I bet you also forgot she existed like I did, especially since she plays no role in the plot until this point. She's not even mentioned once
she gets
after they
totally
first arrive at
sidelined
Springfield,
in
as
this.
far as I
She's
remember.
not
Hell,
relevant
I even bet
at
that you forgot I mentioned
all
her
in the
name
second
earlier
run
in this
either.
video. But whatever,
also don't
it's
remember
fine.
her
She
doing
gets a
much
cool
in the
moment
show.
here that feels in character with
She
what we've seen
does.
of her before in the show.
She
Then
has,
Mr.
like,
Burns
episode
pulls
sent-
the same
you
sick
just
cartwheel
said,
and
like, a
steals the
couple
device
minutes ago that
back,
you haven't watched that
revealing
much
himself to be
Futurama
the real
anyway.
Smithers in
I know,
disguise,
but
who
of
then
the
hands
episodes
it
I've
back to
seen,
Mr.
she's
Burns,
like
who was
just
sitting in
such
an
a
oversized
character
chair that
who is
somehow
just
nobody
kind of
noticed
there.
before.
Well,
Before
she's
him
not
and
one of the main
Smithers use
trio.
the
It's not that
device, though,
surprising
they're
she
stopped
doesn't
by a
show up
bunch of
that much.
Rigelians, that's what Kang and Kodos
Suppose
are,
so.
by the way, and they run away with their tails between their
kill you,
legs.
Mark.
Well, really, Smithers does the
Okay.
running, but you get what
When,
I mean.
where,
But she
Of
does
course, they're
have
not
she
real
she actually had a
Rigelians.
really
We
good
only get to see
episode
those guys
recently
on
on the
Halloween
revival.
and in bad crossover episodes. It was actually just Lisa using the holophoner to create projections of Rigelians
You're
while
gonna
Fry
make
did
a
their
video on
voices. Oh,
Revival
and then Homer
too,
accidentally
Hank?
dips Zoidberg into the
No.
radioactive waste, which turns him into...
Why
well,
not?
it turns
I
him
don't
into
really have
that.
much to say
With the
about it
comic
besides
almost
that I
over,
think it's
Farnsworth
pretty funny
activates
and
the device, and
pretty
instead of
tightly-
freeing
it's tightly
everyone,
written.
accidentally
It's better
rips the
than
comic
the
they're
other
still
revival.
in. Luckily for them, that means the comic's
It's not Clone
canon,
High.
and
It's not
a
Clone High
punishable
reboot.
offense.
It has
The
that
big
going
nerd
for
planet
it.
from earlier destroys the liquid diamond casing, and
Clone
kills some
High.
First crew, and also kills all the brain spawn. But before
That
everyone
actually makes
leaves,
me
we get a fond
sad.
farewell
Same.
from both casts, and everything is back to normal.
That could have been such a good second
Okay, before I say
season.
my thoughts on
Oh,
the
this
first
was a
run
fun
and
part
move
to
on to
edit.
the second, and yes, there was a second run of the series, and we'll get to that. I want to talk about this 2-page spread. This is, without a doubt, one of the coolest things ever. And I know I said earlier I wasn't going to show every
Ever?
reference, but
Ever.
I'll make an exception
Ever?
here because
Ever.
this is just that special.
You're
Ever?
saying this
Top,
is
we've
cooler
got
than the
Gil with
COVID
Malfunctioning
vaccine?
Eddie,
I
Bart
see
and
how it
Marge,
is.
Maggie, and
Yeah.
Lisa on hover bikes, and Homer trapped in a transport tube.
When they
Then
stormed the
Flanders
beaches
running
of
through
Normandy,
a
you don't
devil
think that was
alongside
cool,
same series
huh?
of gang war between the Springfield Mafia and
Christ.
Mafia being watched by Jimmy Wiggum, Earl, and
I thought when
Smitty,
JFK's head
Reverend
did
Lovejoy
that
yelling
was
at
pretty
Preacher
cool.
Bot, Zap Brannigan getting along with Mrs. Krabappel, while Kif is watching and drunk and being consoled by Lenny and
When he was
Carl,
spinning his
Mom
hair
and
like a
Mr.
helicopter,
Burns being
yeah, I
put
remember
together,
that.
Mo trying to use
He
a
was able to
suicide
cross
booth,
larger
Robot
gaps.
Santa either giving or attempting
might be
Oh,
mixing
yeah.
this up with
Ralph,
something else.
Mayor Quimby, and Mayor
I gotta tell you,
Poopy
folks,
Balls
by the way,
Close this gap.
Editing a comic and trying to make it still interesting visually in a visual medium is very difficult. I don't even think I did
No,
a
no.
great job, but I hope that it kept people's interest because it's hard to make non-moving images fun to watch for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah. Also, a
He's
comment from
making a-
Mystic Ode said, I don't have much to comment on, but it has been a fun peek in both these shows.
Yes, thank you.
Berto
I'm
robbing
glad
a bank
people-
together, Kent
I'm glad that
Brockman
my
and
videos
Morbo
can still
doing a
connect with
newscast
people even if
together,
they've not
Rainier
seen
Wolfcastle
or
and
know
Calculon
of the
speeding
media
along
that
together,
I've been
Cletus
talking
pointing at the
about.
horrible gelatinous blob, Kearney, Jimbo, and Dolph giving wedgies to Walt, Larry, and Igner respectively, and finally Hans Mole Man,
Shut up.
all on his own, staring at a slam sign. That was a lot. Now, before we move on to part 2 of this crossover adventure, I want to say a few things about the first
Said
part.
Bob!
First, to start with,
love
I
it.
want to bring up something said by Matt Groening in the foreword of the hardcover book that combines both runs. Which, as a side note, real quick,
This is what
if
I
you're
have,
interested
Mike.
in this crossover series, you should
Yeah,
pick
cool.
up this book. It's fairly cheap for what it is. It's printed on higher quality paper
your
than the
hand?
original runs and has updated colors that look way
Oh my
nicer than
God,
the original
dogs.
prints. It's got this
Where did you
gorgeous
get
slip
these
cover
hands?
and
But it
a
isn't
reissue
me.
of the first ever
Oh,
Simpsons
buddy.
comic stored in a sleeve in the back of the book.
But you're
There's
white?
even more than that included in the
I mean,
book,
yes,
too,
that
but
is true,
honestly, I
but
think
this
it'd be
isn't
better
me,
if you
still.
saw that stuff for yourself firsthand.
Oh, so you
Now
just
onto that
doxed
quote.
someone
Pesky
someone
fans have
else,
asked if
okay.
these two worlds
I doxed
you
somebody
did.
using a
Tell you
video
the
they
truth,
put
I
up on the
never thought it
internet,
would
yes.
happen. In the
You
Futurama
showed
universe,
their
The Simpsons is
fingerprints
still cranking out new
online.
episodes 1,000
Being
years
bored.
from now. While in the Simpsons universe, I'm known only as the creator of Futurama. This is what mighty philosophers call a metafictional cosmic mind baffler. So how do you bring the two universes together? And stop. That question right there is what
That-
makes
I remember that edit pissing me off when releasing the video because I didn't care enough to fix it for like the little edit I was gonna do here. When I say and stop here, it should have been a black screen.
How do you bring two universes
but it just
together?
it just goes to the
And
background,
stop.
and it doesn't
That
look as
question
good as if
raises
it was just a black
amazing
screen.
rates this crossover, and it's something the book
Still gets the
answers
message
amazingly.
across.
While the
Oh, this
episode
sucks.
drops the ball
This
so hard that it
sucks.
gets encased in the crust of the earth.
Fun fact, I actually had
In
to
the
edit
com-
this to be like 1 or 2 frames longer, this little thing with the rabbit. Oh my god, fuck, yeah, you can see where I edited it, because if you look at the slime on like the left, it'll go back up. Oh my god, please. Oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where the fuck I did this.
And stop. That question right there is what
But
makes
I'll just
or
get
breaks this
around to it.
crossover, and it's something the book answers amazingly.
Gotta wait
While
to
the
pause.
episode drops the ball so hard that it gets encased in the crust of the earth a mile
yeah.
down. In the comic, we
Yeah, you can see it. You can see
get
it.
a plausible in-universe
jolt back up
explanation
because
that
I
doesn't
had to-
break
I had
either
to edit
series'
that ever so
canon
slightly just to make it a
continuity.
little
Whereas
bit
in the
longer.
episode, Futurama and The Simpsons are now both in the same universe, which just feels lazy and poorly written. It's
I
still
still
very
agree with
obvious,
that,
even
but there's something that happens a little later after that where I say,
in the first
I'll
run of
just let it
Crossover
play,
Crisis, that
where
the
I
people
say,
working on it cared so
it feels like they
much.
didn't
And then
care,
with
and I shouldn't have
Sensorama, it
said
feels like
that.
not
I
only that they
regret
didn't
saying
care,
that.
but that they just wanted to get it over with.
I don't
It
think
felt
it's
more
a
like they
fair
were
thing
doing
to
it out
say a
of
writer
obligation
didn't
more than
care
doing it
when
because
doing
they were
their work.
passionate about it
I
happening.
think that's
And
kind
it's
of
not like The Simpsons hasn't
presumptuous
had
to
well-executed
say.
and fun crossovers before
Yeah.
this. The Critic
It's
crossover
something I
was
realized
great,
a couple
and the
years
X-Files
ago
one was
where
fun
somebody
too.
said like
Hell, I'd even
no
go as far
no
to say
person
the
who
Family
works
Guy
on a
one was
video
better than
game wants the
Sensorama,
game
and that
to
episode
be
is just
bad.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
That really
pleasant to
opened
watch.
my
But,
eyes
at least
to
I
it
felt
because it's
something
all
more
just
than
people
mild disappointment
trying
and
to
boredom
make
while
something,
watching
but
it.
there's
And,
always
the
something
comic
in the
almost
way,
could've been
whether that's
disappointing
like
too if it
personal
had
skill
ended at
level
issue
or
2. Nowhere near as
usually like
disappointing as the
budget and
episode, but
time
still,
and
it would've left me
executives
wanting
and
more.
whatnot.
Thankfully, in
Character developments for
2005,
them.
we got more. And friends, this is where this crossover goes from
But,
good
I'm always
to
right.
legendary.
Yeah, I do regret saying
And on
that. I
the
do still
very
agree with the
first
fact that it
page,
is.
right
It did
after
feel
that
like a lazy
amazing
writing
two-page
thing.
spread, we get even
But I
more
do
great
disagree that
character
it.
interactions in the
Who
background.
wrote this episode?
But I'll say
Who-
what I have to say about that
I
kind
forget
of
his
stuff
name, but
until
he
the
worked
end.
on
For
both
now,
shows.
let's get the recap
He probably
going
did
again.
care.
All right, so now The Simpsons
Yeah.
and pretty much all of Springfield are in New York, and it's all thanks to Professor Farnsworth creating a device that lets fictional characters into the real world. Again, this is just par for the course for Futurama. After that, though, the mayor of New York asked how such a device could even be useful. Thinking quick on his feet, the professor comes up with the obvious solution, which is turning the fictional characters into slaves, of course. Now, this is not exactly a great situation for the Simpsons cast to be in, so now it's up to the Planet Express crew and the Simpsons family to set things right once again. After that, we kind of just get into the usual.
If you are a
with the
fan of
Futurama
either of
crew,
these shows,
making
by the way,
deliveries to other planets and
these
getting
comics are
into
genuinely
subsequent
really fun
hijinks.
to
We
read,
get
and
some
there's a
fun
lot of sweet
cutaways, too,
moments
with
between
various secondary
the
characters from both shows
casts of both
interacting with each
shows.
other, which is just a great time.
I don't think my
Specifically,
video
Mr.
does it
Burns
full
and Moms, they're
justice.
getting it
Like,
on,
you
which
just
is
have to
as
read it
funny as
yourself.
it is weird. Finally, after a couple of great sci-fi references, this full-page Aliens parody spread is probably my favorite. We see, in another lovely two-page spread, that a lot of the citizens of Springfield have been enlisted in the Duke military as cannon fodder. The most important person of note here for the future of the story is Smithers, but we'll get back to why that is in a little bit. Back at Planet Express, Bart is messing around with the device that brought all of the Springfieldians to New York. Being Bart, he manages to break it, and then of course without thinking, Bender decides
you
to
for
throw
that
it out of the
insightful
window
comment,
at the
Ray
New York
fan.
library. This leads to a shit ton
What
of
did he
famous literary
say?
characters
This is
coming
an
to
empty
life and attacking New York. We're in the home stretch now, folks, so buckle up because it's a hell of a ride.
Hey, look, more
Alright,
Celeste
so
music.
After fighting off some pulp sci-fi aliens,
Oh,
the
I
Planet
come.
Express crew and the Simpsons family are captured by the Nimbus, which is now being helmed by one Waylon
Speaking of
Smithers.
comics,
And after
I am
hearing that
now
Mom and Mr. Burns are dating,
82
he's more than
issues
happy to
into
help everyone get
Invincible.
back to Earth and save
Speaking
the
of
day,
comics,
which he then
I am
fucks
now
up spectacularly
over
by plummeting everyone to their
5,400
dooms.
pages into
Thank God for
Homestuck.
parachute rentals, am I right?
Cool.
Sorry
With
to hear
everyone on
that.
the ground, it's time for the
You
final fight.
I might actually be
Homestuck
further.
fan.
Used
I
their
don't
abilities
remember.
and wit to save the day, but in the end it just
Yeah, I
isn't
know.
enough.
Invincible
But don't worry,
is still
Bart has a
good.
plan in which he betrays the Planet Express
You
crew to
disgust
save his
me.
own ass. Of
Invincible.
course.
I wonder if you're gonna
Thankfully
put that
for
edit
everyone,
that I-
Lisa
that
has an
thing I
actual
said at
plan
the
to
beginning
save
of my
everyone,
audio
which
into the
involves the very
podcast.
first issue of the Simpsons comics. But not before we get to see some
I guess
cute
I'll have to
moments
wait and
where the
see.
family uses a bunch of Farnsworth's
I'll never
inventions, and most
tell.
importantly, the what-if machine, which is what leads Lisa to the original comic I just mentioned.
I hope none
The
of
reason
my
this original
pre-show
comic is
ramblings
important
make it
is
in.
because
It was
Homer
just an
decides to put
incoherent
building in it,
mess.
and something like that could come quite in handy.
I still
And
love
with
that one
the
edit
spear,
from the first
Giant
episode where
Homer
you
is off to save the day.
where you
And
edit
it
in
works.
Mark's
saved by
rambling
the
while he's
fictional
like
characters
not
and
in the call
city.
anymore because
Oh,
of
right,
his
there's
internet
still a
going out or
giant
something.
rampaging
That was
Homer.
Oh
fun.
yeah. Oops.
Whoops. But that's swiftly dealt with after all of Homer's favorite things
Goddamn,
like Marge,
Hayne.
aw,
Look,
TV and
I've
pork
been
chops
enjoying
used to distract
Homestuck.
him and send him
Don't
back to the
judge me
comic
too
he came
hard.
From. After that, it's time for everyone to say goodbye, but not before
do-
one last
do judge
delivery
him,
job,
though.
rounding up everyone from Springfield to bring them home. And after a funny little
Shit's
prologue
gonna
with
go
Mom
down in
cloning Mr.
Invincible.
Burns, the crossover finally comes to a close.
You have no clue.
Sure, it ends on a
Somebody
question
got upset
mark,
about.
but I don't
Somebody in
think
my
this was
comments, I
meant to be
remember getting
anything
upset
bigger.
about
It
this
reads more to me as a joke
thing I
cliffhanger,
say
kinda like what
about
happens at the end of
The Incredibles 2.
Man, it sure would be stupid to directly follow that up with a sequel that lacks most of the charm and good writing that the original
Fuck 'em.
had. Oh, I'm sad now.
The
Anyway,
Incredibles 2 is
that's
bad.
that. One of
Like,
the best
there's no-
crossovers I've ever had the
I
pleasure
have
of
no
reading,
other way of
and I
saying
didn't
that,
even
it's just
get to the more
bad.
specific jokes and references that
No!
I'm sure to make a fan of
That
either
movie
of these
killed my
tracks,
grandma,
of which there
okay?
are so many, I just couldn't
It's just a
count.
bad follow-up.
Crossover Crisis feels
didn't
like a
think it
love
was
letter to
bad,
both
it was just
shows
so
and was
forgettable.
clearly made by
It's
people who were
yeah,
deeply
that's what
invested
makes
in
it
them.
bad,
And
though.
having read
That's
the
the
stories
problem.
again
Yeah.
before the episode
It-
crossover made it just that more
That's like
disappointing,
most of
that
Disney
much
shit
more of a
nowadays.
letdown, because we had this
Honestly.
amazing basis for something really special, but instead we got a watered down episode of The Simpsons.
I
that
genuinely
happens to have
believe
Futurama
the
characters
only
in it. The fact that it's only
standout
22
thing they've
minutes, too,
made in
is
the
really a
last, like,
shame. They probably could have done something
5
at least a
years
little more interesting with 44
is
minutes, but
Andor.
as it is now, it's nothing special. Which is the exact opposite, I have to say,
That
for
one got
Crossover
blown up.
Crisis. It's unbelievably
You have more
well made,
patience
and
than I
feels
do
like
reading
something
the
Blow up
that
the
was
city.
made in
Homestuck.
jest. There was clear attention and detail.
It's taken
put
me
into this
literally
comic
years to
series,
get to where I
and
am
it
in
shows.
Homestuck so far.
The pair-ups, for
No,
the most part,
okay, maybe
make
like a
sense.
year.
The threats
It's
introduced
a
feel
l- it's a
appropriate scale
lot.
for
It's a
something like
lot.
this, and the
I
interactions,
read like
the
at
main
least
thing
100
people get
pages a
excited for
night,
when it comes to
and
this
it
kind of
still
thing,
barely
are
makes a
excellent and are
dent.
achieved perfectly and naturally.
God, you
Like
really
I said
just
earlier,
put your
Crossover
time
Crisis
and
is a love
energy
letter
into
to both
that,
The
huh?
Simpsons
I
and
put
The
wow,
decision
yeah, I
you
put my
made.
time and
As a
energy
fan of
into something I
both, couldn't have
enjoy.
asked
What a
for more,
shame.
and it's a great example of how
Yeah,
to do a
Mark.
crossover
Couldn't be me.
right.
I only do things I hate.
One
Yeah.
more video. Oh right, this is
I
the
love
first video where I
suffering.
start doing the end card stuff. I forgot. about that.
Finally.
Yeah, I started doing this because I figured, hey, maybe people will watch like a.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Dude, I was missing
waiting
those.
for
God
that.
damn.
We got one video left, and it's the newest one, the Eco video, baby.
Who asked? Who asked?
Oh. Okay.
I love
you-
it, Zuda. It's good.
You dare talk about your content on your own stream.
What the
You-
fuck, man? What's wrong with
must
you?
die.
Stop self-promoting this.
Their legacy sure as hell.
This is
Yes.
just one giant ad. Turn it off.
I hate you people so much.
True.
If
It's
anybody
sold out.
has any questions about the productions of this video, I know I've said it like a million times, so please do not be. Don't feel free to
Yeah,
ask.
why did you make this?
How the fuck do you use
ask.
Vegas?
To be honest,
What were you
though,
thinking?
I could have picked any of their games.
What
to
do
try.
you
I use
use to
Vegas
make
because
your
it's what
drawing?
it's what I know.
Without a doubt, their most
What do you
successful and
use
most
to
widely
make your
regarded Shadow of
drawings?
the
How do you make
Colossus.
them good?
So why
hate
ego
you
then?
people.
Part
Do
of it
you
is
do this
because
on the
it's just what my
computer?
brain wants to talk about
Is
in
it?
the
Do
here
you
and
click a
now.
button and
The
then
story
it
behind
makes the
Eco's
art?
development
I
and
have
the
a
story of
cousin who
gameplay
does
within it
AI
are
art. That's the
extremely
same thing, right?
Die.
Another part is because it's just
Have
not
you
as
ever-
successful as Team Eco's other work, and if I can influence even just one
friend
person
of
into
mine
buying
do
and playing it
NFT.
today, I'll be happy. Eco is becoming
I'm
Could
about
be a good
5
one.
seconds
I
from
saw-
screaming
I saw
into the
on this
microphone.
news- I saw
Can
on
you
the
draw-
news a girl who made like $100.
Hey, I'll request.
The Last Guardian is
Can you
also
draw
pretty
me?
PS4
Can you
PS5.
draw me?
And
Can you
while
draw my
copying the game won't cost
face?
you that much. Seriously, these
I
pieces
can
are a steal.
barely
Even
draw a
when
stick
bundled with the original
figure.
Shadow of the
Goomba Dasher.
Fuck off.
Goomba Dasher. I'm not gonna say anything, but if things work out,
Christ,
who's to say?
you need to be stopped.
Who's to say?
Oh my god, Hayne.
Anyway,
Colossus on top of it. A PS3
Actually,
is
a friend of
going
mine
to
really
earn you
likes
some money,
Homestuck,
and as
so,
the years go
Yeah,
on,
me.
they're only going to become more expensive while the rest of
No,
the
but-
catches up.
He said
or are we
friend.
not
We're
friends?
not friends. Yes, we're not.
We're not
Um,
friends.
PS3, now is the time to buy because they're not.
We're just
gonna
here for
be
clout.
cheaper. And the
No, but
funny
I'll
part is
probably
What clout?
forward
You-
that video to her.
Mark is a bigger both Mark, Rye, and you and I are on like the same amount of subscribers, by the way. Rye and Mark are the ones who we'd be getting clout from them if we were on like their streams, if anything.
No, I would specifically instruct people not to follow you. It's a public
There's
service
something I heard
announcement
ages ago,
for their
God
health.
knows where, about how every modern 3D
Oh,
game
don't
or
follow
at least
this
shooter
man.
has some roots in Quake.
That's a good
This
point.
man is a
The
wanted
first
criminal
3D
in
games,
15
obviously.
countries.
That is a
Whether
good-
the
He's a
developers
menace.
of those modern games
He's a criminal.
know it or not.
That is a good
It was
point,
so
Mr.
influential
Goat,
that it made people
that,
stop calling anything that came
a
after
remake
Doom
of
Doom
Eco
clones,
could
and instead birthed the
cause
name
the
of
game
quite
to be
possibly the
more,
most well-known genre
to
in
lose
all
some
of
of its,
video games,
its visual
the
edge,
FPS.
which-
I would argue that Eco is
I
similar in that
I
its
think I would
DNA is
genuinely
in
prefer
so
that
many
Eco just have a
story-driven games, and it pioneered
re-release
telling stories
rather
in
than a
games,
remake
and it
or
also inspired
remaster.
various dev teams and big names with many
But
of
maybe
its
this version
ideas,
gets ported
like
to
Kojima
PS4
saying that
or
Eco inspired
PS5,
some
I
of Metal
mean,
Gear
at
Solid
this point.
3's visuals, or Phil Fish when making Fez using Eco's design by subtraction
serious?
approach, or even Hidetaka Miyazaki, creator of the Dark Souls series,
I like
stating that
I
Eco
like
was a
remakes,
huge
but I
influence for him
honestly
to get
kind of don't
involved
like
with
the fact
game
that most of the time
development.
it's
Eco
just
pushed
the
the
remake
envelope
that
of
gets
what games
released
should
and
do with
never
how they told their
a
stories, stories,
port of the
and
original.
It's left an undeniable impact on so many developers.
Honestly,
and
I feel like
teams, AAA
every
or otherwise,
remake or
which might
re-release or
make-
something like should always include the original in its preserved state, like
Yeah.
as optimally preserved as possible. just as a bonus extra thing. Like the new Pac-Man World remake, okay, cool, but also just include the original game with it so people
Like-
could still experience that.
Even if most people agree that like the original is not that good in comparison, it doesn't matter. It should still be there for preservation's sake.
Yes.
I like how the Master Chief Collection did it. Well, that's not a remake necessarily, but you can still switch between the old and the new graphics.
I'm glad that's
Yeah,
how they
that's
did
cool.
it because the new graphics are
Yeah.
fucking god awful in Halo Anniversary.
What if Halo did that? Yeah.
Yeah. And also like for context, because I'm sure some people in the chat won't like fully understand, like, okay, why does everything need to be preserved? Because everything digital is just going away. Like there's just stuff
Yeah.
that will never be accessible again. Like that's why lost media and all that stuff exists.
What was
That's
that
why
art-
older versions of games are no longer being preserved. It's things will just become unplayable, like experiences that people had, and there's so much we can gain from that history. And that's why it's so very important that we keep some copies or like at least accessible ways to experience those things.
Yeah, I remember seeing an article that happened recently where it's like 80% of everything pre PS3 or PS4 is just not even playable or just lost. And it's just fucked. It's completely fucked how that works.
Yeah.
Um
That's
Yeah.
insane to think about, because even sometimes now that when people are doing remakes or remasters, they will say like, yeah, actually we had to start from scratch because we just couldn't have the original files for it anymore, or we just couldn't get it to work. Like that kind of stuff is just worrisome. That's history just
Yeah.
being erased. It's just disappearing, and we're doing nothing to save it.
I'm of the opinion that no matter how shitty a piece of art it is still part of human history and should be preserved.
Yeah.
But that's a radical take for some people, so
I saw this story the other day of this guy who found a disc with the source code of the original StarCraft on it, and he sold it back to Blizzard
Oh
or
yeah.
to Activision in exchange for some fucking cheap Overwatch merch
Yeah, what do
instead
you
of
think-
just releasing that
Oh!
shit online.
It's amazing. What do you think Blizzard's gonna do with that? They might just throw it out, which is entirely a possibility. Lots of studios do this, or they just lock it in a vault somewhere. Nobody can access it.
Yes,
Cool.
thank you,
Okay,
Ewok.
great.
No.
it was
Never
exactly
preserved.
it was around 87% is what Ewout just said. Thank you.
Yeah, aren't legally
A couple
available. Yeah.
of things I want to bring up, by the way, real quick. I knew by bringing up Phil Fish, I'd probably get some responses of like people being like, "Oh, but Phil Fish is a dick." I didn't bring that up in the video because like it's not important to my point. My point is Fez is an important game. Like as much as I don't like it as a video game, it is still important, and it did impact the indie games scene a lot. And Phil Fish is a cunt, but it was important. It was relevant to the point I was making, and relevant to Eco in general because of its Phil Fish using the same approach towards making his game that Team Eco did when creating Eco. Next up is a question from Mystic Ode, which is, actually, I do have a question. Later in the video, you say the final boss has no major puzzle elements. Were you one of the people who managed to beat it without moving the statues? I have beaten the final boss that way. It's fairly simple. But also, I don't know, I don't think I count that as a puzzle element. Just moving a block to, like, keep yourself safe? I don't... I just realized what I just said.
Huh?
I don't think I count that as a puzzle element personally. Like I just don't think it's the same thing as actually doing like solving a puzzle to beat a boss. And let's see. There really needs to be greater attempts to preserve those games. Yes, true. Let's
You wonder
continue on
how
with the
Eco
video.
was a hit with just about everybody who played it.
I'm
and yet
really happy with the
financially,
editing in this
well,
video.
By 2009, the game had only sold
You did good.
700,000
These little
copies.
edits where I swap
Eco
out like
originally
certain
released in
things, I'm
2001.
really happy with how
It's
it
a
came
wonder
out.
Team Eco managed to get another game after that. Maybe there was just enough
I'm proud
goodwill
of
with
you,
the
Ian.
executives. I
Some
don't
puzzles
know.
are really simple, but the
Undoubtedly,
game is
Eco
genuinely
a cult
good.
classic.
Yes,
and
Eco is
unfortunately,
a
that
good
term
game.
is only
Oh,
used for things
video
that are
froze again. Let me
to
go back.
Undoubtedly, Eco is a cult classic,
Video.
and unfortunately,
They should
that
make
term is only
a
used for things that
a
aren't
video
too
game
successful.
about
Thankfully,
Anakin
someone at
Skywalker's
Sony still
mother
saw
and call it
potential with regards to
Shmiko.
on Team Eco. That's not
Yeah.
true. I kinda said it
What?
earlier,
And
but
ju- and it's just a
Penn Studio was
reskin
made
of
up
this.
multiple teams, like
Is that
Team
actually, like,
Sony,
the
who are
name of
known
the
for their
character,
Astrobot games,
Shmiko?
and spun off into their
No,
own studio
Shmi.
after Japan Studio went defunct. Or
Oh,
Project Cyrus,
that's
who
not
originally
better.
was Team
I don't know
Silent
how the fuck I'm
developers
gonna do
known
the
for
Astrobot
obviously the
video at
Siren
some
series,
point whenever
but
I
also
do
one
get
of
around
my
to
favorite
talking about
game
the other.
series, Gravity Rush.
That's probably
And
not
then
going to be
there's
for a
Team
while
Eco,
from now because
of course,
I'm
known
going to
for
need to buy
Eco,
a
obviously,
VR
Shadow
headset
of the
for that.
Colossus and The Last Guardian.
damn. It's
They would
only
also
in
be
VR?
doing their own studio with
One
a
of
name
the
change
there's an
that I'm not
exclusive
super
Astrobot
fond
game
of.
that is in
Gen
VR, and
design
I
is,
promised in
well,
this
from an
video that I'm
artistic
going to talk
standpoint,
about
it almost
everything Team
feels
Eco made.
corporate, as if
That
the
includes
changes
Knack,
were
by
just
the way.
more
I'm going to
powerful
talk about
as a
Knack.
business than as a group of
Knack,
artists.
baby!
Not to mention, it kind
that
of
Shadow
splits
of
all over
Colossus
history
footage
of
with
this
the
team,
horse.
or now studio, I
That
guess.
really makes me
Ico
want to
was
play Red Dead
incredibly
2
important
again.
to the
Oh my
foundation of it.
God.
I don't know, it just leaves a sort of bad taste in
Wow,
my mouth.
seeing
but
this game
what's done
makes
is
me
done,
wanna
I
play
suppose, and one
anything
little
else.
name change isn't the worst that can happen with the legacy of these games. It's honestly just a wonder that
Happy birthday. I'm gonna kill you. The
The
next person who says happy birthday, Lance, you have full
it's your
permission to
birthday?
ban.
Happy
It's your
birthday!
birthday,
Oh my
dude! I
God,
didn't
happy
know!
birthday!
Yeah!
Happy
Oh.
birthday.
No,
Okay, don't ban them
you.
actually. Just like time them out for like
Yeah.
like a minute or something.
The first reason
Ban is
is
probably
that
too
I'm
harsh.
cheap
Just like
and I
time
don't
them
care
out.
enough
For real
about
though,
the
Lance,
other,
I
more important
expect you
reason
to do
is
that if
I
somebody
actually
says
prefer
fucking
how
happy
it
birthday
looks.
again. I
I've
swear to
always loved
God.
this lo-fi look for older games, and I think it works very
That
well
includes
with
Mark.
Shadow of the
Oh fuck, he's a mod. He
Bring this
can't
up
be
because
timed out.
it
God
does
damn it.
cause an already existing problem with Eco to become worse. The game is just too goddamn dark at times, even in full HD. Of course, because of how
Okay,
the
Mark, you need to
cables
stop.
work,
You're actually just
dark
spamming the
spots
chat
become
now.
a whole lot darker. So if you
one
see
more.
me struggling in any of this
There we go.
footage in darker areas, just keep in mind part of it is an actual
Don't
problem
wish
with
a
the
happy
game, but another
birthday, you'll
part
get
is my
timed out.
dumbass stubbornness to finally join
No,
the rest
no,
of you in
he's
the
just
20
saying
Do it,
minutes.
it'd be funny.
I'm also
God
getting a
damn
little
it.
ahead of myself.
Okay, you
so
can time out Pain.
And I mean way
didn't say that.
back.
No,
All
he
the
said
way
something
back
else.
to the
Technically
PS1.
different.
That's
Not
worse.
Okay, you get timed out for saying ooh woo. God, that's a
30
bannable
seconds.
offense.
For 300 seconds.
It didn't
Holy
last
shit,
as long as
Lance.
the game, of course, but it definitely would have been the most impressive game on
Destroyed.
the console had it been released on
can't
it.
time
You know what?
it
That's
out.
base as fuck.
IRL.
How long is 300
You
seconds?
can
It's like
censor
5
me.
minutes, right?
Its was clearly brimming.
300
The
seconds is
cutscenes
like a
were starting to look
lifetime.
better than their
No.
competition at the
Yeah,
time.
5 minutes
And
is
it
fine.
says a lot, I think, that even when it moved to
You have
PS2,
300
Eco
seconds left to
stayed
live.
a technical marvel.
What are you
A lot of
doing?
PS2 games were afraid to
I
go as hard
will
as
kill
Eco
I
your
did.
would
wife.
kill your
Visuals
wife.
possibly
I
inferior,
would
not
kill
running
your
well on the hardware, or
Same
maybe
brain.
might just
There was a comment left
Right.
on the
Eco
Eco
does
video
this
by
really fascinating
by somebody
thing
in
that
chat, I
games,
think,
especially
Mr. Ode,
linear games,
that I
so
really
rarely
appreciated.
do.
It was
All
nice
of the castle
seeing somebody like
fits within
point out
itself.
that I went with a
Every
different
single
route
room in the
for my
place is to scale with the
for this video
outside
that I guess
walls.
most other
It's
people
just
have.
nuts.
Which, to be fair, I
It's
didn't
that
do
crazy attention to detail that is just one of
purposefully.
the
I just
many signs of how much
I
effort
just
was
talked
put
about
into
what I
making
found
this game as
specifically
good as it could
interesting about
possibly
Eco.
be. And usually you only saw this kind of quality with the big
That is,
PS2 games,
in a
games
way,
that
that is
came from
comforting to
already
me to
popular
hear that
series
if
from
somebody just
developers.
talks
But
about
Eco came
however
from a
they want
brand
to
new
talk about
team
it, and
and
it
a
turns
studio
out to be
that prior
unique.
was
That
most
is nice.
famous for a
I like
silly
that.
monkey-catching platform.
It doesn't
And even then,
let me
this
see
game
how
was always
long
way
it
more
times them
popular in
out. Sorry,
Japan.
Kane.
And
Don't
no, I
apologize
come
to him.
from
He deserved it.
Jamalami or Vibram,
No.
Japan Studio only assisted with those games.
Kane is
innocent.
feeling so
That's
sad
something
right
which
now.
gives
Don't
you
you
a
hear
blood
his
pressure.
cries?
Not relevant. I just thought it was interesting.
I
To say releasing
am
a game
being
like Eco in the
silenced
US,
by the
let alone
woke
it having
mob.
this much polish was a risk, is
I
By the
would
liberal
kill
exactly
media.
understood.
More like the
This was
liberal
the
media.
biggest risk ever.
God.
The
This was
lamestream
PS1,
media
PS2,
censored
Sony
me
were
once
talking about
again.
They were on top of the world at this point. They could
The
afford
only
to
straight
take the hit.
person in
Hell,
the
these
video
people
is
are
getting
demons.
cancelled.
Shut up, Mark.
In the first place, and possibly
What I do,
Shadow of the
Lord?
Colossus
Happy
afterwards.
Pride
I
Month.
guess
It's fucking
Just about any
August.
other studio, even AAA, Eco would have been a really big risk with how much work and dev time was put into
What do I
it.
do,
Eco
Lord?
technically started development in 1997 and was later released at
Oh
the
my
tail end
God.
of 2000.
Out of context,
That's
Alex
just about
Jones is the
4
best
years of
Alex
dev
Jones.
time, which for today is nothing. But
The
for those
only
of
good
you
No,
Alex
who
Jones.
remember or
Jones.
too young to even know of this, that was a lot of time for game
Everybody,
development back then.
say something
For
nice
reference,
about
Valve was
Alex.
founded in August
Don't.
of 1996,
Don't
and Half-Life
even.
started
Just
development
don't-
quite
just
soon
fucking-
after.
just-
In 1997, it was practically finished. Before
Why
they
don't you
decided to
use
scrap
your
all the
energy
shit
and
and
time
start
to
over.
give me a
Half-Life was then
croissant?
He is the
I'm hungry.
sanest Republican.
Can you believe? What the fuck was that? Can you guys believe how short game development used to be when we were younger? Like, it's actually
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
Yeah.
insane thinking back on it.
I thought we were gonna say, can you guys shut the fuck up?
It's honestly kind of insane how long this shit takes now, because I
Yeah.
read an article the other day where it's like, if you were to start development on a AAA game today,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be done until the next generation of consoles.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's
Mm.
we're having the same problem like that we are with like Hollywood movies, where they're getting too big a budget, and they're not, one, they don't look good enough or are good enough to warrant it, and also they're not making their money back. Whereas like
Yeah.
we're seeing indie games get released all the time, being made by small teams of people that are being made in a reasonable amount of time for a small amount of people, and being made for reasonable budgets that, while don't look like as as good as or as polished as most AAA games, they're still fairly well recognized and beloved. I mean, look at something like Undertale, which has charmingly amateurish pixel art that I really like.
You hate how it looks. You hate how it looks.
And,
oh my god.
and yet it's still one of the most beloved games of all time now.
Yeah, this whole like graphics race to see who can make the most realistic thing ever, and just keep pushing for like better hardware and ray tracing and fancier effects and all that stuff. Like there's no end to it, and it's only going to make it harder to make just a game. It sucks.
I have no problem with like these realistic games. It's just like everyone is doing it.
Yeah. Everyone,
Like,
everyone's doing it, and very few people are actually doing anything interesting with the realistic visuals.
I wouldn't mind it if it was just like Rockstar and Naughty Dog. You know,
Yeah, they
I
do
wouldn't
it
mind
really
that.
well,
But
from what I've seen.
it's the entire industry who's trying to get to that level, and it doesn't work in most
Yeah.
cases.
Yeah, because you have to pour in so much manpower and money and everything, and then so they make the engines to make it easier to make these realistic games. But then everything starts looking the same and uninteresting, and it's going to look outdated within a year now. Like that's how fast these graphics are developing. And it's never going to be enough at that point. It's always just going to look outdated. It's just, I don't know. I don't. I feel like it's very stupid.
I don't know if
I'm
I
sure
agree with that.
agree.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like what specifically?
I don't think they become outdated anywhere near as quick as you like. I know you're kind of exaggerating by just saying like a year, but I don't think it's the case that they become outdated quickly anymore.
Yeah,
we kind of reached the
understand what you
technical
mean.
threshold at this point now, where
Yeah.
it's kind of.
I genuinely think Uncharted 2 still looks really fucking good.
With some
And that-
exceptions, yeah, but I feel like for a lot of games that I look at now where I'm like, oh, this is technically like very impressive, where they just try to make it like realistic without really like thinking about art style or you know, just or like choreography or anything. Or just trying to push for better technology for like on a technical level, this is better than the previous one, with disregarding everything else. Like those games specifically, and there's quite a lot of those, unfortunately. Those look outdated very quickly.
But those are just Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
A lot of them are.
Anyway,
a lot of them are.
For that
Let's
timeline to
continue
make
on.
sense, Half-Life's total development
I say
time
something
would have
here
been just
about
about 2 years.
how
Eco was made
Eco is more technically impressive than Half-Life, and you could probably make a good argument for why I'm wrong. I don't care.
Both are still amazing games, though. Of course, don't get it twisted. Half-Life's legacy is just
Shut
as
up,
important as
man.
Eco's legacy. Hell, both even for one of the same reasons. And I suppose on that note, now would be as good a time as any to discuss Eco's story. On the surface, it's really simple.
I was actually
arguably
surprised
even
to find out that I
bones.
hadn't used the
story of a young
specific
boy
Silent Hill
trapped in
track
a
already
castle
in
to
one of the
later
earlier
discover a
videos
much
when I
taller
added
than
it to the
himself
track
girl
list.
in very much the same situation. Together, they must cooperate to escape not only the
Cartoonish
castle,
games are
but the
so
queen
rare
who
now.
wants the girl as her daughter.
No,
This game
actually
looks
no.
cool,
Like
though.
factually wrong, I would say about the cartoony game thing. Maybe if
Yeah,
you're just
fair
looking
enough.
at AAA stuff, but even then, there's still a lot of good AAA stuff coming out. But no, especially like I'm not even just necessarily indie titles, but like B team studios. You know, like we're still
Yeah.
seeing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We're still seeing a lot of stylized work in the industry. Probably more so now than we did back then, because we're not just seeing it in 3D platformers anymore. We're seeing it in just about every medium that it can be in.
Yeah. And that's very nice. You see this
Her
with
body
indie
is
games a
vessel,
lot. So.
since her own is
That's
old and weakening. It's a story that's very straightforward. It's almost fable-like. What's different here, though, what makes Eco's story stand out, is that it tells its story simply, but is clearly more complex when you really start to examine it, and it tells it almost entirely through its gameplay as well. There's very few traditional cutscenes in Eco, and for
Sonic
the ones
music.
that are there, they're necessary.
This
They
isn't
push
Sonic
the plot
music.
forward naturally without being
This game looks so
expository.
cool,
This
though.
is Silent Hill
These are things
music.
that would become running trends
from
with
Silent
other
Hill 2.
systems. Eco
Same
also
thing.
uses entirely
No,
different
absolutely
camera
not. Even
True,
close.
true,
which
true.
no one ever realized, to make the
I
most
remember seeing a
impactful
really
they
cool piece of
possibly
art where
can.
somebody made Shadow.
Cinematography,
This is
like
kind
all
of
art
related
forms,
because
is
it's a
a
horror
language
game,
after
but
all, and
eh,
Eco
not really a horror
says a
game.
lot.
Kind of a horror
This
game.
does
Somebody made
unfortunately
Shadow
lead to two
Joel
downsides
from The
that a
Last
lot
of Us, and they
games
made
with both
Cream
analog
Ellie. It
control
was
and fixed
cute.
camera angles have, which are
That's
depth
cool.
perception and transitionary states.
They
In,
should
say,
make
the
a
original
game
Silent Hill
called
trilogy, neither of these
Extremely
are an issue
fucking
because of the lack
Loud
of
Hill.
platforming and the addition of tank
Yeah.
battles. When both of those
So
things
what
are
happened
Oh,
really
you
there?
mean the
bad.
Silent Hill 2
Extremely
remake by
loud
Bloober?
And janky movement
Yeah.
between different angles.
Where the
Oh,
hill
God.
screams.
I would still
I'm not
rather
Hank
looking
Hill.
forward to that at all. Bloober's gonna fuck
Loud
up so
Mountain.
bad.
Hank Hill screams at you in that.
I love when the game uses
Bobby.
wide shots like
Sorry,
this.
by
It
the way,
makes
that I
our
don't
titular
have too much to
characters
say about
Bobby.
this one. I
Yoda,
think I got most of
small
my
and
thoughts out
powerless.
on Eco,
and they
and
kind
like
of both are small and powerless, especially in
I
comparison
think
to
the
size
editing
of
kind of speaks,
castle,
the video
and in
itself
spite
kind
of
of
that,
speaks
they
for
still
itself.
persevere in the hope that they'll
Oh,
both
I will
escape
say
together.
there was something I was trying to like purposefully go for when making this video, in that like obviously I can't do it as well because I'm only like doing one thing, which is talking about something, but I tried to capture that similar feeling that Eco does, where it goes back between story and gameplay and like making you think over and over again, which is why in this video I kind of go from like, I'm talking about the gameplay. Now I'm talking about the story. Now I'm talking about the gameplay. Now I'm talking about the visuals. Now I'm talking about the story, the gameplay again. Like, I tried to keep it more. I don't want to say is eclectic the right word? Yeah, eclectic's the right word. I think. I was trying to capture that same feeling that Eco will make you feel when playing through it, and that it's not just one thing going on, you know, like there's a lot going on in the same moment, and I hope I did that well enough. I especially like at the end of this video, I was really proud of a sort of show don't tell moment at the end of it.
With the beach ending.
Yeah, with the beach, where I show the true ending, but I don't talk about the true ending of Eco. But yeah, I hope I pulled that idea off well. It's kind of hard for me to judge because I'm probably the most biased party here when it comes to this, but you know how it is.
Of course, cool camera angles aren't all
name's
Eco's visuals
Ico.
and storytelling.
I'm
have
gonna
going
kill you.
for it. Just about everything you see in the game has something to say. The graves littered around, the castle itself, and even
Ichio.
the enemies you fight.
Yeah, I actually had to look up some
Okay,
lore
hold
bits
on.
on
There's
like
something important that I need to bring up
like
here before
on
we get
fan
to that.
stuff because
So,
I don't
why
have the
is
manual
Eco in
for
this
Eco
giant
because I played the
castle
PS3
anyway,
version.
you might be asking?
So I had
The
to
Queen
like
and
find
Yorda
different
thinks
ways of
their
getting that
home,
lore.
although I'd probably call it a
The
home to
downfall of
Yorda. But Eco
manuals.
doesn't
That's the
live
next
here.
video you
He
should
was
make,
brought here by
Hayan.
some
The
members of his own
downfall of
village.
manuals.
As a
No,
settler.
I
What a
think
dramatic
In his
title.
village,
I've talked
boys
about
like
manuals
Eco
enough
were
on like
born
streams and in the
due to an
TAC
ancient
video. I don't
curse,
think I need
and
to
those
go
boys are seen
in
as the
depth
cause of the
about it.
village's problems.
I
So, in
miss
an effort to
manuals,
solve
man.
those
So
problems,
good.
When they become 12 years old, the boys with
Thank you for the
horns
insightful
guard the
comment
castle
again,
into
Rayfan.
large coffins to starve or freeze to death. Luckily for Eco, this castle is old and has many
Rayfan,
moving
spin
parts.
facts.
So, with a bit of rumbling, Eco's coffin
This
is
video
busted free
tonally
and
is
breaks
really
apart.
different
He's knocked
to I think
unconscious and
everything
has a
else I
vision
have
of a
made
cage
before it.
hanging in a very
Yes,
tall
including
room.
I think I
From
might have
here,
even said this
Eco
earlier in
sets
the
Yorda
stream and I
free and
forgot.
sets a path for
But
both of
the
them to
closest
escape.
I think it
should
is
also be noted that
similar
Yorda
to
doesn't do
is
much
probably
outside
the
of
Phantom
story.
Batula
When
video.
it comes to gameplay, she
In
herself
terms
is
of
only
tone.
ever used for opening
But even
doors,
then,
but
I still
Yorda
think
is
this
also
is
still a huge element of
significantly
the
more
gameplay. I'm sure that's sounding kind
somber
of contradictory,
tone,
but there's not
if
really a
that's
better way to
the
describe
right
this
way to
next
describe
thing.
that.
To put it in simple
What would you
terms,
guys
Eco
think?
is kind of a
Also
lone
based
escort
Twilight Princess
mission.
music
To a lot
choice.
of you that
Yes,
have never
thank you.
played
I
this
used
game
two
before,
different
that
Zelda
probably
songs in
sounds
this.
kind of shit,
Mm.
but please trust me, it's a good
so-
escort mission.
what do you
and
say again?
really
Sorry,
good
zone out.
escort mission. And while Yorda
sorry.
herself can't
The
do
tone of
much,
the video is
monsters
more
that want to
somber
kidnap
than
her can do
the
a
other
lot.
Oh, yeah,
videos
yeah,
I've
yeah.
made
Be
at this
careful
point.
and leave Yorda alone. Fuck.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
kind
it.
of like the Phantom Batula video.
Eco, save me, you must.
If you're not careful, and
That's
you
so
leave Yorda
somber.
alone for
Yoda.
too
Right
long
there.
in a room you're not
Yeah.
in, the monsters
Yo,
made me feel
shadows,
Gogurt.
as they're actually called, will grab her
Gogurt.
while you're busy, and if you don't get to her in time, it's a game over. So obviously, stay with Yorda as much as possible, right? Bring her into
Crush
every
my
room, it's
cock.
Easy.
Crush my cock
Oftentimes,
with a
you'll
rock
need
I
Yorda to go
must.
places you can go.
No.
which
Yeah, that's my
don't
first
go,
ever
at
animation.
least not immediately.
What I've
That usually
gotten
means
by
you have to
playing
leave
through
her
these
behind
games is
until
that if
can
you
figure out how
have
to get her to where you are.
especially
It's a
Last
nice
Guardian,
additional
which is
stressor
if
that
you
forces
have
you to think
little
quick on your
patience,
feet, or else result in you scrambling to
these
save
games
up,
aren't
or
for you.
worse,
Like-
going back to your most recent save. Eco uses manual save
God,
points
fuck
when
The Last Guardian
and they can call it a
especially.
bench all they want,
I
but
really
that's
like The Last
fucking
Guardian, but I can
soap
see
up.
how
Of
it
course,
bothers
because of
somebody
this element of the
if they
gameplay,
don't
it means the
if
puzzles
they
can't be
don't want
too
to bother with the
brain-taxing, lest
fucking
they become
dog.
very frustrating very quickly.
What a dog
That's not to
doing?
say you won't get
How
stuck,
about
though,
for someone
Yorda,
who has
even on this return
patience, but
playthrough,
only
I
for
have
very
forgotten the
specific
solutions
things
to
that they cannot
myself. I
control?
even ran into quite a couple
I don't know.
moments of
I don't know what to
frustration,
tell you.
most specifically
You're never
near the
playing
end.
that
I
game
hope that's
anyway. You
one.
don't have a
At that point, some of
PS4.
the puzzles can go on
True,
for
and I kind of
multiple
want to
hours,
though. I
and
think that the
multiple
dog
rooms,
looks
and
cute.
messing up can
I
I think
wanna
it's
play
weird
that.
because
a lot of
I
progress.
have
I started
very little
saving all the
patience for
time
things, but
because
like I
it was literally
love The Last Guardian. I
Funnily
think it's an
enough,
amazing
I only
game.
encountered the enemies a total of
That's
one
cool.
time this entire
It
playthrough,
looks
if I
it looks
remember
nice. I
right.
think
Most of my
it's like
deaths
something
were
I
due
would
to
It's so
enjoy
puzzles,
actually.
pretty, and I just like
aforementioned lack of
the
depth
Yeah.
perception
movements
at
of the
points.
characters. So
I don't know
there.
about
It's a
hard
really
mode, but on
interesting
the normal
game for
difficulty,
sure.
enemies are usually
Yeah.
total
It's weird
pushovers,
because
albeit
something like
being
Shadow of the
slugs to get
Colossus,
through
I feel like, oh, I
sometimes,
wouldn't have the patience for
especially
this,
in
but
the
like
penultimate
for
battle
Last
where you have to
Guardian,
fight over
like,
50
yeah,
of
this
these
seems
shadows.
nice.
Funny you say
Not
that
even
because I
difficult,
think
it just goes
I
on
think
for a while,
Shadow
it's a little
of the Colossus is
tiring.
probably
It's
the
a
one
bit of
where
a
you would
shame,
need
too,
the
because
least amount of
narratively, this
patience.
site
Like
is
besides
really
Seriously.
besides
and also
solving the
depressing,
puzzle
for
to
lack of a
fight
better word.
the
Near the end of
Colossi,
Eco, you end
it's
up back in the very room you
it's
started
it's
in, and up the
it's
stairs past
a
the
way more
coffins you find
faster-paced,
Yoda,
action-oriented
our
game
statue.
from this
Realizing
studio,
there's nothing
and
you
it's
can
still
do for it,
extremely
back to the
poignant
coffins and are
and very,
guarded
very
by
strong.
Shadows that
For
are
me, it
more
feels like, okay, so
Yeah, you
once
wouldn't
I
know.
finally
You've not played it,
than the
bitch.
ones you
Shut
fought
up.
I-
before. Shadows that have distinct.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just
What were you gonna say? Do you
He's
actually have
dead.
something to say, or or am I pausing?
I don't know. I forgot what I was talking
Okay.
about.
Oh,
I want to
I
bring up.
thought you left the call.
I'm.
room you started in, and up the stairs past the coffins you
I
find
don't know
Yorda,
if I have
now a
anything to say
statue.
about this. I just
Realizing there's nothing you can do for her, you
just
head
this
back to the
moment
coffins,
from
but they're
Eco is just
bombarded
so
with
fucking
shadows.
good.
Shadows that are more childlike in design.
Fucking
than the ones
reveal,
you fought
man.
Before. Shadows that
The
have
fucking-
distinctive horns, not unlike the very ones atop Eco's head. And as you defeat
You
each of
are
these
Eco
shadows, the
all
various
along.
coffins indented in the walls
What?
begin to light up one by one.
I know.
No, dude!
I remember the music from Hey, that's what-
What?
That one song is from Shadow of the Colossus, right? Like the
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there are a
Cool.
lot of
Yeah,
graves
it's a
in the
nice song, I
castle.
like 'em.
Maybe
It also
there's
played when I
pirate
climbed your
residents that passed
mom.
away in
Oh my
different
God.
ways. Maybe the other shadows aren't even human.
Imagine fucking having that music play as you're like doing the diddling with another person in bed.
Diddling.
It's like doing the diddling, and you get like a stamina meter on screen, and the other person like, "Are you okay?" And meanwhile, in your head, like, da 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 da. It's like an intense climb action sequence.
You stand accused of doing the diddling.
I hate all of you right now. I'm so sorry, folks, if you're actually just trying to be here for like the commentary.
What commentary?
And the way it uses
You shouldn't have invited me.
Oh, yeah,
really,
the Bloom.
really well executed.
I love
Besides,
the Bloom
again,
in this game.
Kimiko's other
Mark, you
games,
said
I've
something
only
about in
ever
a
seen
comment
Bloom
about
used
that.
effectively in any
Gold
other
Bloom.
Yeah, it
game
gives it a very
once.
unique
That
like
game being
atmosphere. I like how they use
Twilight
Bloom a lot in
And
this.
while
It's very
Eco's
nice.
gameplay isn't the most
It's like
in-depth or
distinct.
interesting
It's
thing to
different
play
from
or to
Twilight
discuss,
Princess with
I don't
Bloom.
know if I even
Yeah,
think that
it's
it
just I
matters.
use Twilight
Sure,
Princess
there
as
were
a
moments of
reference
frustration
because it's
and even
the
boredom
only
while
other
playing,
game I
but
played
none
that
of
I
that
think
stuff
uses
sticks with me
the
very much
tool
after every time I
effectively.
finish this game.
Yeah.
The
A
way
lot
I
of
see it,
games from this
Eco's
era
gameplay
just
is
had
means
Bloom
to
for
an
the
end
sake of
rather than
having
trying to
Bloom
be
because it was the
traditional
new
video
tech at
Yeah,
the time.
It serves a more important
Yeah.
purpose in helping flesh out the story, the world,
It's-
and the characters.
None of you are
I
gonna
brought it
get
up
this, but
earlier,
it's
Eco uses the design
especially
versus traction
egregious
approach,
in
coined by the game's director, Fumito Ueda,
the last
which is
Ratchet game
probably
on
the leading
PS3
reason why
Into
so
the
much of the
Nexus.
game's gameplay is
There's a
so
part
simple.
in that
Basically,
where you
if something
genuinely
doesn't need
cannot
to be
see
there,
what you're
it doesn't
doing
need
Oh,
because of the bloom.
Jesus Christ.
It's why the game
Uh,
has no stamina or health.
I remember
meter, how it
seeing
has
that
no
game and
HUD at all,
thinking
and it's
it
also why
doesn't
there's
look
so few
very
ways
good,
to
like Into the
actually
Nexus.
fail.
There's
These
something
things either
about the
don't give any
visuals of
useful
that that
information
just
to the player
throw
or
me
just
off.
don't need
There's
to be
something
there,
weird
period.
about it. It
I-
doesn't look as good as the
I-
other ones.
I like it design-wise. like the character
designs are
designs. Yeah, the character designs I like a lot, but like the lighting is a bit off. Yeah.
Something about it, I can't quite put my finger on it. But something like Crack in Time looked way better to me.
Yeah, no, Crack in Time still looks really good. It has kind of a semi-cell shaded feel to it.
Is heal, which plays when you're saving. It's this
Was
light,
Into the
fluffy
Nexus on
sounding track that's
PS3 or
extremely
PS4?
Yes.
relaxing.
That was
PS3.
that was like right as the PS4 came out, they released that on PS3.
I'm
I
really
see.
happy with how this music section came out, where I talk about
It's part of
the,
why I love
where,
the saving
where I talk
in
about
this
you
game,
were
on top
there.
of being a useful couple of moments to
Um,
let the player digest what they
Part of me
see
does kind of
develop
wish
to
I
that
had gone a
point,
little bit more
which for a
depth into
game
the
like
lyrics, but
Eco,
at the same
for
time I
moving
realized I would
things
have been
to
on
say,
that
is a very
for
important
way,
couple
way
of
too long
moments.
in
And
comparison to
then-
everything else in the video.
Then there's You Were There.
So I decided it was just a
This
better
song
idea to
is
just focus
compelling
on
for a lot of
like
different
the most
reasons.
interesting
One of
part
the
of
big
that
ones
song
being
to
it's the
me
only track in the whole
personally.
game with
There's still a
lyrics,
lot
but it's more
to
so
say
what's
about that
said
song,
in
but
those lyrics, specifically two lines.
like I say in the video, if
Say
anybody
no
wants to take a
more
crack at it themselves,
endless
go
stories.
ahead. If you're a fan
Say
of
no
Eco.
more, hopeless warriors.
What if I did
Some
that?
context,
What
near
if
the
I
end of
just
the
did?
game,
I
you
haven't
make
played
it
the
out
game.
of the
Not me
castle
first,
on
me
this
first.
bridge, but it starts to recede with Eco
I haven't
alongside
played the
Eco
game, but what if I did
Eco
like an analysis on that?
Bullshitting.
Bullshitting.
This is a big role reversal, as Eco had been
I
doing
just
the
want
same
to
for Yorda
want
for
to point
every
out the
big
comment
jump
from
previous.
Kumba Baldasher said,
Sadly,
"Eco when
we
Yorda
slowly
dies."
transition to
That
story
just
modes
happened.
Ah.
Eco.
Love that.
The inevitable soon approaching.
And then
You
one of the
also
shadow
realize
monsters appears behind him. It's like, they're right behind me, aren't they?
I still don't know how I feel about this edit
Eco
where
before both of their presumed
where
deaths.
I paused
Mori.
to reveal what No No Mori
Thank
means.
you.
I still don't know.
Which brings us back
It still
to
feels a
those
little
two
too
lines.
fast paced to me. Like
The
I
endless
tried to make it
corridors line
slower.
is most likely
and I
referring to
just-
the
I don't-
castle itself. The
I
Hopeless
think it gets the
Warriors
point
one, though,
across,
could
but
be
fuck.
interpreted a couple of different ways, I
It was
guess.
fine to me.
Maybe it
Yeah,
was
it's fine.
Eco and
I just
Yorda, who
fought
was
a
struggled for
shadow
2 kids to
monster.
escape a place so
I
much
hate you.
bigger
Shut
than
up.
both of them. When
I'll
they
probably
fled
fall
back
down
to
a
the
bridge
village
next or
to
something.
run.
Yeah,
I'm in some kind of huge castle, and there's a shadow lady after me.
Mystic Ode wants to hear your bullshit analysis of the song, Kane.
The shadows, the likely soulless husks of
Yeah,
the
what do you
sea
think?
to
Do it
fight
right now,
Let's
Kane.
get
What do you
if
think
you
the song's
if I
about?
get to 3 more billion subscribers, Kane will do that.
You see, this song was originally written by Johnny Cash. Cash.
maybe
In collaboration with-
into these things.
in
It's
collaboration with
entirely possible, especially
Nickelback,
art
but
like
they had a
Nickelback's
falling
set up
out.
to the viewer to
Yeah.
decipher. I don't
So
claim
one
that
of
was
the-
for a
the
Bionicle
average
commercial
is probably
originally,
more
actually.
applicable. I
Yeah,
just like
so
to
one of
talk
the
about
eco
things I
devs
enjoy.
walked
There's more
into
to
the
that song,
recording
too, a
studio
lot
and he
more
said,
than
"Ah,
the
can I
video
use
entirely.
this?"
I'm not
And
too
both
interested in
said
the prospect,
no,
though, so if someone
but he
else who's a
challenged
fan
them
of
to
eco
a
thinks that
fight to the
sounds
death,
fun and wants
to an
make that
Agni
video
Kai.
themselves, the idea is
And
all
they,
yours. With that said,
they
let's get
fought
into
it
the
out.
first ending.
I'll start off from
They
after
hugged
the
it
bridge
out.
scene I just brought
Elvis
up.
made this one.
After Yorda is turned to stone
And it's
Oh,
Elvis
it's
Game
Rick and
Man.
Morty time.
Cages.
You said it.
Alright.
Well,
Well,
well, well.
We're getting close to the end, by the way, folks.
Rick and
We're almost
Morty.
there.
Almost
Yorda's
there.
Elvis
absence
Game
is
Man is
felt
on-
in
Oh,
Resident
honey.
Evil 1.
Oh,
Tonally
honey.
and visually, the game has gotten darker.
That's what he
likely
said.
to sell that rock bottom feeling that most players and Eco
Did you know
himself
Elvis
I-
made these songs?
There are also no more
I-
save
I-
points, and even if there were, you
God,
can't use
fuck.
them without one being
It's
with
so
Eco.
dark. The
And
game
of
is
course,
so
the
dark.
most obvious
It was actually
change
brighter
is that
in
Yorda
Vegas
is
when I was
absent.
editing.
There's no more guiding
Like,
for
I
freedom.
couldn't even
Everyone
tell when
knows the
playing
limits
in that
of
one
the shadows
section
because,
earlier
to
where I
put it
brought up the
bluntly,
darkness
you
that there was
failed.
fucking
But
cliff
even
face there
then,
that I could have.
you push
I was like
forward,
a step away from
heroic
falling
jumps
off
and
of.
long-lasting battles until
Damn.
finally you confront
It's
them.
like
Guys,
the
please,
darkness.
this
Using her
joking
own
does
sword
not fit
against
with
her
this
and the very
video.
possible
No.
outcome of Eco
It
himself
does.
being
You're
Shut up!
right.
It really doesn't.
Fights and withers down
Biased.
defense until
Whatever.
finally with one last
It's
punch.
it's
So
the
can't
darkness
expect
between
me-
two hearts.
is
You
very,
can't expect me
very
to stay
satisfying
quiet
after
for fucking
everything
20
you've
minutes,
gone
okay?
through, which
340,
says a lot,
50. Thank
because
you,
in terms of
Rayfan.
gameplay,
Is that how
this
long we've
fight
been
is
streaming for? I
genuinely
don't.
just kind
Why'd
of
you
bad.
say?
Yep,
It's
pretty
not
much,
difficult
pretty
or
much.
frustrating, but it
No,
does
Kane's
drag
gone.
on, and
What?
barely anything changes the whole fight.
The
But
King
most
died.
what happens is that the
But yeah,
quicker
this-
the
this-
single
this fight
attack
is
speeds up a little bit.
unfortunately,
That's it,
like,
really.
from a
There's no
gameplay
big
standpoint, is
puzzle or
very
platforming
uninteresting.
elements, two things that basically define the
Hmm.
best the game has to offer. Instead, you're just fighting a
I love these
slightly
games
different
look
shadow,
though.
pretty
These
much.
games are
Would you
look
say
cool.
it's
Despite
better
all
or
of
worse
it,
than
like I
Balan
said, that final
Wonderworld?
hit is undeniably satisfying. Narrative.
And now
Worse.
think about your answer.
Yeah.
I hate you. That's my answer. Yes, the answer is yes. It's 10,000 times better. It's a million times better.
After her mother is defeated and
Hmm.
Ego is knocked out by
But
one
now,
last
now,
attack
now
by the
think about
queen,
your
the
answer
castle
first for a
starts to
second. Like,
crumble without
I'm
its
giving you a
ruler.
chance
Yorda is
to
brought
like
back
repair
from
this
the
situation.
Yeah, think about it.
And in a
that you got
very
yourself in.
touching and powerful
Just
final
take your
moment,
time
as a
also.
parallel to
Just
what
you know,
Iko
Yeah.
was
before,
trying
before
to
you
do
make a
for Yorda
decision, you don't have to do it
leading up
now.
this
I mean,
point. She uses this
Before you make a
newfound
decision,
strength to
consider,
save
like,
Iko before the
will I
castle
be able to
collapses
enter
on
God's
itself.
paradise
Then,
after this?
just like that, the credits roll.
See.
To call Eco
Anyway,
anything
the
other
video's
than
almost
a
over. Does
service
anybody have
would be
any
a
final thoughts on
disservice.
everything
It
we've
takes
seen
its
today?
on the surface simple premise.
The
and
beach
does
is
so
bright.
much
Yeah, I hate your
so
videos. They're
little.
so bad.
It's not perfect. I've made it clear multiple
But
times.
I love
that
your stuff,
Eco's
Aiden.
game
Maybe
is
making
very
videos
cool.
just isn't your
Combat
thing.
does hold it back.
Yeah.
Not enough to keep it from still being an amazing
Does anybody in the
experience,
comments have any
definitely
channels
lower
before
time,
before I decide
still
to
enough
reveal what
keep
my
it from
next
reaching
video
the
is going
heights
to
of
be?
its successor, that's for certain. And we'll get to that game
I like your
someday,
stuff though, and it's very
trust me.
good.
And yet,
It makes me want
despite future
to
games that
video
put
essays
Team
with
Ico and
myself.
just Japan Studios
I
in
hope Kane
general
isn't
being
too upset about being
undeniably
timed out for that
loved,
long. I don't
well
think he
known, and in my
cares.
opinion, better. Eco still
I'm-
holds one thing.
I'm just here to annoy
Its
you guys.
mastery
I don't
of
need to cut.
simplicity.
Yeah, like Lance said, like you've come a long way, Hayne. I think that's true. I think you've really found like your own flow with this. Like we were watching like older videos from Hayne the other day, and it is really cool how to see how you developed your own style. I think your videos are very good and well edited, and I am very excited to see what you'll do next.
I honestly think those older videos are also really high quality.
They're still fun. They're
Yeah.
just different.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. but
You
I
changed,
appreciate
Hayden. You
it.
changed.
For the first time since I started making videos, I've actually been proud of all of these ones so far. So, despite
yeah.
some little problems, and I've stayed proud of them. So I guess that's something to be said. Let's see if there's. Let's see.
I like how even in your latest video, you link to your attack video.
Oh, that's
At the very
I
end.
always have that linked in the end card.
Beautiful.
It keeps the gag going without me having to say it, so. I just got here in the middle of this video, but your videos are genuinely good. Thank you, Iwout. I hope I'm saying your name right.
What?
And thank you, Dreamy and Lance, and everybody else who came along and watched through this commentary stream. And I suppose as a gift for sitting with us for nearly 4 hours now, it looks like.
Finally got them.
I will give you all. Now, I don't like announcing things for. I don't like revealing what my video topics are for two reasons. One, sometimes I announce them and I just never get around to them. And two, I kind of just like being cagey about it. It's fun keeping a little secret like that to yourself until the big reveal.
Yeah.
But I figure because
it's fun keeping it a secret.
I figure because of the special occasion and because the Eco video is definitely probably gonna be better than this one. Although this will still be fun to make, but it's gonna be a lot sillier. My next video is going to be about a trilogy of movies of which I grew up with, which would be the original Pokemon trilogy of movies.
Neat.
Oh,
which includes Pokemon the first movie, Pokemon 2000, and Pokemon what the hell was the name of the third movie? I forget. Anyway, it's
The
the one.
Celebi
no, it's
one?
no, that's the third movie's the one with Entei.
Uh,
No, I won't be talking about any. The movies I'm going to be talking about are all from like the original run of the show, so like Brock, Misty, that kind of stuff. But
gotcha.
Hmm.
but yeah, it's gonna be different tonally to the Eco video, definitely for sure. But
No, what if you keep the same tone? That would be so funny.
that'd be so funny.
Like, Ash,
hyped.
Misty, and Brock
I
are
love
going on
Pokemon.
this grand adventure. But what does it really mean?
Ash
You
is
can
actually in a
treat it.
dream.
And after that, I have another video. I have another video planned after the Pokemon video, which I'm excited to get to. But that'll be for if that happens, and I'm not going to say what that video is, obviously.
Yeah, but what's it about though?
This is the one time you're gonna get this out of me, is because this is a special occasion. On that note, unless we have anything more to say, I think we're done.
Yeah, but what's that video
yeah.
about though? Like the one after the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Finally. No.
Ratchet and Clank.
Thanks again for
Yep.
joining, everybody. See y'all later.
Gaming.
The arcade.
Mwah.